Suzuka. Finally, after 3 years off the calendar, we are back in Japan. We're going racing, and it looks like it might be wet today. Welcome, everyone, to the last lap. Far too much energy for, what's the time?
5:30 in the morning?
Yeah, 5:30 in the morning, Niran. How you feeling, mate? How
I'm
you feeling?
feeling well.
Are you?
I've had an unidentified energy drink, and I'm living my best life
That's
right
a different
now.
story to what I heard when you turned
When I walked
this
in,
morning.
I was a different man. Now I've changed completely. How are you, though, bro?
I'm good, mate. I'm good.
good stuff,
I'm fine.
good
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling ready.
Yeah.
And today we have two phenomenal guests that I've been looking to get on for a very long time. Right from the start, boys, I hit you up. Welcome to the last lap, Peter and Mahad. How we doing, boys?
I'm good. Had a lot of coffee.
Yeah.
I may have slept. I may haven't slept.
Are we morning people? Typically, do you do well in the morning, Pete?
You know what? Yeah, I'm all right. It's just when it hits like midday, 1, 2, I'm out.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing after that. And yeah, I've got work after this. So this is going to be a fun day.
The work never stops, mate.
Work
Do you know what? This is an in-bed race, guys. But
you
this is
reckon?
the dedication that we're showing it.
Well, we
out
could
of
get
bed
like a
right now.
duvet, maybe a last lap duvet.
Pillows.
we should have all worn onesies.
That'd be cozy.
Would have worked.
That'd be
That's
cozy.
next. That's branding. That's merch. Last lap merch coming soon.
Last lap
Oh, no,
onesies.
One day.
One day. Yeah, we'll bring it out.
But also, boys, I mean, Mahad, I guess first, Pit Stop Fracas as well, what you're known for on YouTube. Maybe tell everyone what you do.
So we have Pit Stop Fracas podcast, has an unknown amount of cast members.
There's so many people.
There's so many
I love
people.
it a lot.
I call it the Royal Rumble of Formula One podcast. And it's a debate platform. None of us agree with each other.
Good.
It's lighthearted.
Yeah.
It's funny. And we drop episodes every Monday. So please like and subscribe on
Absolutely.
YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify.
Oh, he's done this before. He knows the lingo
Come
now.
on, this isn't his first.
How about you, Pete?
rodeo.
What's the? Because also you've got your own stuff, but also you work on something together, right?
Yes, so my own channel, Peter on Pole. I do my own thing, all things Formula One. Like to talk about everything and everything to do with Formula One. And then Mahad and myself, we are McLaren Fan TV. So
Yes.
for all my McLaren fan people,
Yeah,
we are out there, man. We are out there for each and every single one of you. We're trying to be the biggest McLaren fan thing you can think of. So just watch out. Watch the space.
Yeah, we'll dive into McLaren specific stuff, I think, as we go along.
Yeah,
So that'd be good.
1,000%. Some opinions.
Revel in our pain.
Sometimes pain.
Sometimes.
It's Lando Norris fan TV at the moment. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Okay. No, I'm just saying.
I mean,
like,
savagery early doors, but it's kind of, yeah, there's a discussion to be had there.
There
for
is,
sure,
definitely.
boys, but
Definitely.
I guess the biggest thing this weekend is, of course, the fact that Max Verstappen could potentially
Again.
wrap up the title. So, shall we have a look at what needs to happen for that to be the case?
L
Niran?
permutations.
L permutation.
L
Go on, mate.
permutations.
Take it away.
Well, if Max, I was going to say I thought Max, if he won and got fastest lap, it was done.
Correct.
But I think if Leclerc finishes second, I think it goes to second or lower.
yeah,
it is done. So if Max takes first and fastest lap, it is done. Don't go there. Championship's
Regardless.
finished.
Which could happen.
It could happen.
But someone could, what's stopping someone just Latifi chucking on a set of softs? What? It could happen. Chuck on a set of softs at the end, take the fastest lap off of Max.
Assuming he knows what corner to actually go around and what where to
That's
turn.
embarrassing.
That was crazy during free practice. Just in case anyone didn't see that, like Nicholas Latifi quite literally went the wrong way.
Yeah.
and then said, what's wrong? It's the car.
He was like, "What? The car just did something strange." No, you steered it
always
the
says
wrong way. That's probably what happened. Anyway, yeah.
That's Latifi bingo. Ask how many times the car did something. It's never him. But here we are.
No, I think, that's a situation of someone's checked out, I feel like there. And unfortunately, his Williams career won't be continuing. But obviously, there was a lot of transfer news.
Lots has been going on, yeah.
Which I guess we'll get into it as we go. Obviously, Gasly to Alpine, confirmed now. Nick De Vries to AlphaTauri as well.
AlphaTauri.
What's our immediate thoughts? What do you think, Pete, in terms of the Gasly to Alpine news? Is it something you saw coming?
Do you know what? It's something that was definitely coming, but I don't think I liked it. I didn't want it. I don't know why. I just don't feel like it's going to be the perfect fit. I like Gasly, and I wished he could get back into that Red Bull seat, but it's the next best solution for him. Alpine's a weird team. They've got all the tools to really become a big juggernaut in Formula One, but they just keep messing around. And I think I was hoping Danny actually would get in that seat, in all honesty. I was hoping that, the fact that Danny's probably not even going to be in a seat next year is absurd. But Gasly, I'm happy for him. Listen, let's see how him and Ocon get on. Let's see how that works out. But I'm looking forward to seeing. It depends. I don't know. It's a fast car, but can it get past the finish line is the question.
Yeah. Like, do you think the potential's there for them to do? Because Alpine/Renault has always been a team of potential, and we're a manufacturer, and we're going to do this and that, but it's never really materialised. But is Ocon and Gasly the right way going forward? You know.
Well, you're going to get some competitiveness between them. You're going to get some fire. Yeah, and
we know there's history there.
There is history there. French passion. What's the odds that two kids from the same town
It's mad, isn't it?
end up in Formula One on the same team?
Yeah, that is crazy.
That's crazy.
'Cause I saw the Instagram post, obviously, as them as like 6-year-old kids, just like, just chilling.
It was quite wholesome.
Well, it's quite wholesome until you realise they're going to be scrapping when they actually become teammates. But
Well, both of them, they're proven Formula One drivers. They both won in Formula One in cars that shouldn't have won. And Alpine are very much in their own destiny. They make their own engines, they make their own cars. They're not really dependent on anybody else. They've got the resources.
Yeah.
So can they provide that car for those drivers next year to succeed? Who knows?
The only thing I will say, Alonso leaving, you should not ignore that. Because for him to get up and just say, you know what, bun this, there's something going on. And I'm a Fernando guy, right? I'm big time. So if he decides, you know, when he came back to Formula One, it was like, let's think about winning races, winning championships again. If he's up sticks all of a sudden and just left, something is going on. Just pay attention to that Alpine.
He's a shrewd operator.
That's my only fear with Alpine as a whole. I just feel like that team, in any minute, will just explode. They're capable of doing that. So there's a reason he left the way he did as well. I mean, to Aston Martin, okay, Aston Martin again is a potential team, right? But as you said, you know, Renault has been potential for donkeys, and it's just done.
Well, again, like Ricciardo saw a brighter future at McLaren, so did Piastri as well. So there's a lot to be said for
There's a
that.
lack of stability, I think, at Alpine as well, which is quite a big problem there. And obviously, Alonso leaving will then have an effect on them as well.
Oh, big time, yeah. Because that's a man who's got. I mean, the experience is outrageous. You know, and he will know how to make a car perform the way it should, and he's dragged cars over.
He doesn't have a bad race.
No.
Like, I think qualifying him and Ocon are pretty close.
Yeah.
But I think in race, I think Alonso's clear, and Alonso doesn't have a bad race.
I cannot remember the last time Fernando Alonso just had an outright howler, just a stinker of a race. Genuinely, I can't.
But yeah, you look at the potentials of him actually finishing podium, maybe, or even winning a race. You know, I just remember like places like Australia, for example. He was on fire, too much, but like he was on it. And if he's up sticks and leaving when there's supposed to be a big potential for them, I'm nervous for Gasly. In all honesty, I'm nervous for him.
I think the dice needed to be rolled at the end of the day, though, because I don't think Red Bull was the future. But anyway, shall we look at our predictions?
Yes.
For Suzuka for today.
We were talking about Alonso. I backed him in mine.
Listen. Okay.
We all did. We all backed him. Come on.
Mate,
trained
graphics department's getting a raise. Well done, lads. Love that. Right. What are we looking at? So we've all gone with a Max Verstappen win here, but not too much, because obviously there is rain on track at the minute. I've gone, as is Peter, Red Bull 1-2.
What's the Ferrari slogan, ladies and gentlemen, huh? What can go wrong will go wrong. Let's watch Ferrari mess it up yet again.
Do you reckon?
1,000%.
LeClerc out on hards as the rain from the car. You just know that is happening.
Plan F.
F's in the chat.
But
on.
all three, like apart from me, have all gone Fernando getting into the top 5 as well, where he's starting P8, isn't he?
P7, I believe.
P7.
Seven.
So
because
in between the Mercedes.
Alonso 7.
Checkerboard of Mercedes and Alpine. I think Alpine looked really good yesterday. Obviously, the difference is that it's raining today. That's the problem.
But Fernando interestingly said that in the wet we're good, in the dry we're good. So he's probably looking at it thinking, do you know what? I've got potential here.
Yeah, he wanted rain, didn't he?
He wanted rain. So if this rain's happening, then happy days. You know? I'm watching, but then again, you know what will happen in it? They're the Ferrari of the midfield. So that car will literally, he's going to be top 3. He'll be on the podium, and it will go.
Look, both engines blew up last week. It's just
man.
They didn't score points in the last 2 races, I don't think, at all.
Which is criminal given where they actually could have been. Again, it's
absolutely
the gap between McLaren was so huge before.
Yeah.
If we're ahead. So.
If you're an Alpine fan, how are you behind McLaren on a real, like with one driver? Yeah, McLaren's got one driver this year who's got like 100+ points, and and I think we got like 129.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the constructors, Norris has got 100 points himself.
Yeah.
How are you behind McLaren? Is a joke. That's the thing that Alpine fans will be thinking. Like, man, we should be comfortably fourth.
But I think it's I guess, what do you think as fans of McLaren who follow the team kind of more closely than most? What's been the difference? Has it just been Alpine making mistakes, or have McLaren, do you think, stepped up in certain ways, strategy, etc.?
I think it's a bit of both. With the strategy, we've been able to maximize the situations that we've been in. With Alpine, I think if their engines didn't blow up, they would be far ahead in the constructors.
And Alonso's had some shocking luck.
Alonso, I think didn't he say dropped to like 70 points?
He thinks it's like, he just makes a new number every weekend.
Yeah.
178 points
He said,
this weekend.
I'll be clear of Lando Norris.
I believe in leading the drivers' championship.
No, he said something like, I'll be with the Mercedes drivers. I'm like, what are you on about?
Can I be honest with you? I believe him.
No.
Like, I'm not gonna sit here and front.
He should have more points.
There is
He
60
should know
points. There are 50 points on the table.
Yeah.
There's 50.
1,000. What?
Easy.
Did he retire from Australia? as well?
Australia retired. Yeah.
Singapore.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's I don't know. To answer your question, I think Ricciardo shows that the car is not as great as it is, and Lando shows that the car is not as good as it is. If that makes sense. So like, there's a medium between between Norris and Ricciardo, and I feel like the McLaren car actually isn't good. And what we're seeing Norris do this year, and look, of course I'm speaking biased, but he's been phenomenal in that car. The car's not great. And Ricciardo, obviously, it seems like the ducks need to align for him to have a great sort of race weekend or a great season. But Norris he's doing an Alonso in that McLaren, no doubt. So Alpine, man, you just need to get your stuff together, and you literally would be comfortably fourth in this championship.
And they got to take an engine penalty now, Alpine.
Lovely.
So it might go down to the last day.
That's it. It's true. Can you get excited about a battle for fourth?
Do you know what? I said to him, it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things being fourth or fifth.
Yeah.
Because with McLaren, just goal is long
Bit
term.
more money,
right?
but then like aero
Exactly.
safety time.
But now it's just more of we could possibly get it now.
Yeah.
I kind of gave up on it before summer break. I was like, that's not happening.
I mean, after Bahrain, first race of the season.
I was just hoping.
Wow, bad.
That was crazy.
What was it? What was the test when Norris topped it and he said, this is a worry.
Barcelona test.
Was it the Barcelona test? And he said, this is a worry. I said, whoa, what are you worried about? Like, what's going on here? And he was just like, something is not right. And boy, did he not know? Do you know what I'm saying?
What was the feeling in the McLaren fan TV camp after Bahrain, by the way?
I think a lot of people watched that episode.
That was a popular one.
Honestly.
That was a popular one. We were in severe pain. I just couldn't understand how you can go from where we was last year to that.
Well, you look at how close you were to Ferrari relative last year, and you look at the relative trajectories. You can say, Ferrari got all this resource, but they've had all this resource for time. So they've definitely, there's kind of been a sidestep by McLaren, but hopefully, new wind tunnel on the horizon.
You never know.
Let's see,
You
man.
have to have the infrastructure there to build the car.
Listen, fighting for top four. Listen, I'm an Arsenal fan. I know what that feels like. You know what I'm saying? So, listen, I'm all for it, man.
Celebrating fourth. That should be
Champions League, come on.
Like, I remember when
Science.
Science got like the podium at Interlagos one year, and it was like after the race was done.
Yeah.
And it meant we'd finished, I think, third or something like that in the constructors. I was pumped. You know what I'm saying? I was celebrating. I was like, who won the title? Who cares? You know what I mean? Like, we got the top three. So I care about it, to be fair. It's just because otherwise, what else are we watching?
Yeah.
There are some times when we're on the podcast doing McLaren Fan TV, and we're just there like, again, we could repeat the episode literally week after week, and we're getting bored of it. But you got to kind of create your own spice with the whole thing. So
it's not the kind of consistency you want, is it?
it's not, but it is what you have to fight for something. I mean, look at the Williams guys and the Haas. Do you know what I mean?
Every team has different goals.
Everyone's got something. Yeah, and they still turn up to races with the cap on and the merch and all that kind of thing. So fair play.
Yeah, that's it. Well, right, let's have a look at the live poll on screen that you lot have been doing in chat. So thank you all for getting involved. Should Verstappen have been given a penalty from qualifying? Yes, we haven't talked about this yet.
Blocked your boy, Lando. Was it Q3? It was in Q3, wasn't he? He tried to get out of the way, sort of spun up the rears and.
Before you two, Niran, what do you think?
I thought it was a little bit of a sticky one, to be honest. I thought he could have been penalised.
A bit of a sticky one. Do you reckon that's how it was described in the stewards after?
It was techie on the note. But yeah, I don't know. It was obviously. He didn't mean to. It's a breakdown of communication, isn't it? I think you're going to go that way. You end up going.
Yeah, it was kind of.
It's a difficult one.
Coalesced at the wrong time.
I think it's one of those situations where if it had ended up differently, you would have got a different punishment. I think if Lando ends up in the wall after that, he gets a penalty.
Yeah.
But because Lando was able to sort of, save it a little bit, end up on the grass, whatever, ruined a lap, but it wasn't too deep.
So Steward Niran is giving a reprimand, or
Steward Niran
what's he doing?
is giving the strongest of reprimands. I'm slapping his wrist. Physical violence.
You're so strongly on that fence.
Yeah, strong.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's got the splinters, yeah?
Okay. All right, Mahad, what are we thinking?
Look, I'm going to be accused of being biased here, but
Nah, never. That doesn't happen.
I've never been accused of it. But I think it's a penalty. Personally, I think people always look at like presidents and say, "Oh, has this happened before?" and so on and so on. But it's dangerous at the end of the day. Something could have drastically happened where somebody goes to the wall, both of them go into each other, whatever. And penalties are there to kind of prevent that from happening. Like, I know it's a mistake. He didn't see him there.
Yeah, it's not malice there.
There's no malice there, but does malice equal you getting a red penalty or not?
No.
That shouldn't really matter at the end of the day. It's about the actual action itself. And people will say, oh, but it didn't happen to this driver or it didn't happen to this person from before. But two wrongs don't really make a right. You kind of have to make a decision and stick with that decision. Because personally, I think if you make a wrong decision initially with a penalty and then you keep using that as the precedence, you're just going to keep making wrong decisions, right?
Yeah.
That's why I believe it should be a penalty. And then in future, if that ever happens and something does happen, that should be I'm not saying like a severe penalty. I'm talking about maybe like a free grid.
Yeah, what would you say then? What would you say?
I'll say free.
Stuart Mahad gives free place. Good drop. Interesting.
Free. Not 5. Not 10.
No, okay.
That's
You're not going to.
Yeah.
What are you saying, Pete?
I think it's a load of wash. I'm not going to lie. There's nothing in it, right? He made a mistake. He snapped a little bit on the steering wheel. Let's move on. Like, when I saw it happen, I didn't think nothing of it. I agree with Mahad in that, say he hits into the wall and whatever, fair enough.
The outcome's different.
The outcome kind of dictates sort of the penalty. But at the time, it was one of those where it was like, look, Norris has gone left, and he's probably thought, is Max going or is he not? Then he's gone for it. And then Max, I guess Max, I think Jensen mentioned on Sky that, he's gone on the accelerator a bit too hard. It's a mistake.
Yep.
Yeah.
So in my head, I'm like, whatever. Then afterwards, I'm hearing like Horner obviously could not help it, but stick it on Norris. And I'm thinking, wait a minute.
Gentleman agreement, right?
I was cool a minute ago, and now you're trying to get me hot. And then Norris was a bit like, yeah, he's tried to block me. And I'm thinking, have I missed something? Have I missed something here? Because in real time, it just looked like a mistake.
I get how Lando felt that way, but obviously we've got the benefit of replays from external. We can look at both, and I guess that's why they pulled him to the stewards after, and then they can look at all. Because for me, I think it's I think reprimand is probably, it's one of them. I think you just got to fall back on precedent. I get what you're saying. Like you should look at each, because every instance is different. Yeah. But I don't personally think there's enough in it to give a penalty. But also, I feel like a bit of a hypocrite because I'm all for like, the outcome shouldn't matter. Like,
yeah. That's what my point is. Basically.
So that's why it's difficult because if Lando wasn't a little bit more like, if he was a little bit more dozy, if it had been an early start, like
if it's me behind the wheel, Do you know what I mean? It's an airplane crash, because that's a very fast part of the track, and you've got to be careful there. I think for me, what it comes down to is a lot of the time you see penalties for blocking and qualifying and sessions like that. It's because of a lack of awareness.
Yeah,
Max was aware. There was just a breakdown in communication in terms of which way he was going to go and get out of the way. Yeah. I think anytime I see a penalty given or anytime I think someone should get a penalty, it's because they're just not paying attention. Yeah. And they'll block someone. It's like, you could have done better. Yeah. You should have done better in that situation. Whereas Max actively made a decision to go one way because he knew Lando was coming, but Lando chose to.
Because 130 like I know it's not much of a corner these days, but it's still a corner.
Yeah,
like if you look in your rearview mirrors, like you can't see. Max is going so, and obviously, yeah, the way that everyone was warming up their tires, like the Red Bull was just like crawling, like because it works its tires so hard because it's got so much downforce.
But can Max just have like a clean weekend without situations going on?
Well, look, I mean,
or anything like that. Can he just like wrap this tire up quickly? Come on, guys.
no, but like, wouldn't it be sick if it just kept on that can kept getting kicked down the road, and then we had a finale in Abu Dhabi?
Suddenly it's Abu Dhabi and there's like a 6-point gap out of nowhere. How has this happened?
And by the way,
we could dream, all right?
It will be Sergio Perez that will be behind him, not Charles. Let's get that out there. Right?
Checo title charge.
Is it true that Max was on the racing line as well?
He
is that
yeah, he was. Yeah.
So, yeah. See, it's odd, isn't it? So for Norris, he's sort of like, all right, where are you going, kind of thing. Are you going to just?
Well, there
slow
was a
down?
gap to his left, wasn't there?
Yeah, but it's like it's not okay. He's not doing a hot lap or nothing, but it's not the racing line per se. So he's probably thinking, wait, he's meant to be going, and then it's just all a bit messy. And then they did it again, didn't they? Finally,
Yeah, that's the thing.
And they were together.
Maybe
It was
that's
like,
why Max was like, "Oh, sorry."
Yeah.
Like, with the hand, like at the end, he was like, "Oh, if I show that I'm sorry." maybe
FIA's watching.
yeah. It's
Just wave.
You know, and Max has just spoke to him before they got in and said, look, I'll look after you. Yeah, just help me out. I'll look after
Okay. Well, look, I mean, the poll was pretty split. We're pretty split in the room, and that's sport.
you. This is it.
That's calm.
we love
fine. Right, Suzuka. We've just had the old little intro jingle play.
Yeah.
Boys, how are we feeling about Suzuka being back on the calendar? Because it's been an awfully long time.
Since what, 2019?
2019,
Top 3 track in Formula 1. This is a heritage track.
Easy.
It's
Seb was waxing lyrical about it yesterday, wasn't he?
He was loving it, wasn't he? He was all over it yesterday. But yeah, love Suzuka.
I just feel like the drivers think this track is fun as well. They enjoy driving around it as well.
It's iconic. There's been so many iconic moments. It's a challenge as well. There's so many challenging corners around here.
Undulation.com as well.
And it's, as they always love to say, the only figure of 8 track. As if you meet in the middle. As if there's not a bridge over. As if you just meet in the middle. Everyone has to avoid each other.
You know what? That would be mad, wouldn't it? Imagine that. That would be. Maybe they should do like an esports version equivalent where they just get rid of the bridge. They do around like that. See how they do. Because obviously, Valtteri was the one who cleaned up. Had a really strong start from. I think it was P3 or
P3?
4.
Yeah. And then
he was on
behind
second
him?
row. And the Ferraris both bogged down.
They had the front row lock out bottom immediately.
Yeah, immediately.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
Max and Charles had contact, and Max ended up not finishing the race. And Albon did the exact same time in Q3 as Verstappen.
Oi.
Remember that?
Had to get that one in there.
Had to get that one in exactly to the
And then crashed into Lando
millisecond.
in the race.
Well,
Nah, it was a great move.
thank you for backing us there.
And you know what? Actually, when I was watching back some of the coverage, and in 2019, they that's when they did the interviews with 2 drivers at the same time, like talking through their laps. They did like Ricciardo and Verstappen. They're not doing it anymore. It was great vibes because they'd like mug each other off.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
when Lando used to wear the big beanie. The look of 2019.
Bring it back.
Right.
They need to bring it back.
Maybe
Bring back
as
the
a
beanie.
one-off. Maybe that's a quadrant special.
Yeah.
Listen,
Okay, we'll bring it back.
I'll take a cut in there.
Commission.
I'll
Take
take a
commission. Take commission.
Right, should we look at the sighting grid? Come on then.
Yeah, we'll have a go.
Let's have a butch. Max Verstappen leads after yesterday. What top 3 split by 57 thousandths of a second?
Yeah, 500.
Close.
Pretty mad. Ocon, great job, P5 from him as well. And then Lando Norris, P10, boys. What do we think from the McLaren boys?
Long
Ricardo
stint.
P11.
What are your hopes for
They're together.
But hopes.
Lando and Ricciardo today?
I'm saying P7 for Lando, P9 for Daniel.
Okay, double points.
Double points.
Yeah,
We have to just keep the
respectable as well.
double points streak
Best
going.
of the rest.
Hopefully, an Alpine blows up.
Oh,
I mean, that's a given, I think.
We're going to find which one it's going to be, but one of them is going to blow up.
We'll see. But it looks like intermediate conditions, would we say? Greasy,
Yeah.
but not too wet.
There's my boy. You know on the screen, the home hero, the home favourite.
I hope he has a good one.
I want points. I want a point for Yuki today.
I just want him to have a clean race. That's
all.
number
So
one.
yeah, so do I. A couple more.
I've invested heavily into Yuki, and
Invested heavily.
the stock is very volatile.
No,
I call it Yuki coin. It's just up and down. And I'm like, I don't know if I can go home to my missus about it.
Someone should do that.
We're not stepping.
Someone should mock up like an F1 driver stock exchange and see how over the years.
His
The
one's
teeth is just
like
there at the bottom the whole time.
To be fair, his first couple of races, the stock was high. I'm not going to lie. Oh, yeah, Yuki.
Oh, yeah,
100%.
for sure. Yeah. And then it
Now
now
it's
dropped
like-
off.
Yeah, it is volatile.
It's been,
This
think
is up and down, but ups are high, the downs are also
because
definitely.
he's on merit outperformed Gasly numerous times this year. It's just he still has a big accident, a big wobble in his performances.
Yeah, I think that was it. It was Imola, and he binned it in qualifying, ripped out his gearbox.
That was last year. That was last year.
I remember
You
that.
had Canada was the
Canada, that was
Silverstone drove into Gasly.
I
as
just
well.
summed it out.
I was
like,
super embarrassed in Canada. I was like,
Silverstone hurt me on a serious level as well. You can't take out your teammate too. If you're gonna have your own accident, then fine. But
Yeah.
You can't.
I want Yuki to get points today.
Yeah, man.
Hopefully, in front of the home faithful. Formation lap just getting underway, boys.
So yeah, Jensen Button saying on the comms, he says it looks like rivers running across the start-finish line, according to JB anyway. So
Go on, JB.
yeah, we'll see.
Do you know what? Turn one
org.
on the start of these races are always cash money. Something's going
I
to
mean,
Yeah, the wet into this turn one here.
every single time.
mental. It's gonna be.
Someone's always like in the gravel on the left. Something.
Yeah.
As long as it's red, that's all I want to see. If it's red, in the gravel you go.
yeah. And it's not too much rain, so we're not going to get another Spa 2021.
Okay.
Yeah, we're also getting a standing start as well, aren't we?
Thank God for that.
Yeah,
Come
thank
on.
God for that. Because it was Mahad was saying on our last episode, like, why can't we start on full wets? Like, why can't we ever just
Yeah, I mean, we had
start
that
a race?
discussion as well for Singapore, and it was just kind of, it's like,
Yeah.
what is even the point necessarily in having them? If you want to start and it's behind a safety car, then fine, that's fair if it's wet. But if you don't start at all, then it's kind of like
Why use the tires?
what's the point?
Why did they exist?
Yeah, why did the wets exist?
Yeah, everyone's on inters though for the start here. I saw there was when they were going out to the grid, there was a bit of a mix up between wets and inters, but everyone's gone for the intermediate time.
Also, why do they call them the extreme wets? Why not just call them wets?
Wets.
There's no other wet tire.
get middle wets
like
as well.
the intermediate, call it the intermediate, and then the wet tire.
Because they say they're advertising, aren't they? They're saying it clears X amount of water.
Correctly marketing machine.
All of the time.
I just saw that comment on the screen there from Siva, by the way, saying no way Niran's actually awake for this one. That's a hologram.
Mate, listen.
So big fan of that.
I would have put my hand through your head.
It's gonna clip through my face.
This is pre-recorded.
Yeah. 1,000%, bro. I'm commentating the 2019
We've
race.
anticipated this entire race. right?
Yeah. Predicted it, bro.
Absolutely. I'm not going to lie, I'm nervous for Max at the start. I don't trust him. I just don't trust him at the start of this race for some reason.
Do you think he'll bog down?
I just have a feeling Leclerc's going to have a good start here.
He
Well,
bogged down in
with the
Singapore,
practice. Sorry?
Did.
He bogged down in Singapore.
Yeah, true.
Had a poor practice start as well.
Yeah, poor practice. I was about to say.
So
It's a stinker.
this could be in.
I mean, the thing is, I guess Max knows that. Look, obviously, I think they want to win the title in Japan.
Yeah.
Connections to Honda. This is a track that 12 championship decide championships have been crowned
Here,
at. So I think cool. Like it'd be great. So I think maybe there's a bit more pressure there.
Yeah.
Because that would be huge for the team.
Yeah.
Do we think Honda will be back next year? By the way,
Honda
are they coming back?
Did they even leave?
I mean,
Did
that's
they
true,
ever
innit?
leave?
Yeah.
They have a love-hate relationship with Formula One. Like every 2 years, they're like, "Nah, I'm good," and then they'll come back. Like, actually, we like
honestly.
Formula One again now.
Honda
Honestly.
basically just said, "We're not here, guys."
Yeah, we're not here. We're not
Indecisiveness.
we're not there. It's someone else. It's someone
Them
else.
ones, exactly.
Them ones.
But I definitely think they're going to be. I think they're going to buy AlphaTauri.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could hear that. Honda.
I think AlphaTauri's.
AlphaTauri's for sale, right?
Yeah.
And I think Honda's going to buy them.
Gearbox was it?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah,
think
that's
some kind of engine change. He's starting from the pit lane.
He was fuming yesterday, wasn't he? On radio.
He wasn't not
And
happy.
Not happy.
He was like, you sent me out on a car with no brakes. Like, fair enough.
Right, the grid's forming up.
After I just cut the brake, you were going to Alpine. So did you?
Yeah, isn't it, mate?
Snip.
The grid's forming up. We're already for a start, and it seems like a good time to say, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Okay, if you're enjoying the content so far and you're enjoying the show,
Come
we are
on.
getting ready
4,
for a start.
5
Red
lights.
lights.
I'm nervous.
Let's
man.
go.
Oh, quick set of lights there.
Leclerc's got him.
Inside, they're so close.
Oh my god.
Leclerc's got him. Oh,
Late braking from Max.
very.
Oh,
That's
Max
crazy.
done
late
well.
break.
Around the outside. That is sensational.
What a
Oh,
move.
bravery.
Wow,
Yellow flag.
wow.
Yellow flag straight in.
Oh, we've got Aston in the
Straight
gravel
in.
in the background, by the way.
Yellow flag set to
What
1.
did I say? It's cash money.
Cash money.
Max was brave around the outside
He
there.
was.
Very,
that
very
was.
brave. So Max Verstappen still leading them from Leclerc. Perez has got
Perez.
science, by the way, as well.
That's
Perez,
Vettel
yeah.
who spun.
Oh, from P9 as well.
Sebi.
Such a good
No,
qualifying.
man.
Listen, he's got a clear track. He can just enjoy it now. You know? It's fine.
Yeah, enjoy the views. Yeah, his final Japanese Grand Prix. That's such a shame.
But it doesn't look like anyone's out. I think we've still got 20 runners. All looks good. Big spray.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
Do you know what? Because of the spray, it's like revealing the car. Who's that position? Who's that car?
Ooh, there's a bit of mystery behind it.
Max played that well, though. Maybe there was... He probably knew there was more grip around the outside.
Oh, look at that move.
Hello. That's
What's going on here?
Alonso.
That is...
On Lewis
Alonso,
Hamilton.
Lewis.
Alonso, lovely move at a hairpin. Hamilton's going for the switchback though.
Yellow
We've got
flags.
yellow
So-
flags, very concerned.
This
Lewis
is
has
like-
got
Oh,
back
big
end.
crash.
Oh,
big
was that
crash.
Ferrari?
I think that was a Ferrari.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
You hater.
That's sign.
That's
That's big crash as well.
He can't catch a break.
Oh, no.
I feel sorry for he's former McLaren.
Do you know what's so funny? Do you know what's so funny? In my predictions, I knew one Ferrari was going to go out, and I said it couldn't be
This is
Leclerc.
it.
Yeah,
It's science.
yeah, yeah.
Science is
Science.
Carlos Sainz with a big shunt.
He's done for the day.
Oh, just the camera just caught.
What's going on here?
Is that Gasly?
Gasly's like
Gasly's
Gasly.
collected a Rolex sign and he's driving it
That's
back.
fantastic
New
advertisement for
sponsorship
Rolex.
deal for
I'll tell you
AlphaTauri.
It
I
is.
tell you what, that is peak.
It is a great advertising deal.
Oh, we've got
who's that?
Albon out
Who's
as
that?
well.
Oh,
Alex
no.
At the moment.
is gone.
For the moment.
Pain.
What is going on? This is outrageous. Has he binned it or?
Safety car.
All that mist in it is sort of like we don't know what's happened, and then everyone's just appearing.
I need to see this replay.
I was so concerned, by the way, when I saw Sainz, 'cause I thought he was in the middle of the track, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's going to be a crazy accident."
Yeah.
But he is,
Well, at least-
thankfully, to the side.
At least his car's not on fire this time.
Yeah, I was going to say, and it's not rolling away.
Hey, Austin was hilarious, man. That was funny.
Austria, yeah.
What did I say, Austin?
Yeah, Austria.
It's 5 minutes.
Hasn't happened yet.
Right. So they're replaying the race start.
let's go.
So we're going to have to wait to see the replays of. We'll see Seb's incident here, I imagine.
Seb's
Looks
like-
yeah,
Seb's
good
like-
start.
Seb's on
He
the
just
grass.
aquaplaned out wide.
It looks like he touched
I
the
mean-
white line.
Jensen was right about the
This move's crazy.
amount of water on track.
No, we have to give props to this move. It's mad. Verstappen.
Vettel just never made it to turn one, by the way. He'd already yeah,
Do you know
he's
what?
back-
The
he's
whole
back
time-
turning backwards into
You
turn
can,
one.
you can see it the whole time.
There we
He
go.
was skimming the grass.
He touched
Yeah,
the white
yeah,
line.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
See, that white line's dangerous, though.
On the edge of
There's loads of
adhesion.
puddles there.
Blimey.
He just wanted to make a move.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
so there was
yeah, he's
contact.
made contact with Alonso.
You can't see a thing, though. That is crazy. What's my man saying?
Yeah, it was Alonso.
Yeah, he kind of just turned in, and Alonso hadn't started turning yet.
Yeah. I mean, you couldn't see anything.
They couldn't see anything.
couldn't see
yeah,
anything,
yeah,
And I mean, the visibility from the actual driver's eye is even less than what we're seeing. Right, here
what's
we go.
going on?
Sainz.
Carlos Sainz, though, I'm guessing he's just aquaplaned off going through this right-hander.
Yeah, just dropped it on his own, yeah.
Wow, just dropped it.
As you said, you can't get
Big
Wait.
crash. I'm so fuck. Jesus Christ. That's what it was. I was
That's
so
scary.
That Mercedes came very close.
Man.
You can't see anything through
That's the
there as
problem,
well.
yeah.
Oi, oi, oi.
And Joe spun.
Joe spinning. I was wondering why he was at the back. So he spun at the hairpin,
Just out, and let's see what Alex did.
and then Albon. I couldn't even work out where Alex had gone off.
Where is
actually,
that?
to be fair.
They can't see anything.
They can't see anything.
Yeah, this is mad. So he's got at the inside of the Williams and then dropped it on exit.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
good stuff.
It's a fair move, but yeah, he just got a bit too lively on the old
Too
throttle.
trigger happy.
way too tricky.
Right, come on then, Alex.
And then what did Alex do?
I think
He went
looks
deep.
Like maybe same as science.
Yeah, maybe.
What's going on there? He's stuck in gear.
Oh no!
Oh no, break. Oh, he's actually broken down.
Yeah.
Oh, the car broke.
Water in the electronics,
The car
mate.
broke.
The car broke. It's broken.
Allegedly, we
That
might
makes
have
me
a
feel
red
a little
flag.
bit better.
Yeah, you know.
It's not his fault.
The chat saying red flag.
Are they?
Are they saying red
I
flag?
was gonna say,
Yeah.
with the amount of accidents
Red
that have
flag
happened,
is
right?
in.
Flag,
Here
red flag, mate.
we go.
Interesting.
Well, that was a great Japanese Grand Prix, everyone. Like and subscribe. Thank you very much
Do you know
for
how many
tuning
points
in.
they're awarding for this one?
Yeah, 0.5 for the winner. So everyone coming back into the pit lane and after a very action-packed first lap. Goodness me.
I don't know if you lot saw at the beginning, they were showing like the deducted points, sort of the reduced points in case
Yeah.
you don't get the thing.
Okay.
I was like, don't give me them vibes, please. I want to race and just give me the 55.
Well, the thing is,
whatever, 53 laps.
Are we in a situation where maybe it's not actually quite inters and, people are still struggling or...
Yeah, I think because, they're anticipating the track drying up, I guess, as they go round. So you don't want to be on the wet tyre when it does dry
It's
up.
gonna overheat.
But I guess from the Carlos Sainz accident was a pretty big one. So oh yes, repair and damage to the barriers. Alex is just chilling by the side. That's a good lid design.
Such
I
a
love
good
that
helmet.
helmet.
I love that helmet.
Stole my pink, but,
Proper.
you know, it's fine.
That is good.
It's fine.
Wouldn't have that personally, mate. Would not have that.
Exactly.
Pierre Gasly
Mine.
can now remove the ad board from his car as well, which is great stuff for him.
Otmar. Isn't he? I feel like he's become the sassiest team principal.
Yeah, he just doesn't care.
Mate, he's
anymore.
had a hard 12 months. Yeah, this
What,
guy
what,
is-
he said something about
It's been a mad 12 months.
about when they signed Gasly. Oh, we've got somebody that's experienced and, and youthful.
And youthful.
Unlike
We
Alonso
didn't
and
have either of
Piastri.
that
I'm like, what? Like, get over it, bro. Come on.
Yeah, it is a bit cringe how Alpine just don't seem. Lauren Rossi's also been like talking a lot about Piastri. How even if he has a career like Michael Schumacher, he'll always be remembered for this. I'm like, Schumacher, like, I'm not being funny. Like he got a paid drive first opportunity and then was kind of bought into a seat.
Yeah.
Does anyone hold that against him?
I'm going to be
With his
totally
7 more
honest.
titles?
In
No.
in 6 months from now, no one will remember Oscar
one.
Piastri. Halfway through his first season, no one's going to remember Oscar Piastri for Alpine
Yeah.
and that whole shenanigan.
Well, okay, so as we've got the red flag, we might as well talk a little bit about Piastri.
Yeah,
Because obviously joining McLaren.
Yep.
How are you two feeling about that transfer?
I think it's a good move. I think when we talk
for who?
about, I think it's a good move for McLaren and Oscar because obviously Oscar was there. He was loaned out to us in Bahrain because Daniel Ricciardo
They did-
was
yeah,
had
they
COVID
offered-
and they didn't
yeah,
know
yeah.
he was touch and go, so he was already in the garage there. And then when Lando Norris was sick between, I think was it Monaco and Barcelona,
Yes.
he came into the garage again as a safety precaution. We can get him into the seat.
only Alpine
and,
knew
And then
what he was up
he
to.
locked eyes with Zach Brown, and they were like, "Okay, we need to get this
look of
guy
love.
in." There you go. So I think Zach Brown. I don't think it's a slight to Daniel Ricciardo at all. I just think Zach Brown just saw an opportunity there. We can get a guy that's won F2, F3. He could possibly be available here. Let's bring him in. And I think it's if we're looking at the future and having a youthful lineup and drivers that are quite talented, that's the best type of lineup to have.
I was going to say, for the future, you're locked in because Oscar Piastri is the best young driver that there is pretty much right now in terms of pedigree, in terms of his
Junior career.
Junior career.
exactly. So,
And it's a coup at the end of the day
Yeah,
to bring him in. So bringing him in was a bit of a no-brainer. What my expectations for him next season is, we'll just have to see. If he's close enough to Lando, that would be good. If he's matching Lando, that would be great. If he's beating Lando, we've got two phenomenal drivers here. So
Yeah.
it's not really, I think it's really a win-win situation here. Unless he's a complete disaster and he's completely off the pace, I think it's a shrewd signing.
But I think the pressure's going to be high, Pete, because obviously because of everything that's happened, there's going to be a lot more scrutiny and eyeballs when he does eventually take that seat. He's alongside Lando Norris, who is doing bits at the minute.
Yeah. No, you're right. The pressure will be on. And I think, I can say it from here. I think he'll do better than what Ricciardo's done this year. No slight to Ricciardo, but just as in I just think he's hungry. Do you know what I mean? He's been waiting for this seat in terms of in Formula One for how long now? And I think he's just going to, grab the ball by the horns, really. So I'm excited for it. To be honest, I'm just excited to see how he gets on because I think even just the way his demeanor is, I see like there is a dog in him. There is something about him where I think, okay, he's not going to take anything, and he'll be trying to beat Norris, and that's what you want. Do you know what I mean? You don't want necessarily it to be all pally-pally.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to Piastri.
They must have seen something when he was in the garage with McLaren. The team must have seen something in Oscar and said, "Okay."
So
this
they
guy might
were
be
just
ready.
showing Gasly on Gasly's onboard.
Yeah.
Oh my! You can't see
you
anything.
could genuinely not see anything. That was absolutely. He's on wets, by the way. Didn't clock that, but yeah, you could not see anything at all.
He's again.
He's always kicking off.
He's kicked off again.
She's like, I can't do anything about the rain, Pierre. Like, just don't complain to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, he could not see anything through that. So there's no surprise he hit the ad board because
They'll probably use this race as a precedent to say, "Okay, look, in this condition, we can't start a race."
yeah.
That's annoying. That is annoying. So is Gasly out?
No. I think they
No.
just changed his front wing before the red flag happened.
Yeah, I think they put a different because they upgraded their front wing design, and I think they've put the old front wing on as well.
Okay.
But I'm not sure which one they're running this week because they've got quite a new distinctive nose. So, but they've put on they're using the old spec at the minute by the looks of it. Gasly doesn't look happy. But yeah, I guess we'll see, won't we?
He's on the way to the Alpine garage. He's like, get me in that car, lads.
Yeah.
Just get me in it now.
Yeah, I wonder if I guess they can't bring Alex's car back, right, and like fix it. Because it just seems to just
Depends.
They
not
tried
go
to do
through
that
the
with
gears.
Russell in Silverstone, right?
I don't know what the rules are around that, to be honest.
I think it's a sort of once you're out of the car
Yeah.
situation, no?
And if they
Oh, no,
have
if,
to
it's
recover
assist,
the car.
if the car's assisted back, right?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Remember,
If it's not of his
Russell's
own-
car went on the truck.
Yeah.
What
And
we're
then
saying, chat. What's the ruling around that? Do you reckon they could fix that? I guess it obviously depends on if it's gearbox, then they definitely can't. Like, it's not a quick fix, is it? It doesn't sound like a quick
It
fix.
did look like something was wrong with the game.
Well, I think he was in second and he
Yeah,
just
and
couldn't
they
go
just
up any
couldn't go
further. But yeah,
Well,
Depends
best
how
gear to
long,
be
I
stuck
guess.
in.
It just depends how long this red flag's on for. Like, say the race will start in half an hour. Then Albon's got a chance, depending on what his issue is.
Here it is. Here's the map, the rain map. I'm going to
rain.
pretend like I know what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
You know, like weather systems fluxing in from
It's coming from the
like
southeast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
southeasterly breeze.
You know what? Breaking the fourth wall. You know, like when you go BBC Studio or whatever, and they try to do the weather thing, and it's just blank. There's nothing there, and I'm thinking, how are you not clocking that that's going over here? That blew my mind.
It's so interesting looking at all the times everywhere. 10:45 in India. Shout out to everybody in India.
Yeah, shout out to
truly
everyone, 1:15.
international. Truly international.
8 a.m. in
at that.
Finland.
I love 6:14 in Ireland because it's the same time as over here. I'm a big fan of that shout in the chat.
I can't believe
the
it's.
Irish.
I can't believe it's 6:15 in the morning. It really doesn't
We've got
feel
the rest of
like
the
6 in the
day.
morning.
Yeah,
feel like
Jesus
it.
Christ.
It does feel like just like nighttime to me. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't feel...
Yeah, I was in the shower this morning. I was like, I feel like I'm showering before like a night out or something. Like, what's going on?
I feel like I'm now on Japanese time.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah,
I've-
yeah.
you know.
I was coming in and I was thinking, this is the weird time where you could either eat a kebab or breakfast.
Yeah.
But the kebab shops are still open. It's
Right.
Jet lag in an Uber. How does that even make sense? Crazy.
You know what, right? I was driving in and there was some fox just sitting in the road doing a dump.
Yeah.
Like right in front. I had to
Comfy.
basically stop until we got out of the way. This fox, they didn't care. Didn't give a
No,
fuck.
but the fox
It
was
just
like, you should be asleep. What are you doing?
Yeah. This is
my time.
This is my street right now. These are my hours.
Yeah,
Lads,
that's
I was waiting to get in the building, actually. This drunk couple came up to me and were like, oh, are you waiting to get in your house? I was like, this is not my house. Don't worry about it, lads. They're like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm filming for the Formula One.
You should have brought them up.
I was gonna. And they're like,
been
oh,
6 of us.
I know, should have got them on.
That'd have been good fun.
Drunk last lap show. We do need to do that at some point.
Oh yeah.
That'd be
Well,
sensational.
yeah, because
Get the
obviously
Jaegers
we've got
out.
Austin is an evening race UK time.
8-ish, right? 8 p.m.
Yeah, and I think
That's beautiful, to be fair.
Brazil and Mexico as well.
Brazil's like 6-ish.
Yeah, it's like early evening.
I like the evening races. That's good.
Yeah.
Fun.
Australia will come back from a night out and we'll just get straight on the mics.
Yeah, 100%. That would be amazing.
That would be
Straight on.
hilarious. Actually, getting back with a Mackey's. in
Oh
hand.
my God, Stroll! Like the
Stroll!
Oh my word! If you haven't seen Lance Stroll's replay from his start, Jesus,
That is mental.
You know,
Fair play,
Stroll
Lance
has
Stroll.
no fear.
He doesn't. Fair play to
absolutely
him.
no
He
fear.
actually
you know
doesn't
what?
care.
But he's fired because he knows he's not losing his seat.
Exactly.
Like, whatever happens, he
He's
can do what he
driving
likes.
like a man who's locked in for 10 years.
Yeah, so fair enough. He's got that confidence.
I love
Man.
the fact that everybody's contract, they got like a date and then always Lance Stroll, unknown contract.
Yeah.
You don't know.
It's really interesting, actually, just to see the
That's a bad start.
the lineup on the left-hand side there as well, by the way, just because obviously that's how they'll start a restart. Daniel Ricciardo up to P8. Didn't actually
Lando?
clock that.
Norris, 30.
Yeah, Lando down to
Joy is
P13.
there.
Wow.
Mick Schumacher up in 10th as well. So some
Tsunoda.
very big changes there. Sonoda's P9. Let's go.
Tsunoda.
Yuki up 4 places.
Go on, you.
You know what? I saw the Norris like going down. I tried to avoid.
Yeah, same.
I saw that one on the corner. I said, okay, all right. Oh, Albon, what's going on over there? Do you know what I mean?
Someone was like P13. I was like, what? I never knew that.
Man, that is
Mick made up some places as well.
That's the thing. It's the spray, isn't it? The rain's not coming down that hard, but I guess there's so much. Because do you think there's an argument, I guess, maybe in conditions like this, that you have to kind of mandate the wet tyre at the start? Because obviously you don't want to be intervening too much, but clearly the wet tyre, if you're like, it didn't look like Carlos Sainz had too much control of what happened there.
Yeah, no. True. Yeah, that looked like aquaplaning.
But wouldn't the spray still be the same? Like, it clears the same amount of water.
It
Maybe
clears-
the spray would be even worse if you was on wets.
Well, yeah, I guess the spray would be, you could argue the spray would be worse, but then you're less likely to aquaplane because you've got more tread.
And you're clearing out the
So-
water quicker as well.
Yeah.
There's 20 cars going around.
So you're right, it's kind of a...
That was
Yeah, I guess
that was scary.
Probably not the right.
Alonso v Hamilton. Hamilton comes so close, by the way, to hitting Sainz as well. There.
Oh, that's so scary.
That's why I was
That
so
would have been a
concerned.
write-off.
Yeah.
That would have been
We
absolutely
were following
right-off.
Lewis because he'd just overtaken Alonso, and you could see Sainz's car, and it looked like he was just in the middle of the road.
And you could-
if he was, he gets like
El Plan. Look at my guy, man. Look at him.
Alonso, man.
He's
I love
loving
him.
life.
He loves
Mate,
it.
He looks like someone that's
Hamilton
handing his
replay.
That was horrible.
If you
That
haven't
was
seen that Hamilton replay, that is
The thing is,
terrifying.
He couldn't
so
see anything,
scary.
you know. It's literally just a blur on the
You see a
left.
black thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like one frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a car there.
Yeah.
Because even
Just
from
no
the science replay, you just see this Mercedes just flying past. You're thinking, whoa, that's mad. And if they hit, that's it. I mean, I think they wouldn't even race anymore.
And then Alonso's right behind him. That would have been a pile-up.
Yeah,
I think it would-
that would have been a huge accident if he'd connected
Oh,
to
God,
Sainz
yeah.
going through.
I guess that's the thing, isn't it? We all want the racing to get going, but also there has to be. I mean, look, it was demonstrated more than ever. I know there were other factors involved, but obviously 2014 at this very track when obviously Jules Bianchi passed. You know, rainy conditions. These are serious cars going serious speeds. There's only so much you can do to make the sport safer, and it's difficult, isn't it? Because we all want the race to get going, but these guys are putting their lives on the line at the end of the day.
Safety first
you've
at
got-
all
yeah.
times.
That's the thing. For sure, you have to, as much as we want the entertainment and whatnot, absolutely.
Of course, man.
We
That's
want
the
people
thing.
all in
I think
one
when you
piece.
see replays like that, you're like, right, okay,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, there was so many incidents in that first half as well, like separately as well. I think that's part of it too. You've got Zhou spinning, you've got Vettel spinning, then you've got Sainz, Hamilton almost smacking into him, Gasly fucking running into an ad board because he couldn't see it on the track.
But it's like safety first. Like, I'm happy to wait.
Yeah,
I'm happy to wait half an hour, 45 minutes if it leads to some sort of safety.
Yeah.
Because especially a track like this, you can have some serious incidents.
Yeah.
I still think though that F1 can do more to, you know, when we saw what was it? Not Singapore, race before Singapore. What was the race? Oh no, it was rain at Singapore, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's Singapore.
And when you just had the safety car going around on its own, I feel like, you know, F1's like arguably behind football the richest sport in the world. I think there's more that the sport could do. You know, get 20 like big trucks with like brooms on the bottom.
There are actually like those
Those
kind of
things
car
exist.
hoovers that
do
clear
that.
the rain off the track.
yeah.
So, like you said, just get 20 of them. That's a separate race itself.
Yeah. That's a support series.
Yeah,
race.
livery them up.
Yeah.
Get 10, one in each livery.
Yes.
Binmen from all over the world.
All the reserve drivers drive
it.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sweepers.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, free content. Stefano Domenicali, if you're watching. Of course you're watching.
mate.
Of course you're watching.
That's
On
a
his
red
phone.
flag, mate. He's locked in.
Formula Clean. That's what we're going to call it.
Formula Clean.
That's what we're going to call it. Formula Clean.
Yes, man. Yes.
Look, this is like proper rain, though. This is a stream.
Man, look at
That's
that.
the way to change Formula One. That's the way to save wet races. Formula
But
Clean,
we
man.
keep talking about sustainability and like environment.
Yeah,
There you go, Formula Clean right there.
Yeah. They're all hybrids as well. Hybrid
100%.
cleaners. Calm. You're living the life.
Actually, something I caught wind of from a legitimate account on Twitter yesterday, but it was from Twitter, so this is a caveat. Apparently, there's the idea next year of Q1, everyone's on hards. Q2, everyone's on mediums. Q3, everyone's on softs.
Madness.
What do we think?
Is that to what, save tires?
I guess
for the
so, yeah.
environment and
yeah.
so on. So
Yeah. Because obviously, if everyone's on the same compound, then it's calm, right?
Yeah.
Like the lap times will be a bit higher, but will that change the relative performance?
I think you can get the information that you need because basically what you're doing in practice is just setting up the car, right?
Yeah.
And then you can find out the information on hards, find out the information on
Well,
mediums.
let's get a little poll knocked up. Chat. What do you think of the idea of having Q1 on hards?
Yeah. What we
Q2
saying?
mediums, Q3 softs. Because actually, I first read it, I was like, nah, and then I was like, okay. I
That
mean,
makes sense, low-key, yeah.
Oh,
Imagine, you know the days where they had like hyper softs and super softs
Yeah.
and giga softs.
There's about 7 compounds.
it was sick colours.
It's a Q9.
No, the colours were lit. I'm not going to lie. The colours were looking good.
Pink one, the
Pink
green
one was
one,
wavy. That was on a Force India.
drip.
Yeah, that was cold. That was cold. That was a cold combination.
Do you know what? I'm for it.
Pops up.
Yeah, I'm for it. Hards on Q1, mediums Q. Yeah, I'm for it. Why not? Why not?
Tommo, I know the real shake up for quality.
Oh,
You know
go
what
on.
it is. One shot.
Yeah.
We need it.
Oh, yeah.
This is like Monaco, 1 shot, mandate 2 stop, done. That would make Monaco so much better.
Yeah, 1,000.
Because
That's so true.
The pressure of a 1 shot.
yeah, man.
Around Monaco is crazy.
And like no one's shunting to ruin your lap. Like people can shunt on their own and fix it, whatever.
Yeah.
And sure, there's changeable weather, but you know what? There's always changeable weather in motorsport.
Absolutely.
Like there's always tyre, like there's always track like evolution.
Yeah.
So
Mate, I'm all for 1 shot. 1 shot is
just
the
for
one.
Monaco, just to, I think try it at Monaco.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that. And mandate a 2 stop, because why not? Lewis has talked about this. He's said like he thinks it should be at least a 2 stop. Why not?
Yeah, you need to spice that race up, though.
Yeah.
You got to make some sort of changes to try to.
Because you
shake
can't
things
change the
up.
track. There's physical limitations there. But I think that what makes Monaco special, yes, the race isn't great. We get that. But you can do things to make the race better. And I think if you had strategy, you know, that component, we saw it with like Ferrari blowing it. Like we saw it with Valtteri's 2-day pit stop. Like, you know what I mean? Like with pit stops, it puts more emphasis on the team, getting your pit stops right, getting your strategy right. And I think there's merit in that, you know?
There's merit in Monaco being on the grid just because of that, because 100%. It puts more of a focus on quali, puts more focus on pit stops and strategy. Because if you're not on point on those things, you're going to lose the race. You're not going to convert your P1 that you got in quali.
Yeah.
So there is some jeopardy there.
That's it. What we saying? Pole. Pretty fairly even split. So 57% still think that. But you know what? Considering how outlandish I thought the idea was at first, I think 43%.
That's decent. That's almost a 50-50 split. I rate that.
I think there's legs in that, you know. But I mean, let's be honest. The amount of tyre compounds you're using, from an environmental point of view, compared to the massive logistics of sending F1 around the world, it's kind of not really. It kind of the idea. If the idea has come from that point of view, it screams a bit kind of, you know, a bit disingenuous. Let's be honest.
I'm with you. No, I'm with you. Like the calendar, for example, is like,
it's mad.
Why can't we just like move from like one country that's next door to the next, do all the Americans in one go? You know, stuff like that. I mean, we're going to the Middle East or Far East 3 separate times in the year. It's just madness. I guess it's just a case of have they given a reason as to why? Is it just
so? My understanding is that certain contracts are in place. So if you've signed like a multi-year deal to host a Grand Prix, then you can't change that date. But I think obviously going forward they have to, like, especially we're going to like Miami. Then back to Europe, and then back to Canada.
Yeah, it should be back to back, right? Miami and Canada, it only makes sense. Why are we going back to Europe and then going back out there again?
Like if F1 are actually serious about addressing, not just being seen to be addressing it.
Yeah.
Because the cars account for, like, I think they did like a sustainability report in like 2019, and the cars themselves are like 0.2%.
Yeah.
And that's all. That's
it's
all
cargo. It's traveling. It's all that sort of stuff that actually builds up.
Yeah.
It's not only just about the sustainability as well. It's about the families, the drivers, everybody like that. You're putting excessive strain on them. We got 24 races. They're going to talk about 25. I'm tired.
You know?
We're just watching, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm tired now.
Imagine you're on pit crew or something like that.
Exactly.
You don't get to see your family after you because of it.
After a triple header, the break I have, I'm telling you, man, I'm in bed for days after a triple header. So you can imagine what it's like for these guys.
Well, it wasn't even that long ago that we had 16 races.
You know?
Like,
and it still worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking like maybe 15 years ago, you had like 16 races on the calendar. That's insane how much it's grown in that time.
But it is, I think in the Concord Agreement, it's maximum 24 races. So they were always going to get to that. That was always a, we'll get to that, right? But I guess you think as well, with 24 on the grid, there's still a lot of Grand Prix that we still don't have, like your Kyalami.
Don't have an African Grand Prix.
We don't have
South Korea.
Germany, South Korea.
No
Germany.
No Germany's crazy.
That is criminal.
Because that's always been on the calendar.
Absolutely. Yeah. Either one. I mean, do you know what though? It's crazy because, like, okay, 24 races, right? That's 24 weeks out of the year. Yeah, in other sports, we all watch, like, I don't know, baseball's outrageous. They've got like 100 games a season. Football, about 40 games maybe on average a season. So why does it seem like 24 seems so outrageous for Formula One? I don't get it.
I think it's more it's traveling because you're going across the world almost. Like with I think that's that added strain, I want to say.
And also, one Grand Prix takes up your whole weekend plus Friday.
Yeah,
like
true,
if you really want to follow everything, if you want to follow a whole football game, you only need to dedicate 2
hours.
2 hours.
2 hours of your time.
And then that's it. You can go out every day, whatever.
But like, do you not think that about the staff of like football teams or like, you know, basketball teams or NFL or whatever the sport may be? Like, we don't seem to have that same kind of energy with that, even though they seem to have far more games. Okay, yeah, they're not as, they're not worldwide.
Yeah. It's less obvious in a sport like football, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
I just wondered, like,
The strain.
yeah, because I'm sure every staff member of every sports team or whatever is knackered come the end of the season of whatever their sport is. And I just wondered, like, 24 races doesn't seem that many, really. But as you say, it's the traveling that's it's kicking their butt for sure.
It's also because it's 24 races condensed into more like 4 weeks rather than...
And also...
March to November.
And when it's a triple header as well, you're essentially working for 3 weeks straight without really... And they're like 12-hour days and you're jet lagged, sat in like an economy like class. Like it's not like the glamorous... I don't think it's as glamorous as, it's easy to until you've got that insight, I suppose, from people on the inside. It's not actually like you're not going and like, I'm going to have a day in Barcelona after the Grand Prix. No, like you're straight on a flight out. You don't see the Sagrada Familia. Like you just go straight.
You see your hotel room. You see the cars. You see the racetrack, and you go home.
Yeah, and again, look, I think this is a human-made sport. Like, sure, like, okay, cool. Like it's a great job and it's a privilege to have that kind of job. I get it, but it doesn't mean we can't make it better for everyone.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
It's really a balance between do you want more races or do you want quality races?
That's a good point, yeah.
Because if you lessen the races to maybe like 19, 20, then you can build up to those races more. You can have more of a spectacle, right? But I feel sometimes when you get to 24 or even like 25, you're going to feel like it's rushed and you'll forget the last race. You'll be like, you're going to have races that are completely forgotten about.
What do we make of the sprints as well? Because they confirmed 6 sprints next year. What have you boys made of the sprints so far from like what?
Do you know what a sprint is? A sprint is like, imagine somebody gives you like a fantastic meal, you're having steak and chips or whatever, and then you have a couple bites and then they take the plate away from you. You have
the rest tomorrow.
You have the rest tomorrow. I'm like, what's the point of this? I don't understand why.
That is a phenomenal one. That's really good.
Because you literally just started the race and then it's just stopped all of a sudden.
You're elongating the race and then just chopping it off.
We're going to watch the race tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
you're dropping a red flag after a third of the race and then...
So I watch a lot of F2, F3. And I see a lot of like the reverse grids and so on. There's a little bit more intrigue there because of that situation. And I know people are really against that for these sprint races, but you're going to have to make something different to try to draw me in here.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch it regardless, but
that's not the point.
You have to change it up a little bit here.
Yeah, it has to have a different selling point. So it's a mini F1 race.
Yeah, like you're teasing me here with this little mini race and then taking it away from me and then making me wait another 24 hours to watch the race. To make it 6... You're going to have to put it on tracks that make it work. There are some tracks that work, some tracks that don't work.
That's a fair point.
For Austria worked quite well.
Yeah.
Imola made no sense. I didn't really understand the sprint.
It has to be at tracks where you can actually overtake. Like, there's no reason.
This one split the crowd as well. 45-55.
See, I do genuinely quite like sprints in the sense of like it's just extra action during a weekend. Like I know obviously they're not optimized for the way they could be, but at the end of the day, you can't really complain about more action on track for me. But yeah, there needs to be some sort of like maybe reverse grid top 8 or something like that, like they do in F2.
Yeah.
And it be at tracks where you can genuinely overtake rather than choosing Imola.
Yeah.
It's like a motorcycle like track in terms of width. It makes no sense.
And I think like for people who go to the races as well, you're getting more bang for your buck, right?
Sure.
Because you go on a Friday, you see competitive running on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. I think seeing competitive running on all 3 days is 100% happening.
It's a win.
So because you can sell more tickets, and I think from a viewing spectacle, I don't think the sprint format's right as it is, but I think that they can make it work for me.
I agree with what you guys are saying in terms of it has to be the right track. It's too long though. So it's funny you said that, like you're eating a steak and then it's like they take it away. 17 laps, for example, is a bit I get bored during it actually in the middle of the sprint. Yeah. I'm getting a bit bored. So if it was like 10 laps where it's just like it's like you were saying like one shootout on the quali. Let's have just like a shootout or let it be like a 10-lap shootout. That's enough for me. When it gets to like you're like lap 13 and then 15, I'm a bit like okay, all right, well because I think the sort of the track is set, the grid is set, and then it ends. You're like. Oh, right, okay, here we go. Oh, okay, there's your points for that. here's the qualifying, and yet qualifying is what
I think that's a really
runs-
good point, actually.
I just find it too long, personally.
Do you know what? I feel like you need to increase jeopardy. You have to have some sort of risk going on there. Like. So maybe you mandate a pit stop.
Yeah.
Or maybe you mandate all of them be on softs. And you go and hell for leather for like 9
Yeah,
laps.
because if you lower the lap count, everyone can just go full send on the soft tire.
That's it.
And then maybe mandate a pit stop. Like that could. I think there's something there.
There's something there, and I believe, like you just said, that it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. We have to
100%.
accept it. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just how can we make the best of
Maybe even like saying, oh, let's put a little bit of points for quali.
Yeah.
Or something different for that weekend to make you draw in for Friday, Saturday. But you're committing time.
Yeah,
Friday,
yeah.
especially the Friday ones. Sometimes
That's
it's
it,
like
that's
weird
it.
times. People are still at work, stuff like that.
No,
So
for real. Like it's 4:30.
True.
The man are in Q1. I'm like, wait, what? I haven't left the office
literally,
yet.
there was one day I was literally driving home from work and I had to pull over to watch it. I was just watching it on my phone. I was like, I'm watching quality now. This is ridiculous. I'm not going to make
That's
it.
it.
This is the brand.
Just a couple of quick things. Sorry, no update in terms of like a race restart. As
Yeah,
of
should
yet.
we do a little recap of what's happened?
Yeah. Well, obviously we've had one racing lap basically. Got underway in the intermediate conditions, but everyone's been struggling. Albon's retired.
His car broke. It wasn't his fault.
With a mechanic.
His car broke. It wasn't his
It
fault.
was not his fault, Tom, I would like to establish. But the big thing really has been a big crash for Carlos Sainz, who is now out, obviously starting in P3. He's dropped it out of fourth. Max Verstappen still leads. Leclerc in second. Obviously, when we get a restart, hopefully we will. He will be at the start. He'll be on pole when we get going again.
Yeah.
But we're still waiting on an update in terms of when we are.
In fact, I've just got an update in my ear.
Oh, have you?
Race will restart at 2:50 local time.
Really?
Which I guess is in 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Really? Wow.
10, 15
I feel
minutes.
that's a little bit optimistic given it's still raining very, very
I'm
hard.
still
but,
looking at rain right now.
Okay, that's fine. The other thing as well, actually, I saw on Twitter is that Pierre Gasly almost hit a tractor
Whoa.
out on track. I don't know whether this was after. Yeah, I don't know whether this was after he pitted, but it was a tractor that had come onto the track to clear Carlos Sainz's car. I think it was around that area of the track.
Wow. That's why I was kicking off.
And yeah, that's why he was like getting vexed on team radio, and obviously was talking to
Really?
the rep,
Oh
in the AlphaTauri team.
Yeah, we don't.
I think it's because he pitted and obviously was like a long way behind the rest of the train, if you like, of everyone.
Yeah.
And I think the red flag had just come out. But yeah, there's a tractor on the light track, and
they had just replayed Gasly's sort of vision
you couldn't
again.
see.
You couldn't see
anything
It's
at
a
all.
joke, and then you
It's
just see this
so
thing
bad.
come on top of his car, and then I guess that's where the tractor bit, which we don't even see.
Yeah, it's to the left. It's on the edge of the track. To be fair, that's as you can see there. That's the on the screen right now. That's the ad board that he hit. I think it was on a different lap.
shocking.
I think
Where's
it was
that
on the
from?
second.
Do you reckon
lap.
that's from the ground?
Oh, it's because it's what Carlos Sainz hit.
And then it came onto the
It's
track.
come back onto
I'm
the
with
track.
you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm
so
with
Sainz
you.
has hit an ad board and then it's come back onto the track or it's come off the barrier when Sainz
Also,
has hit it.
the FIA have said there's going to be at least one lap behind the safety car before they get going. So it won't be a standing start,
Right,
which
okay.
is fair
That
enough.
makes sense. Yeah, that's fine.
I think everyone's going to be on wet tyres,
I was
surely.
going to say, what's the tyre condition? Is it wet?
I mean,
wet?
It's only been raining since we've had the red flag, so I can only imagine we might be on wet.
Surely.
I would say.
Considering the aquaplaning, I feel
Already,
like
yeah.
you've got to just everyone chuck on a wet. Just have an agreement. Everyone just chuck wets on,
Yeah.
and then go
Hopefully,
from there,
hopefully
'cause
the track dries up.
it's raining,
the
but
race
it's not
goes
like
on.
chucking down. But obviously, again, it's the standing water that kicks up the spray, isn't it? So, I just hope that there's a kind of gradual. I hope the rain. There's a little bit of drizzle throughout the race because we saw that in Singapore. When you get a wet to dry track, you get that dry line form, and then you can't make overtakes.
yeah.
The problem with Singapore as well is because it was nighttime, there's no sun to actually dry up
And
the
it's
track.
so humid as well.
So it was just the wet, dry
the
line.
line, yeah.
And then the rest of the track wasn't drying up at all because there was no sun.
Yeah, you're right. No, that was very kind of specific conditions, which I think. I mean, look, we saw Verstappen and Hamilton both kind of look a bit silly trying to make moves. So there was a bit of entertainment there. You know what I mean? But so it's not all bad.
It was
but-
a very strange race, that race.
I've got money on Leclerc doing it this time, actually overtaking
Yeah.
Max on the start.
Well, it'll be a rolling start.
It'll be
It'll be
rolling.
Rolling start procedure.
You're going to get more than one lap allegedly as well behind the safety car.
Okay.
More than one. I guess makes sense. Try and clear some of that water.
More than
before-
one lap behind the safety car and then half
Means
points.
20.
Then half points.
I don't even think it's
Please
hard.
don't put that energy into the atmosphere because
No, but why did they show us the graphic at the start of the show? They done it again as well earlier to showing us these. But I said no.
It's
I
all
don't-
planned.
I was like, I don't need this right now.
I mean, look, I think this is probably the right call, right? safety car, you got all 20, well, not all 20, unfortunately, because of Albon and Sainz, but 18 cars behind the safety car, all on wet tyres, displacing as much water as you can, even if you need to do 3-4 laps, just to try and clear some water and then go live.
I'm game for that.
Yeah, I reckon that's probably the
Mick Schumi on solution. P10, yeah?
That's the play. Yeah, where did Mick Schumacher actually start? Him being up in P10 is very
He qualified 15th.
15th. That's a big jump.
Well played.
He had a bit of a worldie off the start. I need to. If you haven't seen that Stroll replay is
That's going
on the F1 YouTube channel. Isn't it?
That's
amazing.
You know that is.
It's there already.
Yeah.
In the break.
Do you know what? Last Stroll, low key, honestly, he has
In the
the
wet.
greatest highlight package ever.
In the wet, he's great.
His highlight package, insane. Like even his overtakes sometimes. He did an overtake in Monaco, and it was insane.
Yeah.
Overtake. It was in the wet. And everything. I was like,
package.
In the wet, Lance is honestly.
Yeah,
if he sorted his pace out in qualifying, because I think that's his biggest caveat. I think typically in the race, he actually has become a pretty decent F1 driver.
he's pretty quick.
When he started, I remember thinking, this kid's 18, and look at what he was doing. I think he was getting like podiums on the Williams and stuff like that. I was thinking, okay, this guy's all right. Because obviously, the whole pay driver thing, everyone tries to throw that nonsense.
Well, he was.
He has a good junior.
He did get bodied by Sorokin.
Yeah.
He got that podium,
Yeah.
but he still finished behind. I think he still finished behind Sorokin.
Really?
I think so. I could be wrong. Let me know, chat.
I swear he got that podium in the season that he was with Massa, no?
No, that's a good point, actually. Maybe it was.
Someone-
I think his first year.
Someone says whoever Stroll's teammate ends up retiring all the time. So he retired
He's
back-
ending
he retired
careers.
back-
He's ending careers.
I
The
retired
race is that
all.
good.
Honestly,
Alonso's next.
Yeah, he's next. I haven't thought about Sergei Sorokin in like years, bro.
Sergei Sorokin.
That was crazy.
Sorokin, if you're watching, charts.
Yeah. Shout out to Sergei
He was a
Sorokin.
decent driver, mate.
He was all right,
Full wets are mandated.
Okay.
Alrighty.
So that is a
Makes
thing,
sense.
I guess. Which, makes sense again. Just go around behind the safety car because it doesn't look like it's raining too hard.
Yeah.
Clear that water before you go green.
That's the Frenchest helmet I've ever seen.
It's so French, isn't it? That helmet.
That helmet is
Mate,
so
that
French.
Allez bleu. Yo. Any French in the chat?
Yeah, man.
Shout out. Let us know
Shouts out, French.
what you're thinking about. Full Alpine, full French master plan.
Full French money. Le Plan. It's going to be Le Plan next year.
Le Plan, they're taking
Le Plan,
it.
Le Plan.
Well, Renault is I think 15% owned by the French government.
Yeah.
So there is a genuine they are the French team.
Wee bomb.
I think the next time anybody goes to France, you're just going to see
coming in.
posters of those two guys everywhere.
Yeah.
I saw my first Alpine, by the way, like in real life.
Oh,
Good
really?
car. Yeah, Max. It was crazy.
I've not seen one.
It was mad.
Oh, snap.
I've seen a few. I
you?
think they're really nice.
Joy is, I actually
nice.
didn't clock it was that.
I love the way they look.
I drove past the Alpine garage, like where they were selling the cars yesterday. It looked nice.
The one Alpine garage.
What Alpine garage? But I saw like an old retro kind of Alpine as well.
Okay,
As well.
the
They're
classic.
quite
Yeah, they sell one car. Like it is pretty mad. I'm like, because I know that I think what Renault are doing with Alpine, because obviously it's a marketing exercise, right? And obviously they put the Alpine badge on that car for 2020. Was it 20?
Yes.
No. That was Daniel's.
No, 2020 was Renault.
Yeah, 2020 was Renault.
2021.
That was Daniel's last. 2021 was the first season as
First
Alpine.
season Alpine.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
And then obviously it's a marketing exercise. They want to, and I think what Renault are doing, and they're going to put all their performance electric cars. I think they're doing, the Renault 5,
Yeah.
like the classic kind of with the straight. I think they're doing an electric version of that under Alpine, which I think will look pretty sick.
That's such a cool car.
They need to hurry up.
I still say Renault by accident sometimes.
I hear that.
That's just how it is.
Yeah, I mean they basically are, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's just.
But like I said before, they've got the money, they've got the resources. If they want to
That's it.
really
They do.
put the work in,
Yeah.
they could be up there challenging with your Red Bulls, Ferraris,
True.
and the Mercedes.
When Ricciardo left Red Bull for Renault, it was like, what the hell are you doing? And then when you sort of start to see, like, actually, do you know what who Renault are? Like, this is actually a big team.
Yeah.
You start to think,
Constructors
actually,
Champions 05, 06.
there's something there. They've got their own engine, blah, blah. It should be something major. But in the end, it didn't
I
quite.
think part of Renault's problem, Alpine's problem, is that it is enstone because it's kind of I've driven through enstone before, right?
Yeah.
And it's this tiny little village, middle of nowhere, and the factory is very limited. Like I think their simulator, they call it like You know, like the Lord of the Rings houses that are built into the mountain. It's like because there's no space.
Yeah.
And I think when you look at what Aston Martin are doing with the whole new factory, when you look at what like so many teams, they've got all this like McLaren's MTC, whatever. Mercedes is huge over loads of buildings. I don't think Enstone's got the space.
Alpine's like wind tunnels just made out of stone.
Crafted by hand.
You know, with Frodo.
Do you know what though? Honestly, now you think about it, they've got 2 French drivers. They're a French team. Why are you not in France?
The engine's built in Viry, which is just outside of Paris, I think. That's where the engine department is.
If you can use the Renault kind of like resources and facilities, if you've got them there, it would make more sense, right?
I think it's a fair point. It is a fair point.
I think they will end up just up sticks and leaving because
I don't think they could be at Enstone forever.
Nah, they can't be. And it almost think you know, as you were just saying, I was thinking, what have they been doing? Why are we still here? Like they should have left a long time ago.
They are in like a little village in the middle of nowhere.
The thing is, what's Crofty going to say though? It's the Enstone-based team. He always says that. So what's he going to say now? Paris-based team. Just doesn't really, you know what I mean? Someone said, by the way, that Bernd Mailander's led more laps than Carlos Sainz this season. Which is such a violation.
Yes. Oh,
whoever that was, shout out. That's incredible.
He gets his laps in, I tell you. This season.
He gets his laps in, man. Honestly.
They need to add Burnt to the count of the overall laps led of all time. It'll be top 10 easy. No doubt.
That's so funny. Whoever said
No
that.
doubt. Right. How long till we? Oh, still got 5 minutes to go.
More minutes.
Yeah, we're going again.
Yeah, this track's owned by Honda, isn't it, Suzuka?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah.
And then
They call it the
Toyota, I think, own Fuji. Or another one of the big Japan. I think it's Toyota own Fuji. Because they used to alternate between the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Suzuka.
I remember, I've missed Toyota in Formula One. That was sick.
That was elite. Big fan of that one. That's one of the best.
Elite Formula One times was Toyota. Always messing it up. Don't know how they never won a Grand Prix.
Nah, they were a mess.
Toyota
was
were
hilarious.
They were like Alpine, but back in the day.
Japanese Alpine.
Yeah, 1,000.
They threw so much money at it as well.
They threw
crazy,
And then they left, and then what was it? Braun came in. Was it?
Yeah. Well, no, their final season was 2009. No,
2000.
I think it was that. That was the
Who took over them, or they just left?
I think they just left.
Nobody took it over.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, where was their factory?
No idea.
Was it in Japan?
I'm not sure.
That would have been hilarious.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't think it was. Let us know in the chat. I can't remember, actually. That's a good
That team had potential, man.
That's a good question.
They literally like reached their peak in 2009 and then were like, nah.
We're done.
Well, look,
In a bit.
We're out.
So many teams do that. I'm like, what are you doing?
I miss BMW Sauber as well.
Yeah.
BMW just left.
I'll never forgive them for sacking off development of Kubica's car in a way.
goodness.
Come on. Season. Leading the championship.
They
And they were like,
mugged
actually,
him.
you know what, lads? Next season.
Kubica, man.
come back.
Kubica is such a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That like, because I think the potential he had like was insane.
Yeah.
Like he was such a driver. I think 2010 he put it on pole at Suzuka. Mm-hmm. Mad. Like in that Renault.
He was really
Not a
good,
good
man.
car. It
He
was
was
not
good.
like
No,
mid.
no,
It was a mid
everybody
car.
loves Kubica.
Jeez.
Yeah, if you don't like Kubica, what's your problem? You know, like, what's your beef?
Factory was in Cologne. Yeah,
Cologne,
that
oh,
rings a
wow.
bell actually. Yeah.
Wow. What, Toyota?
Yeah, no one replaced Toyota.
No one plays to it. Yeah. So there's a factory somewhere in Cologne that's waiting.
It's just
Kubica, man, he was special.
Waiting. He was.
Is it Audi time, yeah?
Audi
Audi
take it
time,
over.
yeah?
That's Audi Sauber. But I think that's part of the reason why I think, Alpine, not Alpine, AlphaTauri, I think the writing's on the wall in terms of a sale because F1 is, more appealing than ever now with the cost cap and with the popularity of the sport.
It's very much like.
Honda Racing.
Do you know what's going to happen?
vibes.
I think with the Dominicali not really wanting an 11th team or 12th team, you can tell they're trying to move to like a franchise model where they just want big teams to buy existing teams and then just keep them that way and just like split the money between those big companies.
Yeah.
So you're going to see a lot of these smaller teams getting bought out by big motorsport teams.
Oh, that's sad though, man.
That
I
is
want to
sad.
see
So
random...
someone's going to buy them.
I guess the reality, it's a sport.
Chevrolet have.
I mean, that's the same case with football, right? As the sport has gotten bigger, it's become less and less kind of local community. Like,
True.
A team like Little Firenze team, like
Yeah, yeah.
AlphaTauri,
Yeah.
like Haas.
It's true.
You feel like as time goes on and the sport gets bigger and more popular,
Yeah.
the big money's going to come in it.
Yeah, so-
But I think I think the sport should try and work towards 12 teams. 12 teams, 24 driver grid, perfect. That'd be lovely.
Yeah, those 2010 times, man, were great. You had Caterham and HRT just doing nothing.
Did they finish
were
the race?
terrible.
I used to just check the list. Did they even finish?
It was like a different formula, innit? It was like Formula
Yeah.
2 was them, but...
Because the thing is, like, the worst car grid this season, probably the Williams, but they've still got points. They're still close. I mean, I guess Haas last year is the closest we've had to like a Caterham HRT where they're just so far off the back.
They were a minute behind, like halfway through the race. I was like, what is going on here?
Literally, when I went to Silverstone last year, like the Haas, you see it in person how far behind the Hasses were.
Yeah.
It's a joke, man.
They were mad. They were like minutes off. Like,
and that's a weekend. That's the one weekend. Marzipan was quicker than
Marzipan did a move. He did a move on me.
Yeah,
Just Silverstone.
Quick update on the Grand Prix. The restart has been suspended. We're right on the brink of getting this one back underway. Not entirely sure what the reason is, whether they just looked at the track and gone, oh, yeah, it's still wet, actually, lads.
Actually.
What is going on?
Didn't think to look outside.
Yeah, sorry about that. Apologies, guys. I thought it was
just one random FIA guy putting his finger in there. Oh, it's still raining.
A minute before the restart. What's going on, man?
Come on, man.
Do you know what I've noticed about the FIA? They make a lot of last-minute decisions. Or they delay a lot of information.
Ratty.
Like they're doing a lot of penalties after the race when they could have just done it during the race.
And
it's just like procrastination. I can't be asked. Can't be asked.
Procrastination. It's like lap 6, and they're just like, we'll do it after the race.
Like with the whole thing with Perez last week, it was like, I can't be asked to investigate that right now. Do that later.
I think the reason for this delay is they've seen the radar, seen, yo, lads, it's going to get very wet again.
Yeah.
And have maybe put it off. I hope that's not the case, but they said they're going to give 10 minutes worth of warning for us when.
Yeah, no, I mean, they've got the numbers. Like,
it's still raining. Look,
they've got the. Yeah, that's the thing. It's how heavy it's raining, how quickly it can clear. They've got the medical car going around.
I suppose if they look at the radar and it says it's going to absolutely tip it down in 10 minutes, there's no point getting the race really underway for it to just be red flagged again.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones, but it really depends.
That is fair. Yeah, exactly.
They still put this map up of the rain, and I don't understand what I'm looking at.
What information am I ascertaining from that?
I have no idea.
But that's why we're here,
Okay.
Red flag.
We're breaking it down for you guys.
We can waffle to the people.
Yeah, you can sit with us.
Exactly. Sit with us.
You can chill with us.
instead.
You can relax, all right? Hello, Guy. Oh, mate, Guy, appreciate the super chat, mate. Morning. All odds on us seeing the wet tyres? No. Well, look, mate, Guy, I hope you're wrong. So basically, the plan was to mandate, for anyone who's just turned up, the plan is to restart the race with wet tyres for everyone. They were just about to restart it, but now they've pushed the restart back because it was meant to be restarting literally like in 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's meant to be now, pretty much.
But yeah, I mean, they must have seen more rain on the horizon.
Because, when you just look at it there, you just think, imagine if the race doesn't happen. And you just think, but look at it. It's nowhere near Spa, like how Spa was. But like, we can't seem to get a race going safely because of it just seems bizarre. I can't believe we're in this position where it doesn't look bad, but it definitely doesn't look good enough to race.
It never used to be like this. From when I was growing up watching races, I used to watch races in torrential rain.
They just sent them out. Like,
tell you what, my
deal with it.
Good luck.
They did not care, to be fair. Like late 90s, early 2000s, they were like,
Schumacher Coulthard crash, where was it?
That race would never have happened now. 1,000%. Was that the same race where there was like a mad...
Was that the beginning?
Yeah.
That was the crash at the beginning.
Which was, to be fair, like one of the most unsafe things I've ever seen in Formula One.
You look at it now, you think, what were we thinking?
Will we ever see like a Fuji 2007?
Yeah. Even Canada 2011. Like.
Remember Spa? What was it, Spa, when the massive pile-up? What year was that? 90?
Yeah, 98.
That's
98.
That would never happen again.
No.
And which is good.
Right, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, we're not saying that as a bad thing. I missed them. I missed them.
We're not crazy.
12 car pilots.
Back in the day, every car, two people made it through that.
No halo as well. We're just
that's what I mean.
No wheel tethers just going off.
But that's what we were saying earlier, right? I think, safety first for sure.
Yeah, of course.
But there's obviously a line, right, where motorsport is inherently unsafe, right? There's always going to be risk going out on a wet track. We have wet tyres.
Yeah.
It's where that cut-off point is, right? And that's different for everyone. Like everyone's got their own perspective and opinion.
But as you said, though, like the sport's too big for us to be sitting here waiting for a race to restart.
Yeah, man.
Like,
get the Hoovers out.
Formula clean. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Formula clean. Formula clean.
like a million stewards just with a brooms.
You know?
Like,
Do you remember? Is it
pushing the rain.
Portimao when they let loads of people? Was it Portimao? I think when they let loads of people in their cars just go on the track to try and rubber it
No,
up.
Turkey. It was Turkey.
Was it Turkey?
They just let Dons in like. Yeah. There's guys in like Ford Mondeos just like driving down the street.
This is my
and just-
chance.
Do that now.
Yeah.
You know? Clear the track.
Yeah.
You know, just let anyone in.
That's how you start a racing career. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my Mondeo.
Get scouted.
In a Mondeo.
He's that guy.
No,
Next
you're
time
going to get one knobhead though. He's just going to beat it in the gravel, and then it's going to take longer to recover him.
Yeah. I've just seen, by the way, a couple like shouts for making a new ultra wet tire. Someone said super intermediate. Super intermediate. Someone I think said super wet or something. I want to know everyone's best name for a new ultra wet tire.
That is funny.
I would like to see the gigawets coming out. onto the
Someone
track.
said they want an indoor F1 track.
Indoor F1 track.
What was it, a stadium or something? Like,
Yeah,
put the roof on.
Yeah, how
Valencia.
What is this, Formula E?
Excel Center.
Yeah, the XL.
imagine doing it the XL.
Oh man, yeah. Carlos is having a little chat. Doesn't seem to. I mean, he was asked if it was out of his control, and he's not fully said it was completely out of his control. But also, I mean, it's hard to be too critical.
Oh no, of
But
course.
at the same
Yeah.
time, like he wasn't the only driver who spun.
Yeah.
He spun at that place where it ended his race because he shunted into the wall. But it's not ideal because I mean it's a shame because Carlos is typically pretty good in these conditions. Actually, I was excited to see how he'd do.
When I did my predictions, I said Carlos DNF in my head. I was thinking,
is
he going to DNF?
Wow,
Do you know, I was
Maybe I put my bad vibes out there.
it may be
Do you know, I was leaning on
bad
that.
juju.
I was leaning on that, and I thought, not again.
No,
It
no,
can't happen
I
again.
didn't do it in a malice way. I just thought his engine's just going to conk out.
I think all our race predictions are wrong now, by the way, as well. Because he's out.
He's out.
Straight off the bat. He's done.
Oh yeah,
We're all wrapped.
Except Mahad's. Because you didn't have science in your top 5.
No.
Oh,
but-
yeah, of course you didn't. Oh, yeah, you're living then. You're
Okay,
fine.
But he's all right.
You're fine. Monsoon tire. I like that.
Monsoon
Sigma
tire.
wet. I don't like the word moist.
No,
Yeah.
Can you not put it on the chat?
damp. I was like, nah, man.
Ultra damp.
Fuck's
Yes,
sake,
man. Sandpaper tires. No,
Get the
honestly,
tread out.
honestly. Will we ever go back to like mixed tires? So you know you had like your Michelin, Bridgestone, Pirelli. Do you ever?
That was, yeah.
Like those were good times. I mean, yes, okay. Indianapolis obviously was a bit like
Was not good times.
was like, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But it was funny. Like I watched it and I laughed. I thought this is hilarious.
You'll never see a race with what 5 people ever again.
Because the thing is,
yeah, that was absolutely raw. Looking back.
it was so wild. But like, I just thought it was funny, and I thought, do you know what? Yeah, let's get it on. Let's bring them back. I want to have multiple tires. I mean, look, this is. Oh, that is
So
dangerous.
scary. We're just seeing a replay of the science crash again, and Hamilton comes so close. Wow.
Oh dear.
Oh man, that was sketchy. Vettel radio.
We've got some puddles here.
He's saying something woke, isn't he? I think we shouldn't have turned
Gonna
up.
have to wait for the heavy rain. Heavy rain, 20 minutes. Oh, goods.
Oh, really?
I mean, you know what? Big up everyone who didn't wake up early.
Yeah, shouts everyone.
I don't even know what time it is, guys.
No, you
I'm
couldn't tell me.
spaced out.
Yeah.
Played the game.
I'm
you know?
delirious right now.
You know, at Christmas. You know, at Christmas holiday where you used to have no
seven
sign of the days.
Am I seeing in our graphics that Albon is no longer blacked out? Does that mean he's in the race, or are you just giving me a full sense of hope?
They are bad.
Do you reckon?
They're playing with
Tell
you.
you what.
We're not.
He's
100%.
above science, to be
Do you
fair.
reckon-
He's
so
above
is there a
science.
chance that Alex actually gets back in this?
I tell you what,
It's a fixable problem. I don't know.
It's enough time as well.
it all depended how long we had.
I say get him back in, man.
Get him in.
Come on, Alex. Points on the board, mate.
Get him in.
You can do it.
Points from
It's on
19.
the board.
That's a points from 19.
Let's do it.
Yeah, man. That's what he does.
Yeah, we're not getting any points for anyone at this rate.
Yeah.
It's the fans that have to sit in there in the rain.
You know that poncho, yeah. So you have to get a new one because they've been holding water for time. You need to switch that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our food. Yeah, big up the fans as well there.
What are they eating?
There's some chicken. That's some
tough.
chicken, man.
Oh, that's making me hungry. I can't.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Might have to get a Uber.
McDonald's break,
Uber
yeah?
Eats, early morning.
What shall we? Oh, that would be such a shout, you know.
I went to pick
this
up-
in the podcast. That would be such a good shout.
Only if they sponsor.
Yes.
Come on,
yeah.
McDonald's.
Come on, come through.
Let's do it.
Go big or go home. McDonald's sponsorship.
Come on, Ronald. We know you're watching.
The last lap.
This is like
Shake
the, this,
one
is like the,
Ronald.
this is the McLaren 2017 sort of livery right now. We need to fill it up with sponsors, man. Get Zach Brown on here as well.
There's all that prime real estate. Right? Come on.
Yeah, Zach
Come on,
Brown, if
guys.
you're listening, sort us out, fam.
The last lap, sponsored by the breakfast menu at McDonald's. There you go.
You know what though? I think the breakfast menu at McDonald's is overrated.
Controversial.
Okay. Now we're getting into the
I'm
serious
not gonna lie.
stuff.
You're in trouble now. It's the best thing in McDonald's.
The only thing that's open.
It's not.
It's the best thing in
Nah,
McDonald's.
it's not.
Give me that as an all-day thing.
Chicken Legend.
Get a poll up. Get a
Easy.
poll up. Listen, you know what?
Easy,
Chicken Legend is
easy,
mage.
easy. Come on then. Come on
Make
then.
no mistake. Chicken
We need
Legend
the
is
poll.
mage. But are you mad? What, a double sausage?
Wait. This comment is outrageous.
Hassan, what's going on, man?
Hassan, what's going on here?
To watch the
happening?
GP on date night.
On date night. Better
Jesus
go on that date, mate.
Christ. Yeah, I was going to say. It's not
Work
too
that,
late.
bro.
Take her out, bro.
Thank you, Hassan,
Go
for
to
the super
dinner.
chat, mate. Appreciate it. What time is it in Hassan's neck of the woods? Because
You know?
date night,
Evening
obviously,
already.
Yeah,
Well, it might be.
he must be
maybe
in
West
America.
Coast or
Be in America.
Unless he's in Japan. You know what I mean? Like, he's just thought,
that's it.
let's
It's fine.
Date
Hassan's
day.
there. He's on camera. You see him there on date night.
I definitely want to go to this race in person one day.
Lap 1, was it? Turn incident involved karting Gazzy noted. Lap 1 turns.
Well, it's either him hitting the ad board or the tractor.
Yeah.
But they're going to give a penalty to the
Noted,
tractor
noted.
driver. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Unsafe
Yeah, well done.
overtaking the
Unsafe.
tractor.
if Gasly hits a penalty for that, I swear down.
We've actually got a screenshot of the.
Quite hard to see because of the spray.
let's have a look.
But you can see the lights on the left-hand side and sort of like a bit of a
Holy
model of like a.
It's
Yeah.
actually on the track.
Yeah, it's to
that
the
can't-
left. It's like half on the track, but it's
That can't
just.
fly.
Like,
There
how
needs
they got
to be a
how they
word.
got that? Like, how did they get that on track?
Yeah,
Like,
so quickly. That must have been lap 2 though, no? That
Yeah,
must
'cause-
have been like after everyone's gone through. They brought the whatever to clear Sainz's car away. But
No, it
it's
had
just
to be.
mental. You cannot have a tractor on a live track like that.
Even if it's wet, I just don't. Even if it's not wet, I don't like a tractor on track while cars are on track.
No way.
Well,
We
had this
saw that in
conversation
Monza,
yeah.
with Ricciardo, his car getting recovered. I was
Yeah.
like, the tractor's right there. If somebody has a moment or something happens to somebody's car, they're right into the
Well,
track.
you saw, like, I think De Vries was a bit unsighted, and then he kind of, you could see from the overhead, like, he kind of had to like slam on the brakes
Yeah.
because if there's machinery on track, you red flag the race.
Exactly.
that's standard.
Done.
Standard.
Simple, done, easy.
And
Same
even if
rules for
that
everyone.
caused that race to be red flag end of the race, that's what you got to do.
You can't, like, we know the risk.
Like the amount of near misses we've had so far. Like we have to actually take into a minute and be like, you know what? Thank God nothing has happened.
Yeah.
Because 3 or 4 things could have easily just happened right now.
But
And we're
also,
there like,
it shouldn't take an incident happening to learn from it.
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Even I mean, the incident's already happened as well.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
still
exactly.
haven't learned. In that
Exactly.
situation, you can't have when there's minimal
At this
visibility.
circuit as well.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
when
You
there's
think-
minimal visibility, you cannot have like a tractor or any sort of car like that on the track.
Yeah, man.
You know,
we saw Gasly was fuming, and
That's
now
why-
Now
I
I
get
get
it.
it. Now
Yeah.
I fully get it. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because like,
Wild.
fair enough. But these guys know the risk they're taking. You know.
100%.
mean,
It's a dangerous sport in general. It's like, look, you put your life on the line every time you go out there.
Yeah.
You have to make it as safe as possible.
That's it.
You can't add added risks like that.
Exactly.
No.
Do you know
Do you know
what?
what I mean? It's already
Do you know,
dangerous enough.
do you know what? You know, this is a separate point, but everybody gets onto people about being like quite aggravated on the radio and stuff like that because we get to listen into the radio. You have to remember, these guys are like driving at 200 odd miles an hour.
Yeah.
These guys are like in danger at all times. So
Yeah,
if they're
yeah.
kicking off on the radio
Yeah.
about their
Yeah,
brakes or
yeah,
whatever,
exactly.
you can understand because they drive.
Yeah.
Look, you can die here.
Yeah.
And that's the
dangerous.
good point. I'm probably one of those that's very much like, what's up with them? Why are they so ratty? And then when you actually think about
Yeah,
it,
we've
you
all
think,
been
"Do you know
guilty
what?
of it,
Yeah,
right?
I'm definitely been guilty for that for sure.
Yeah,
But yeah,
me too. Yeah, 100%.
absolutely.
That's a conversation that needs to be had.
But again,
about
that's
having radios.
I think expectations, right? The expectations sometimes we set of these drivers are like beyond what's fair, and I think in those instances, right, I think it's on the teams who aren't in the cars and they've got all the data and they've got all the personnel. Part of that job is to manage the driver, and you know we see it with like I think it's so clear the relationship that like Max has with GP. That GP's always calm, collected, controlled, always does a great job. Lewis, like he said it himself, right? when he does get like irate on the radio, that's just how he expresses himself. And I know people get on him for that, but that's just how he is. Like he did an interview with Brundle on Sky Sports a while ago, and he talks about it. Like he's just accepted that's the way he is. The team knows that's the way he is, and they know how to manage him. And Bono's always chill, and you need that. I mean, you can't have like. Do you remember this is from like, is it Fisichella? And I think it was when Alonso was his teammate, and his race engineer's like, "You're 2 seconds slower than Alonso. What the fuck are you doing? Like, you need to speed up." It's so funny. Like, if you haven't heard it, find it. It's brutal. Like, it's hilarious and it's brutal. Yeah. But like, that's not a way to manage a driver.
Yeah, I think when they're already like, when adrenaline's already pumping, you're already a bit hot-headed. You know you're going 2 seconds slower, probably. I'm not going to lie. Like, you don't need to be told.
The fact that I said this is not possible. No. It's not possible for you to be this slow.
Yeah, Albon.
Yeah, the fact that they're interviewing him.
Retired from the race.
Yo, graphics.
He's helmet's off, so that means he's not racing.
Yeah, he's done. He's done. He's out. He's finished.
Graphics have done you dirty there. I'm not going to lie. You give that false hope.
I wouldn't have it, personally. I wouldn't have it, bro.
No, with the radio things, like you said, Tommo, we have too much high expectations of what these drivers should be like.
We forget
if somebody nearly crashed into me, I'm going to kick off. Yeah. If they mic me up on North Circular, it's a problem.
For sure.
So, so if
you're speaking from experience.
So for them to be in a Formula 1 car and then, why is he shouting on the radio? Why is he kicking off? Like last week with Max, like the whole situation, like he's gone hell for leather on a lap. And they're telling him you need to box.
You're going to kick the most intense qualifying lap, arguably, of the year as well.
Yeah, and he knows that he's getting pole if he finishes that lap.
So fair enough.
God, obviously, you're going to be pissed off.
It was 2 laps, wasn't it? He was hitting purple, so I'm thinking, oh, here we go. And the thing is, like, your heart rate must be at like 200 beats per minute, right? So to even have a logical and sane conversation, it's difficult. It's very, very difficult to do that.
1,000. That's why
I'm in two minds about like the broadcasting of the radios, right? Because you do get some quality like Fawat from like Kimi Räikkönen or whatever.
Steering wheel.
That's good,
but then also sometimes like, it's kind of used against drivers, and I feel like it's a bit harsh.
I think it's started off, it's very insightful. It is like because
exactly. It's fascinating
so
to
much
see.
Information. But I think it's also used a bit like sensationalist in a sensationalist way now of kind of like, that's a good soundbite, that'll do well or whatever. So just slap it out there. I love it personally. It's the same as like the cool down room after.
Yeah.
You know, you get so many great moments out of that. Hearing them.
You know what? You form your opinions on certain drivers via their radio.
1,000,
And
100%.
If you backed up, I don't know, footballers, you would be hearing absolute madness.
Oh my god!
But we can't really form opinions on what their character's like because we don't hear them on the pitch.
Yeah.
So, but we get to hear these guys while they're racing.
That's it. You're right.
So we have to maybe settle down a little bit on the judgment on radio.
I think so.
Agreed.
I agree.
Right, should we do a little recap for everyone who's just turned up, everyone who decided not to wake up early in Europe? How dare you? We've been here since 5:30.
The thing is, it's still 7 in the morning. Like, that's early for me. That's critical.
Yeah, that's mad, you know. It's still like 7.
And you still, you played your cards right, not getting up early, basically, because, the race did start. Everyone was on intermediates. We had a few spins. We had a Vettel spin, Joe's spin. Alex's car broke. It wasn't his fault. Carlos Sainz aquaplanes, big shunts. And the spray was a madness. Gasly carried the Rolex board around as well because that got chucked onto the track after Carlos's shunt. And they've now red flagged the race. It did look really sketchy. There was almost some really nasty shunts. Lewis almost collecting Carlos as well.
Yeah. The aftermath of Sainz's crash was a little bit scary in terms of like, it wasn't, it was pretty high speed, but it wasn't like crazy for him. It was just the fact that he almost drifted back into the middle of the track. There's some rivers running across the track, all that sort of thing. We're getting some more heavy rain as well for like 20 minutes, I do believe. So we might be here for a little while.
Yeah, we're
like
still
20. Before we get an update.
I don't know if we'll go the full distance. I reckon.
How is Yuki seeing anything here?
A timer.
Big up Yuki, man.
I mean, good thing that's why they've got the lights, the flashing lights on the back of the cars. But you're just driving the track on instinct, aren't you? Because you can't see anything.
Yeah. It's like basically muscle memory.
Yeah.
Like, how do I remember this track looking? Yeah, I'll turn left there. If you're Latifi, my man couldn't even do it in the dry. Do you know what I mean? Like,
do you know what's weird about Latifi? He managed to go around Paul Ricard, no problem. For Suzuka, that's an issue. I don't know where to go. Suzuka's quite easy.
For Paul Ricard, and he did that fine, but.
Nightmare.
No, for real. But that's what makes these guys world class, man. To even think about driving to even think about driving on
All of them world class.
I mean, hey,
World
look,
class.
look, they got their points in it. They got their.
No,
got
that's
their
the,
super
that's the whole problem with the super license thing.
Yeah, I
because
know.
there's some people that have super license. You're like, do you really have a
How
super
did
license?
you get one? Yeah, and yet we're looking
The
at.
fact you can do IndyCar and get like 0.6 super license points for that is wild. That's
That's a farce.
serious series.
Yeah, man. It's not acceptable.
Getting more for like F4.
Like it's silly. It's no, you literally get. I think you get the same amount of points for finishing. It's 4th or 5th in IndyCar as you do for finishing 4th or 5th. The same position in F3.
That's insane.
That's
Get
mental.
the same number
There's
of points.
16-year-olds in Formula 3.
Do you know how challenging some of the tracks are in IndyCar? This is like a top.
You're doing
series.
ovals. You're doing like 220, 230 mile an hour. Like you're doing street tracks. You're doing like conventional circuits. Like,
Yeah.
In terms of the proving ground that is IndyCar, you're going to be a way more complete driver coming out of IndyCar, doing like 3 seasons in IndyCar versus 3 seasons in F2. 100%.
Yeah.
But the
No
problem,
question.
The problem is with that, you're obviously they're going to favour their Formula series, the FIA.
Well, because they want it to be this nice pyramid, don't they?
But in the same hand, you're saying there's equivalency between F3 and IndyCar when it's not.
Yeah.
When the IndyCar drivers clearly, if they went into F3, they would be winning.
absolutely
races by-
slap up everything.
That's
Exactly.
the thing,
So-
yeah.
Well, the job of a super license should, what they say is purely to make sure that there's no like, pay drivers who just, I've got a couple billion, I don't know what I'm doing, I can just jump in an F1 car, right?
Yeah.
I get that. I get the need for it.
Yeah, I hear it.
Yeah.
I hear it.
Completely.
It's great.
But I think this whole situation is clearly demonstrated that there's issues. We're watching.
I think we're seeing the tractor on the left-hand side, by the way. Yes, there's the recovery vehicle. There's a JCB on the track. Now, obviously, this is fine well, it's not fine at all, but when there's a safety car, like, picking up the entire snake,
Yeah.
it's like, well, at least everyone's going slowly. It still shouldn't be there, I'm not going to lie. We should be red flagging races when there's recovery vehicles on the track. But obviously, Pierre Gasly's not part of the train because he'd pitted. So he arrives at relative full speed. Like, what the fuck is
don't
going
like
on?
that,
man. This is
It's so
outrageous,
sketchy.
man.
I'm
don't
not
like
a fan
that.
at all.
It's
don't
sus,
like that.
isn't it? It is proper sus.
I really don't like that. And again, like we it just seems like we keep having this conversation. Like even, we've got the new race directors in now. When Massey was in charge, we had this, I think, was it Lando at Bahrain when he had to avoid a marshal? And there was, I think last year there was a race where cars were sent out on track with recovery vehicles out there in the wet as well. I think that
out
was
there,
Turkey,
yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. There's been lots of instances. This is the problem right now with Formula One is every single week where we're talking about a race or something like that, one of the main headlines is the FIA doing something.
Mate,
And it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
No sport should be where the governing body is a topic every single week, every single
Yeah,
race.
it is, to be fair, every week. Like, it's actually mad. Like, some sort of decision
And I
was
don't
made.
remember it being like that. Like
it's the
2017,
VAR,
2016.
isn't it?
I don't
Yeah.
remember it ever being like that.
yeah.
And now it's got to the point where it's every single week, the FIA, whether it be a penalty, whether it be a safety issue, whether it be how they dealt with rain, whatever, they're going to be top of the headlines every single time. It
Yeah.
should be like that.
You make a good point because I think like I want to talk about the sport, right? That's what I'm interested in talking about. And so whatever that is, I will talk about it, right? But I just wish we were talking more about the racing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's everything but
Of
racing
course. Yeah.
nowadays.
Of course. That's what we're all here for, right? Because we love racing. Like, that's why we're here, right?
Yeah.
And it's just, they're just showing another replay of
We're going to see him actually
Gaz
driving
the
the
track.
track.
Oh, man. It's just like, it's crazy.
Do it in slow-mo, please. Like, I don't want to see this in full pelt.
Chat, where's everyone joining us from today? I've seen a few people say. I'll be interested to see what the demographic
Yeah, I
in
was
terms
gonna
of where
say,
you all
yeah.
are around the world,
Where's
right?
I'm seeing it in New York. Shout out to New York.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
come on.
Because I feel like the race. I mean, look, you can see in the background behind. So Karun and Paul di Resta are chatting at the minute. You can see there's still a good bit of rain coming
Water hitting
down.
the puddles, yeah.
Big up the Sri Lankan.
Sri Lanka, you know.
Hey.
Wow. Ireland, Florida, Zimbabwe.
Come on.
Hey.
Indonesia.
Kenya,
Wow,
come
this is
on,
crazy.
African gang. Macedonia, you know.
2 a.m. in Canada, mad.
Las
Libya,
Vegas.
Yeah.
Hong Kong, love this. Come
Chicago.
on. Serbia,
Chicago, love Chicago, man. Mahad Hive.
Mahad
Saw
Hive,
that.
let's
See
go.
that?
Yeah,
See that?
Shout out to my time.
Yeah.
There's so many different countries. It's
Mate,
amazing.
I love that.
It's amazing.
Caribbean. Go on.
international.
England.
Go on, Dubai.
England. Yeah, but
Singapore, Bahamas.
Bahamas, you know.
Nottingham. Yes. Come on, man. Nottingham. Go. Nottingham. Come on.
Newham.
Nottingham. NG. NG free to NG wherever.
Yeah, what country are you in? Newham. It is basically
Tasmania. Wow.
Tasmania.
That is mad.
Romania.
Louisville,
Out
Kentucky.
here, man. Come on.
Shout out to all of you guys, all over the world, all time zones.
Thank you all for coming. This has been, you know what, even though, this is what I mean, this is why we're here, you know? We're here to talk about the race, but also when things aren't going good, we're still...
Exactly.
Look at Croydon shout out.
Croydon is a country, to be fair.
proud.
It is a honestly international student. If you're
I'll
from
tell you
Croydon.
what.
And actually, this is a good time to do our little quiz that we do, because we typically do this during the race, typically towards the end, because I usually forget, to be honest, but red flag, perfect time.
By the way, already. We're still on the red flag.
Oh, yeah, look,
we're down
sorry,
to the time race.
before we start,
The clock's
1 hour
going.
50.
Yeah.
So we've got 1 hour 50.
They must have stopped the clock then.
Yeah. Race needs to be finished in 1 hour 50. Because it's 3 hours, isn't it, total?
Yeah.
From
Yes.
like, so yeah, I guess, it's 7:15 now.
The race was
so-
meant to start, what, 6?
Yeah. So yeah, the formation lap starts. Yeah, okay. So yeah,
that makes sense,
they've
yeah.
pushed it back a little bit. But yeah, should we get the quiz going?
Let's get it on.
Let's go.
Let's test some knowledge.
Just remember, it's very early morning.
Question 1. Which
caveat.
manufacturer has chalked up the most Japanese Grand Prix wins?
McLaren.
I'm pretty sure this is McLaren.
Yeah, I'm going to say McLaren for the sake of... No, actually, no. Bonnet, Williams. One.
Left field.
How many are you saying?
23.
I think 10.
I'm saying 9.
I was going to go 9. Yeah, I was going
I'm
10.
going to say 10. I'm going to say 10. It's not Williams.
We ain't won in a while.
See, McLaren
answer
gang in the building.
Shout out to all the McLaren fans.
McLaren.
You done that.
With
That's right.
9.
Is it 9?
Of course, the McLaren.
in the
No, man.
You guys have had to get it right.
Let me just tell you now,
know?
McLaren is the only stats I will be knowing on the show. Let's be very clear. Man.
Question 2. Who won the first Japanese Grand Prix at Fuji back in 1976?
1976.
I was only 25 then. Bloody hell. Trying to think.
Man.
Who was the drivers back then?
76.
I'm going to say James Hunt.
Yeah, I'm going to say Nicky Lauda.
I'm going to say Mo Fittipaldi.
Oh,
that's
that's a good shout.
big fan big fan
That's
of
a
that.
good shout, that is. I'm going to go louder. Louds.
We're all wrong.
We're all
wow.
The answer, chat, is the Daytona plane knows it's Mario Andretti. And we'll have it. Well done.
Mario Andretti.
Oh, should I have got
in
that?
heck.
Mario.
What did I hear about Andretti this week? Is he on Any Driven Monday next week? What did I hear about him?
Yes.
He is.
The legend is
Super Mario.
That's big.
Yeah.
Huge.
I mean, hopefully Andretti will get that name in F1 soon.
We
That
need
would be
that.
delightful.
They're knocking on the
Yeah,
door.
why not? Why not? I'd have that.
Additional team, come on, 11 teams.
Come on. Question 3. Who was the last non-Mercedes driver to win the Japanese Grand Prix? Oh, it's a good question because it was Bottas last year.
Non-Mercedes driver.
I'm going to say Vettel.
I want to say it
I was gonna say
Because
Vettel.
Vettel's got a very good record here, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm saying Vettel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hasn't been a while though. I was trying to
I'll
think.
go Danny Ricciardo in the Red Bull.
The answer
Seb.
Oh, darn.
is Sebastian
Vettel. Come on. Come on.
Sebastian.
That was just me not putting on my Ferrari.
Was it in a Red Bull or was it in a Ferrari?
It must have been in the red. 2013? Oh, no.
I want to say it might have been 2013.
Do you know what? I think the whole turbo hybrid era has been a Mercedes. That's one.
Serious? Have
Yeah.
they cleaned up?
Japan. Yeah, they cleaned up.
Whoa.
I know Rosberg won one.
Yeah.
I think they might have
Bottas
cleaned
has
up.
one,
I can't even
Rosberg.
lie. I think that was,
Yeah. Oh, wow.
All right, question 4. Which? If
He said this quite well.
If you were watching earlier, you'll know the answer to this. Which Japanese car company built Suzuka? Oh, I know who owns Suzuka.
It might be different in terms of...
Maybe.
I think it's the same. I think it was always
two
two
different things.
Well, let's hold our answers because I think we all know this. But let's wait for the live chat.
Nissan.
Daewoo, love that.
Mitsubishi. You know.
Mitsubishi,
I'm not a big fan of that.
Listen,
Suzuki. You know.
Suzuki, Suzuka.
Kawasaki, bro.
Oh, Kawasaki. There we go.
Mazda. I'm a big fan.
Mazda, you know.
This is actually making me remember how many Japanese
There's
cars
a lot of car companies.
Daihatsu, you know.
Daihatsu.
Goodness me.
Listen,
Come on, what's
as
the-
the first car, get yourself a Japanese car,
What's
mate.
the
They'll
most
never let you down.
niche
They'll never
Japanese
let you
car
down.
brand?
Subaru.
Good shout. Good shout.
Subaru.
Get everyone in an Impreza.
You know the ones.
Tripped in.
Get 2022 Bs out there. That'd
I
be
said
that'd be
Sony.
fun.
You know?
Nintendo.
The Super Mario
It's
Suzuka.
any Japanese company now.
Why am I so red? Look at how red. Oh, my God. This hoodie's like, the contrast is doing me dirty. Yeah?
It's that
You guys are
caffeine,
too
man.
funny,
You've
man.
been pumped with that caffeine, boy. You know the ones.
Lack of sleep.
this morning.
Oh,
Imagine
my
so.
goodness.
Blood pressure.
The answer is Honda, right?
We're saying Honda.
Yeah, it's Honda. Well done,
Can
everyone.
confirm.
Well done.
The lines
Can
are
confirm.
frozen.
Well done.
Yeah.
Question 5. Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost infamously crashed at the first corner of the 1990 Japanese Grand Prix, but who ended up winning the race? Oh, that is
the
a good
1990
question.
one.
Great question.
1990?
I don't actually. I don't know.
Senna.
Genuinely.
I'm saying Senna.
Nigel Mansell.
I got Mansell.
No. Why did I say Senna?
I got
I'm
Mansell.
What's that, bruv? What are you talking about?
bugging.
I'm going Mansell.
saying Mansell.
I think you're getting mixed up with 89.
Yeah, I thought I got 89 because 89 Senna
Because
was.
he carried on
yeah.
and then he got it taken off.
90.
Who's in the other?
Who's in the other Ferrari? That's who it is. It wasn't
The other Ferrari.
Luca Ferrari.
I genuinely haven't got a Scooby, to be honest.
Who's the driver? for
I'm
Ferrari?
honestly, my 90s knowledge of Formula 1 early is
It
terrible.
was Lacey and...
Is it-
I'm saying Berger.
Gerhard Berger, you know.
No, he's pulled that one out the bag.
You know, he was the first ever driver to have Red Bull sponsorship. Gerhard Berger.
Huh.
Wow, he
Austrian.
did this.
That's it.
He
made
started
this.
it
He's got
all.
stocks.
He did this, yeah.
He started it all.
He's got big stocks. Pato Award.
Super GT.
Erling Haaland.
Haaland.
I wouldn't be surprised.
He's just
I wouldn't be
everywhere.
surprised.
He just ran the track.
Yeah, you know. Yeah.
The way he runs is hilarious.
He's like James Milner.
Maguire.
Mansell. Okay. Yeah, I think Mansell. I'm
it
going
Mansell?
to say Mansell.
James Milner, he was 45.
I'm saying Berger
Berger.
I'm saying Mansell.
Mansell. because I just want to eat a burger. So I'm just saying
It was Nelson
Berger.
Piquet.
Nelson Piquet.
Piquet.
I would have never guessed.
In what car? I feel like Nelson Piquet drove every single car ever in Formula 1.
You know?
He had Williams.
Yeah, he was in the Williams.
Was he in a Williams?
wasn't
He was in
One
a,
stage.
Tyrell, wasn't he?
Tyrell, you know.
Tyrrell.
Tyrrell? Tyrell?
Can we? No.
What's some London twang on it?
No, can we please start pronouncing it as Tyrell?
Tyrell! Yo,
to be fair,
yo, Tyrell!
That's Tyrone's sister.
That's the thing. There's a way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Listen, I'm the same guy that called Le Mans.
Of course you did.
So,
Le Mans.
listen, after London Spice,
Le Mans not hot.
Peer neck.
Le Mans not hot.
Right. So yeah, the timer's ticking down. 1:43. I guess I don't know production if this is doable. If we could get like that, we could just get that exact timer on screen because it will just be. They won't do a lap counter now, will they?
No.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we're,
'Cause
not,
they'll
we're
just have
already
the
not
timer,
getting
yeah.
to the end of the race, I'm guessing.
So if it goes to 2 hours, that's as long as it's going to go basically. Because the Suzuka lap is, I guess it depends if it dries up enough for the cars to go quickly.
Yes,
You can
yeah,
finish
yeah.
it.
Yeah. Because Singapore
It's
we
still a
got
lap
close.
counter now. Yeah.
It was 59 we got done
we were like
and
2 laps.
61.
We were only 2 laps short, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, considering all the delays and all that, wasn't too bad in the end. But as long as we get racing,
We need some.
some racing, maybe
Still
it'll just be a
raining.
2-lap sprint at the end.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, give us
That'd be
something.
long though. We'll be here for like an hour and a half, just waffling.
2 hour sprint for 2 laps
Ready for
sprint.
some filling, lads?
Oh, yeah.
Do the podcast now.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah, the podcast that comes out on Tuesday, of course, the Last Lap podcast. Don't forget to follow on podcast platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that
subscribe, obviously, on YouTube to see the clips as well.
Yeah.
It's only,
Like.
you can only get the full version over on streaming platforms.
That's it. That's
Indeed,
it. That's
indeed.
it. Should we talk? I guess maybe let's take this opportunity to talk a bit about seats.
Okay.
Haas, Williams, the final 2 teams to not confirm 1 seat each.
After Nick De Vries.
Should we start with Schumacher, Haas? Because there's a lot of noise that
Yeah.
he's not going to be keeping that seat.
Binned it again in practice.
Been it again in practice, but then out-qualified Magnussen.
But then Steiner was talking like,
Steiner's...
stop crashing my cars.
Yeah.
Costing me money.
He's not happy.
He's like, listen, you keep messing around, you're going to find out.
What do we think?
You're going to learn today.
Do you know what?
Anyone can get it.
Literally, Steiner literally only cares. Why are you costing me money? By crashing the
You know
car?
what it is? Because drivers have costed money from day one.
He's an accountant.
He's the accountant, he's the team principal, he's doing loads of different jobs at Haas.
Mick Schumacher's not just having like accidents; he's having like huge
Yeah.
like wham accidents, like $1 million like.
Yeah, it was
every
a new
time.
chassis,
Right on.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
after
yeah.
the And it wasn't even like the session had ended. And yeah, okay, you can take that into account to an extent, but you're still in control of your car on the same track as everyone else, and he has the shunt. And obviously you had Monaco, you had Saudi Arabia. I think that there's definitely an argument that, you know, if it wasn't a team that is so limited on budget, then, because I think there's clear pace there. He's outpaced Magnussen numerous times. Not most times, but numerous times. He has done it.
Enough to warrant a seat at one pace.
Yeah, enough to warrant enough of an opportunity. You know, he's not someone who's just useless and right at the back, right?
Yeah.
But can Haas, I guess the question is, can Haas as a team afford a driver like that? Or is it better for them to just go with a safe pair of hands like a Giovinazzi or a Hülkenberg and then just have more guarantee that you're going to keep your repair costs down?
Like, Magnussen's not going to destroy your car. He'll get a meatball flag here and there. But he's not going to destroy your car.
There's a front wing missing every
wing
now and
every
again,
now,
but it's you know it's manageable.
It's some people, they think all decisions are made based on racing, what's going on. There could be stuff going on in the background. There could be stuff financially as well. Like if you financially can't afford to take this risk to have this guy, and he's done it multiple times, not even only this year, last year as well, it's going to be an issue for them. And it's obviously there's some sort of the money that he brings, but where does it balance out? The money that Mick brings in or the cost that it's costing your team and the resources, because you haven't got like a big team, you've got loads of staff and stuff like that to be fixing that. And if you safe pair of hands and lower salary, maybe go for somebody that's a little bit more experienced, go for a Hülkenberg, that's what I'm hearing. That could be the decision Haas makes.
Well, obviously you mentioned Hülkenberg. Like who do you put in that seat if you're gone to Steiner?
Yeah, come on. Mahad Steiner. What's he doing?
Listen, I know Ricciardo, I know there's been talk that he's not going to be in the seat next year.
Yeah.
But I would have Ricciardo just because of the money but he brings in. Because he brings in money, even for McLaren. The amount of advertisement dollars this guy brings into your team, he would be a net plus for you financially. Obviously, is he going to take a lower salary to come drive for Haas and drive around the back? Who knows? But you have to go for that best driver possible, right? And the best driver that's going to be able to bring money in at the same time. Is Mick that option? I don't know. Maybe Hülkenberg might be the option. Hülkenberg's going to bring the car in.
It's true.
Hülkenberg's going to bring the car. I think when you're towards the back, you're fighting for the little points.
Your requirements are different.
So much important. It's so important that you just bring the car in.
Yeah.
And that's the situation that they're in.
Take advantage of most situations. Like Nico Hülkenberg's always been, apart from like a podium, has always been that driver to like sort of capitalize on things in the midfield and like bring them good points.
I think, I know everyone like dogs on him for, you know, no podium, but like when you look at his career and
he's obviously like, a great driver.
There's been times where, but also people luck into podiums.
Absolutely.
Like it shouldn't. Yeah, I get it. Like it's easy to look at it and be like, oh, whoa, he's a serial bottle job, and it's like, okay, but then there were other opportunities that could have gone in his favour and they didn't, out of his control. So I think there's more to the. I think Hülkenberg's like a solid pair of hands. I don't really know where I sit with the Schumacher thing because it's like I think he's shown enough, and relative to Magnussen, who I think is a very capable driver, he has outpaced him on occasions. I get it. I get the issue specifically to Haas where you can't afford to be writing off chassis every week. But also like with Ricciardo, I think there's a broader question that I do wonder if he's been offered anything at Haas or Williams and whether he's like rejecting those teams or if they're not offering him anything at all. Because I guess, you know, if Ricciardo does have a year out, do we think he's getting back in?
Bloody tough. I mean, it would. I'd be very confused if Haas and Williams are offering Ricciardo a seat and he's turning it down. I'll be very I get it. It's not the car that's going to be fighting for race wins or whatever. But look at the situation you're in. For me with Haas, I think they give Mick one more year. I'd probably want to give him one more year because remember he was up against Mazepin, right? And it was like, okay, this is like. If this is what Formula One looks like, okay, great, I'll be all right, I'll be comfortable. Then he met a real driver in Magnussen, who is very good, and I think this is really his rookie year, technically speaking. This is like his first rookie year, and yet when you look at his stats and stuff, he's actually not that bad. Yes, he's had the howlers, don't get me wrong, and they're constant, and he's costing money, and you know who at Haas hasn't costed Gunter money, right? I mean, Grosjean and so on and so forth. So
yeah, it's true.
I feel like this is his first year, but we're not looking at it like that. And I think that's why he's getting that proper sharp treatment, especially from Formula One fandom and stuff like that. I think you give him a year. Let's see how he gets on next year. If he's not improving, okay, fair enough. You've had your time. Let's see if another team takes it. But I'll be amazed if Ricciardo is rejecting contracts at this stage.
Yeah.
Big paycheck, though, if he doesn't drive next season. No?
Yeah, I don't...
You can't afford to be out of F1 for a year. If you're not driving somewhere else or anything like that, you're going to lose the pace.
Do you know what? You're right.
I've been in Formula 1 for a long time.
I would have disagreed with you before, but Hulkenberg not getting a seat is bizarre. All these years is bizarre to me. So like,
he really divides opinion, Hulkenberg, because a lot of people like.
I don't get why. He's a top driver.
Do you know,
he's a top driver.
The thing is, with Hulkenberg, I think a lot of people look at like you just said, the podium thing and everything like that, but he's been hired by multiple teams.
Yeah.
You have to trust the evaluation of multiple teams of a driver. He's on pace. He's not like he's a million miles off and he's slow. We never said Hulkenberg is slow.
That's what we did at Silverstone in 2020 in that racing point.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know, even like when he was at Hockenheim with the Renault, and it just didn't work out for him in the end. But he's been very unlucky to not be on the podium. And as you said, people luck out with podiums. Look at this year. Only one team outside the top three have been on the podium, right? Shout out to the McLaren gang, obviously. But you know what I'm saying? It's not. It's just. Yeah, I think Hulkenberg. All he needs to, if he gets the podium, then everybody will look at him so differently, and it's like, come on, you know.
Yeah.
They're not. You know, I don't get the slander on Hulkenberg.
The only thing I would say is, I think if we're talking about like, it's so important not to have a year out with Daniel Ricciardo. Yeah. We look at Nico Hulkenberg, and when was the last time he actually had a full season in F1? Was it 2021?
2019, was it?
2019 when he was with Ricciardo, right?
Because he was super sub in 2020.
Yeah,
Perez
everyone
had COVID. And then,
And he could still jump in the cars. Even beginning of this year, he was jumping in a car.
Yeah. Man's eating a croissant and he's getting called and he's there. He's literally like on track, ready to go.
Him and Nick De Vries are just the ultimate utility drivers. Just whoever needs them, boom.
That's the thing, like, things change so quickly, right? Because you had Daniel Ricciardo 2020.
Yeah.
Arguably, like, outside of the championship winner, like, him and Sergio Perez had two of the strongest seasons. And like Sergio lost his seat and then got the Red Bull seat for 2021. Yeah. Daniel had a phenomenal year at Renault. Insane year, like so good. Miles clear of Ocon as well. I think Ocon's proven that, like this year, that he's very good.
He is good. Yeah.
Like, he's not on Alonso's level, I don't think, but he's proven he's very good, right? That's 2020. That's only like that's not even 2 years ago.
It's a madness.
And it's like mad how quickly things have changed, because I think it's very easy to look at if you take away Daniel's career at McLaren.
Yeah.
And a career where he still managed to win a race. And there was the opportunity there and he took it, which you have to give him credit for.
Absolutely.
Like his career has been pretty, like he matched Verstappen for large periods at Red Bull. Like there's clearly a very competent, clearly like the talent is there.
Yeah.
But I think there's more to it than just talent. That's the thing. There's so many factors. It's easy to just, who's the best driver? Yeah, but also who's got the best environment around them? Who's got the best kind of relationship with their team, the best understanding with their team as well? Because Renault understood how to get pace out of Ricciardo.
Yeah.
McLaren don't. Or aren't prepared to, because Lando's doing such a good job.
Yeah.
Because Ricciardo was their number one driver at Renault.
I genuinely,
Clear.
This is probably like an opinion that a lot of people don't have, but I genuinely believe that if Oscar Piastri wasn't available, Ricciardo would still be driving for McLaren.
Facts.
I think it was a decision made that they wanted Oscar. It wasn't really anything to do with.
Well, Daniel had that whole Insta story where he was like, don't worry, lads, I'm still racing next season. Yeah. Like, the decision was there for him to still be.
When you look at the timeline, they gave Oscar Piastri a preliminary contract on June 1st.
Yeah.
When you're looking up to that point, Ricciardo was on pace. There was only one, like, that race, Monaco, where it was quite bad. But I even think if it was, the contract was offered in January 1st, the preliminary contract, that means that decision was made in-house in May. Yeah. So even maybe before
Miami time.
So I really think it was a decision made that Oscar's available. Let's get.
There's an opportunity there to get a drive.
And also, Danny Ricciardo's statement at that time doesn't mention about Formula One, mentions McLaren. So in my head, I started to think, okay, is he going to be at McLaren at a different sport maybe? So like if he joins a different sport but stays in McLaren, like, you know, the McLaren group.
In-house,
he's not lied in his statement. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's weird because when you find out that all these things were happening beforehand, then it made me think, what the hell was Danny Ricciardo's statement all about? If he kind of technically knew Piastri is actually going to be here next year, and he's not going to be in McLaren's Formula One team anyway. So I was a bit like, something's not quite right. The timing of everything, when you go back and look at the timelines of everything, something is sus. But, you know, so in my head, if we see him in IndyCar or whatever as a McLaren driver, that wouldn't surprise me now.
I do wonder if we'll ever get the full story with it.
I feel like sometimes Zach Brown, when he sees drivers, he's like, you know, all-inclusive buffet. I want that guy.
That's what it is, because there's so many IndyCar guys that he's just been
He's just like
McLaren Award.
Oh, they didn't get Palou in the end, did they? Because he's staying at Chip Ganassi. But he is, I think, still doing F1 testing with McLaren, but they've not actually got him for their IndyCar seat. But I don't know. It's. I'm not convinced that. I mean, maybe do a poll. Let us know what you think. You know, will Daniel Ricciardo, if he's not in the sport next year, which it's looking like he's not going to be, will he be able to get back? Because if I had to put money on it, I would say, in part because he would essentially be leaving on a low. Because I don't think, you know, I think his relative pace to Lando in the race isn't that bad. Like, I think he's fairly close to Lando. He's certainly closer to Lando in the race.
This year, especially.
In my opinion, this year. Than qualifying's the Achilles heel, you know what I mean? Because that McLaren car is kind of on the cusp of Q3.
Yeah.
Lando's got that extra bit of confidence to get it into Q3 quite consistently, and Daniel's just not got that. So he's like getting stuck in Q2, getting stuck like down the order, and then he just ends up having a shocker in the race. But let us know what you think, because I think there's a conversation.
I don't think he will not be back. It will be scandalous to not have him. Like, it's one thing to not have Hülkenberg back at the moment, right? But to have him and Rick, no way. Like, he will even if he takes a year out, there will be somebody somewhere along, you know, maybe even the Aston Martin, maybe the Alpine. Something's going to kick off with one of those kind of teams, and it's like, okay, so no brainer. There's Danny Rick. He's there. If the car is there and ready to win races, like you said, he doesn't miss. He usually does win those races. So there's a driver there. I am flabbergasted how, like, I'm happy. When I say happy, I understand him leaving. Like, I was for him leaving McLaren because it's just not working. Not that he's a terrible driver.
It's clearly not working.
It's not working. And that's fine. But I didn't realize I'll be sitting here now and you're telling me Danny Rick's not going to have a drive next year. That is absurd. That is just madness.
I think it's sometimes with Ricciardo as well. It's his choice. If he holds a high standard to himself, he's like, why am I going to go down to a team that's towards the bottom of the grid? If I could just maybe wait out an opportunity, but is that opportunity even going to come to him in the first place?
That's the thing, because there's talk of Mercedes reserve role, and 61% of you don't think he'll get back in.
Wow.
But obviously, Mercedes reserve role, I guess, must be like, okay, you want Lewis's seat when he retires.
Yeah.
I mean, that must be the logic, right?
Surely. Yeah, but I mean, if you're Mercedes, just you're not putting Daniel Ricciardo in that seat realistically.
And look, I heard an interview with Toto last week, I think, and Toto was basically saying, "Yeah, we want Lewis for 5 more years."
Yeah.
So what? Daniel Ricciardo just giggling in the back of the
just doing setup work.
But that's the thing, like,
just waiting.
If we're now 2 years ago, right, and we're off the back of the 2020 season, I think conversation around Daniel Ricciardo being at Mercedes 100% on if that opportunity was there,
because Bottas was there.
That's not
That's really why, because Bottas was at Mercedes
to replace Bottas, and then
But would we still be saying it if Russell was there? We go back 2 years. Russell and Hamilton are already in Mercedes. Do we say that about Ricciardo?
It's a good point. I think in terms of ability, for sure, like he's proven, he's won 8 races. Like he won
a race in the McLaren.
Yeah. But
sure.
also, I guess that's the thing. When you look at someone's career, you have to factor in everything. And this is clearly like a big... That's why I don't think he would be able to get an opportunity back in, because I think you're only as good as your last race. Now, I don't think that's true, right? But having finished his F1 career as it is now, by the looks of it, on such a bad spell...
Yeah.
That's why I worry.
There was a lot of talk about him in Alpine in the beginning, and that kind of just disappeared. And I wonder what happened there. Yeah, conversation.
That's it. Thank you, Pukla, for the super chat. Zach Brown is at Bathurst.
What racing this year?
Bathurst going on is literally going on like now, isn't it? Or is it like a few hours ago?
Is Zach Brown in Japan? Let us know, guys.
That's the real question. He's probably looked at the rain.
Yeah.
Nah,
I'm good. I'll go sunny Australia. Thank
You know
very
them
much.
ones.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Also, we haven't had an update on the race start, unfortunately. We're still just
have
kind
not.
of twiddling our fingers.
We have got an update on Pierre Gasly.
Oh, yes, we do.
Who's been summoned to the stewards for speeding on the safety
Holy
car.
smokes. Is that where we are?
Naughty,
Nah,
very naughty.
yeah.
Wow,
So-
statement up.
Now,
Haven't got
obviously,
the graphic as well.
if he's been, like going too fast for the delta, then fair enough. There's a rule there. You shouldn't be traveling faster than that. He was apparently reaching speeds of up to 250 kilometers an hour when completing a lap under the red flag. Now that is obviously very quick. Can't lie.
Outrageous.
It
How
does.
fast that on now? Like 100
170, 100, maybe.
In that rain.
In that rain.
That must be down a straight. That can't be like
Ooh, wow.
going through where the incident was. That must just be down one of the straights or something.
I know
thought it was
they're
on VAR.
investigating. That should be slam dunk though. They have the information there. They have the
Yeah.
information.
Yeah. If he's been speeding that much, obviously it doesn't detract from the fact that there should not be a tractor on a live track.
Yeah. But also, Pierre shouldn't be driving.
But Pierre should not be driving that quickly.
250 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, there's kind of different. Yeah,
He would
there's kind
have
of-
known there's a safety car. As well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, so certain points, obviously, there's a red flag as well, so you can't be driving that quickly. Lando did actually tweet though about the tractor incident and the safety of Formula One. We can actually get it up on the screen here. He tweeted, "What the fuck? How's this happened? We lost a life in a situation years ago. We risk our lives, especially in conditions like this. We want to race, but this is unacceptable."
Yeah.
Strong words from Lando.
Yeah, very
and I think, true, to be honest with you, we can't be repeating that again. And I know there's limited runoff where science has gone off, and I understand that you can't really, you can't put a JCB in the gravel because it'll get ditched again, whatever. But you have to just red flag things immediately and wait till all the cars are off the track before you're putting a tractor out, surely.
It's common sense, isn't it? It's like, we're not talking about technicalities here. We're just, it's,
This is a very common sense.
like,
Yeah.
And I think that's been our beef with the FIA the last couple of years, where it's like, you lot are making decisions that don't actually make sense.
Yeah.
Can we make sense, please?
The
Do you know what I
average,
mean?
like, just people that don't even watch Formula One can know,
Absolutely.
yeah, that probably shouldn't be running.
Yeah.
Like, if you showed a car going at like 150 miles an hour and there's a tractor on the side of the track, they're probably going to be like, I
Exactly.
feel like the tractor probably shouldn't be there.
If you're planning to red flag a race, what's the rush?
Yeah.
What's the rush to getting tractor out?
Yeah.
Well,
let's get
who's
out.
pressing that button to say tractor? You can go out on track. Like that's what I mean.
Do you know what?
Who's giving that order?
Or is it just the steward just looking
I
left
think they're
right?
just rogue.
Cars.
Yeah. I
Right,
just
they're
think it's a.
bringing it
I think there's a breakdown in communications between FIA and that decision. I don't think there's a guy that is like, yeah, cool, there's a red flag coming out, that then goes at the same time, yeah, boom, put the tractor out. I don't think they're the same people.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it breaks down.
Yeah.
Is it two different companies, you reckon? So like the steward obviously they're all like volunteers and whatnot. Are they a different company altogether? That kind of, because if the FIA is saying, okay, we're going to stop the race, but the stewards team, whoever it may be, whatever company they are telling their stewards what to do. Like, oh, get this tractor out there. And then the FIA is having to make another decision on top of that. It's like, yeah, you're probably right. There's no communication amongst the two different parties. And that's why we're getting the mess that we're getting.
Well, yeah, because the race director is the only person who can give a red flag.
Yeah.
Stewards can give, like marshals can give drop
I
yellows,
keep
right?
calling them stewards, yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I just,
So who communicates to the marshals from the race director? How does that
again,
get across?
who's giving that order to send the tractor out on track? That's the thing. Like again, for me, I just think if you're going to send heavy machinery out on track, you have to stop the race. Like I don't.
These are just common sense type of things. Like, why do we have to even question these things as fans when we're watching it?
Yeah.
It's about the procedures and stuff. It
But
should
there's
be just
clearly
common sense that
disagreement.
People should know.
Like apparently it's being reported that like Pierre Gasly's gone into like the FIA meeting and they've just been like, well, it's normal to have machinery out on track when there's a like when we're on the red flag but there's still cars on the track, which is like
Bizarre.
Okay, but maybe it
that's
shouldn't be
ludicrous,
anymore.
though. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. That's what
Oh,
he's
those
doing.
are the
innit?
rules.
That's the
you
rules,
guys,
yeah, but you
but
can
maybe the
change
rules
the
wrong.
rules, lads.
Well,
You are
F1's
literally
not
the ones
in
that make the
nature.
rules.
Yeah.
F1's not part of nature. Like it's a human-made thing, right? It wasn't like Adam and Eve and Tommo. Like
We can't change.
Yeah, sorry, lads.
Sorry.
if you notice, Formula One jobs, health and safety manager is always there. It's always there. So I'm thinking, hang on a minute. minute. What? There's something to be said about this.
Someone's taking the
Something's going on.
Seriously.
Something is going
That
on.
hat is sick.
Shower. That is cold.
Respect to the fans who were there. So they were doing I think they were doing some Mexican waves earlier.
Anything, man, just to keep warm or whatever.
Keep the energy.
Just to keep going.
It's an hour 21
Bloody
on the countdown. So we've got 1 hour 21. The race will. That's it. So we're going to get a shorter race.
Wow.
No
Definitely.
question.
Yeah.
At
At a
best.
minimum, yeah.
How many laps?
What do we reckon,
I
chat?
reckon
How many
15.
laps we
I reckon
getting?
we're getting 15 laps, lads.
15.
I'm saying 20.
Man said a sprint race. What? Is that what we're getting? Oh, man.
And I guess when you
saying
start
20.
on wet
I'm saying 20
tyres, you
laps.
don't have the mandated pit stop, do you? You can do a whole race on wet tyres because I think
Yeah.
Ocon did.
Yeah.
Ocon did it, didn't he? He took the inters the whole race.
Yep.
I've seen
there's a few
zeros.
zeros.
Come on, guys.
Not have some faith.
Don't be
on
back
you.
by man.
Come on.
Nah, come on.
I'm not going to lie, you guys. Yeah?
Good vibes, yeah?
I'm not going to lie.
What?
This race is done. I'm not going to
You're saying
lie.
zero?
It's done.
You're saying it's cooked?
This
You're
is done.
Yeah, no.
This is done. I'm not going to lie to you. At some stage, because wasn't it the heavy rain in 20 minutes?
The heavy rain was in... I mean, this was ages ago. This was before we even had the counter, but it was like heavy rain in 10 minutes for 20 minutes. I think we've had that half an hour window now.
Yeah.
That was at least 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So theoretically, it should be a little bit lighter. But again, this is where, like, why are you not thinking of maybe just putting something out on the track to just clear some water? Like, we're just letting standing water and rivers just build up across the track. Like, it's now going to
There's
take
not been
so
an
long
update
to
for 40
dry.
minutes from the FIA,
Yeah,
by the way.
Come on, safety car. Get your money's worth right now. Let's do some hot laps.
Absolutely.
Get out
Listen,
there.
the sport is too big for us to be in this situation. Let's get some cleaning on the streets. Let's do something.
Yeah.
Because this is ridiculous. I can't believe we're actually like doing this.
Is it actually raining right now, though? Or is it still raining?
I mean, again,
Give us that map thing.
we
Give us that
don't know
weather thing.
how much it's raining exactly and all that, right? But I just feel like surely safety car, 18 cars behind the safety car, do some laps.
Just get on with it. Yeah.
I know there's a long start procedure for these cars. I get that, but I just think it doesn't look like it's hammering it down. It's just hard. It's hard to look at this and be like, oh well, there's no race because it's like raining a bit. Like we've got wet tires for a reason, you know.
Oh, look at this.
Oh,
We've
look.
got the radar.
We've got the radar.
Yo, love that.
Like we
Technology radar
don't
on the
know
screen right
anything that's going on there.
Yeah, there's
But
weather systems happening. That's all I can tell you.
At least there's some weather. That's
I
what
mean,
we-
I've got to be honest, lads. I don't know what I'm looking at.
No, you know what it is. So I think the light, the sort of the patches of blue going across here. Obviously, you know the rain and whatever. If it's purple, then it's very heavy. If it's pink, it's really heavy.
there's
Where
like
it's
nothing.
16 degrees, I'm pretty sure is where the track is. I don't know if people are seeing this at home, but like
That's it.
we're just seeing. So there's a bit of rain passing over the track, like a bit. And it's gradually getting less over the next 45 minutes, but it's still just raining for the next 45. I think
BBC
it's going to
News.
get lighter.
New weatherman.
So thank you very much. Yeah, BBC hire me in it. Say less, say less weatherman Niran, as you can see. Yeah. With a green screen behind me.
yeah, this race is done, lads. It's done.
I mean, if it's going to rain for the next 45 minutes and we've only got an hour and 20 of actual like time allowed
Yeah.
left, then you know it's a difficult one. I think it has to stop raining for about 20 minutes for them to even contemplate going, okay, we can actually get this going again.
That's the thing. We've got no estimated time. Nothing, have we?
Yeah,
Nothing.
That's the problem.
is
It's just
going
going to keep getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back.
Dear, oh dear.
And I get it's the standing water is the issue.
Yeah, and I hear it. Like it is like the way the track is. I'm not saying it should go out. Like the track is too wet at this moment in time. 1000%. Don't go out there. But surely there has
There
to
must
be
be
some
more
way.
they can do.
Yeah, there has to be more they can do.
The
Because
sport is
you
too
clear
big.
water by having cars going out there. I'm not saying go out at full speed or whatever, but just send a couple cars
Like we
out.
flew man to
Couple
the moon
old-
in 1969.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Why can't we get this
The
going?
technology is in place to clear the roads.
Slap a couple 2015 like stock cars, like not stock cars, but stock F1 cars, like
Yeah.
default F1 cars.
Yeah.
Out there for half an hour just to clear some water. Or
Just what you need to
something.
do, you just need to get the safety car, slap some electric heaters on the side,
That's it.
facing downwards,
it.
and let it just go around.
We're making this more
Bare hair
difficult.
dryers.
Hair dryers.
Get
Easy.
top gear in there, man.
What I'm saying is
Get
the
that man on
technology
there.
does exist where you can clear this. And clearly the investment's not... Listen, we're in a climate type of change era where this weather's going to affect races more and more and more. So there needs to be preparation in place
And
to
clearly,
allow racing.
the people in charge are more sensitive to stuff like rain in terms
more
of they're more
sensitive.
prepared to red flag a race, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, right? at all because, again, safety's paramount, but...
Not at all.
In these situations, this is the second race, or would
just
be the second race in 2 years, where we've had a lap and then that's it, and everyone goes home. All the fans go home, they've not seen a race, and they've paid all this money.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel sorry for. The fans have gone out there, they're sat in the rain with their ponchos on, like getting drenched and whatever. They're not even seen any race, and they've seen one lap.
And they haven't had a race since 2019. Oh, that even kills it even more.
Fam. 4 years without race in Japan. Sorry about that, guys.
And that's like, they've got a big racing culture there. They love Formula
Yeah, they love it.
You've got some of the most fanatical viewers out there, coming with the F1 cars like attached to their helmets and all this jazz. Like,
They're dressed as racing drivers.
Yeah, exactly.
You see yesterday on Collie.
With helmets and everything.
Full kit wanker.
They are dedicated to the cause, man, for sure.
100%. But I feel sorry for them because, look, you haven't had a race in your country in how long? And then this happens. Same with Singapore. We did have some racing, but there was a long delay for that.
Yeah. Daniela says 12 red flags since the beginning of 2020.
That's an interesting stat, actually.
Yeah.
12
Bloody
I
hell.
feel like they were not that common.
No, Massey was
No,
red
there
flag
were.
heavy.
Last year, they were mad.
No, but I mean before that.
Yeah, definitely before. It weren't.
For like 2018 sort of time.
Never
I don't
do a
know,
red-
obviously, if we could get the stats on that, but I feel like that's become a much more common thing in the last couple of years.
Yeah. Well, it looks like a lot of the fans are still keeping in good spirits. And I hope
Fair play, man.
Get
you're
them
all in
out.
good spirits because there's nothing to watch on the telly, so you might as well be watching us
Come on,
talking
might
about
as well.
what's not happening on the telly.
Yeah, what on earth would you be watching at this sort of time?
Exactly.
You weren't watching us.
Look at that. There's been 82 red flags in history.
And 20 of them in the last 2 years.
I told you it's a bit red flag area. It was just like red flag everywhere.
Wow.
Like look at Baku last year. Obviously, we had that great last lap
Yeah.
of racing.
Yeah.
Usually,
Great name for a lap,
that's the end of the race.
That pot. Yeah.
That would be the end of the race.
Yeah.
We'll just end the race. Red flag and it's done. Why are we doing hot laps?
Do you know what I think, yeah?
Finito.
The FIA don't even have rules for this. They don't know what to do in this situation. I bet they don't have it on their rule book. What happens if this happens? They've just red flagged it and we don't know what's going on. That's how...
But again, they haven't communicated anything in the last 45 minutes,
The lack of communication is a
which
problem.
annoys me.
It's a big problem.
Imagine that was in football and then they make a VAR. They're making a VAR decision and
We haven't even talked about.
They don't let anybody know.
We haven't even talked about the cross-cut thing, right? But the lack of communication. They wait until the end of the day that they're going to say they're going to announce it, to then say, "Oh no, Monday."
Actually, no.
Yeah.
The cost cap thing, I mean...
like they're not exactly instilling confidence, the FIA,
No.
by kicking the can down the road.
That's what it is. Like when,
what I
because
mean?
obviously it started as rumors. Like let's not get it twisted. Like,
And it
it's
still
not like-
very much is.
It's literally still that, and it's not like a confirmed thing. Red Bull haven't necessarily cheated or da 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 da. But when they came out and were like, "Yeah, lads, we'll talk about it Monday." You know that
That's
one's
what
when
you
you're
know.
like,
They did some like
Yeah.
bogus press release at like midday when everyone's waiting about Suzuka. Oh, it's supposed to be back. I'm like, we know. Like no one's waiting for. You know what everyone's waiting for.
you know when you've like messed up in your job and your manager's like, "Yeah, we'll talk about this Monday, mate."
They're just scheduled.
You know you've done something wrong.
They got that
They're just
dossier ready for
waiting.
you.
Yeah, they want to make you feel the heat a bit more.
Like I said, they love kicking stuff down the road and just make it up.
Well, look, the
and
one
they're
thing
not Formula One.
No.
They're just FI. It's like it's weird because they're a governing body. They're not actually Formula One, but they have so much effect on the sport. It's crazy.
Yeah, too much. Way too much. That's the problem.
Bruv, it's like we're just looking at the pictures now. Like it's like it's like a little drizzle. Like now, I
It's
just
actually
think,
really
like,
bright over turn one.
Like we should, and I'm not right. What I'm not saying that we should be going on the track right now because I get there's rivers and all this, right? What I'm saying is that some constant rain, right? We should be able to deal with this.
Facts.
That's that there's. I'm sorry. There's no
1,000%.
argument. Like we should be able.
We should
to deal
not be
with
getting
this.
defeated by some rain.
Yes.
You know when a game like a football match gets waterlogged, like it's a waterlogged pitch, because it's like flooded and that. Like it's a genuine like situation, like a natural hazard has happened,
Yes.
and like they've called the game off. But then it gets rescheduled. We don't reschedule a Formula One race,
exactly.
so you have to in the moment
You
be
have
able
to.
to be prepared for the weather that's happening, unless it's
have to get it
literally
done.
flooded.
It's mad.
It looks like it's still raining though. I see.
It is a bit brighter though over turn one, so there's at least some faith and some hope there.
It's a madness. I
But
mean,
like, we haven't seen any images of anything out on track, like clearing the water, like any brooms,
Nothing,
any. Like,
yeah.
But they just let it go, and they're just like, yeah, just what will be will be.
I'm like,
It's in God's hands now.
Drive, please.
Them ones.
But anyway, quick update for anyone who's just turned up.
Good morning.
We have only
Morning.
Wait, so the race should have started.
The race will be finished right now.
Yeah, it'll be finishing.
Literally, you'll be finishing normal
about
time.
10 minutes from now, I think
Yeah?
it'll be finishing.
But we've only done 3 laps, as you can see on the lap counter. We got going. There were a few spins at the start.
Yeah.
The tractor's still there.
Big shunt for Carlos Sainz. So he retired from the race. Alex Albon, not his fault. Broke down.
Mechanical.
Get that in.
It was all mechanical. and now the race has been red flagged and has been red flagged ever since. Continuous rainfall. It's not raining crazy heavy, but there's a lot of standing water on track.
Yeah.
There was so much spray on those first few laps. It was sketchy.
Yeah, for what it's worth, nobody could see anything on lap 1, which is why we got so many incidents as well.
All them replays was very scary.
Yeah.
Very.
The track's clearly not in a condition to be raced on. I don't think anyone can argue that. It's the fact that it's not in a condition. There's not something they can do.
Yeah,
Let's see a broom. You know what I'm saying? All I'm asking for is a broom. Some sweeper. Just give me something.
Remember there was
Some
a-
safety cars.
Mate, if I'm a marshal, I'm just like, I'm doing it myself.
Yeah,
I'll
for
bring
real.
my own broom.
Thousand, yeah.
Big
Oh,
squidgy, like.
just get a sponge
Just
out
on
and
deck
just start
now.
patting it down.
Let me clear one corner at least.
Remember, what was it? Sorry to talk.
Oh, he's doing it.
Say
Medical car.
What's that, like
laps.
100
Oh, he did,
this the season?
At a moment, eh?
Yeah, he had a little twinge there.
Medical car moment through turn 7.
You know what?
He's S-ing though.
Do you know what? To be fair, if the safety car
through there is wet.
if the safety car bins it, there's no risk, guys. I'm just letting you know.
We pack up.
If the safety car can't be safe, then it's impossible.
That is it.
Everyone has to go home.
Just put them
He's all over the gap.
Just put them in 20 medical cars, you know?
Yeah.
Formula
fine.
Medical. Formula NHS.
Oh dear.
Look, see, I can
I-
handle it.
Yeah, this is the thing. I think if you have something going around clearing the water consistently over the red flag, because this is what they'll do. They'll slap the medical car out for 2 laps, go, okay, yeah, safe. And then just bring it in and then just let it dry again. Like, no, just have a car
You've
going
got
round.
all of
like
these
that.
miles.
It needs to keep going round and round and round.
Yeah, and you'll clear some water, you will.
Does anyone know, live chat, how many marshals approximately you have at a race? Because I don't know, what are we saying? Like 100? Like in terms of
100,
indirect
150?
proximity to the track. If you get every single marshal with a broom out there, like the standing water, getting it off, like no one's doing anying. The track's just chilling.
Where did it go? Oh, I thought he binned it.
Caraman lost him there for a second. How did you lose? There's one car.
The medical car has spun.
That is funny. Oh my days.
It's 20 marshal posts. So, and I think there's a.
The thing is,
more
it's
than one
constantly
part.
raining though, isn't it? That's the problem. So they start sweeping, and
And the
it's
water
still-
just gets replaced.
it just gets replaced.
But,
doesn't
hey,
it?
better than doing nothing.
Yeah, no, you're
Like,
right.
what else are they doing? You know, you might as well give it a go because it's the standing water that is the biggest thing. And it was raining heavy earlier, but now it's chilled. I mean, it's still 1 hour, 8 minutes. Oh man,
Wow. It's
we're
fully
here
an
for
hour.
a good time
Getting
and a long
nervous.
time. Everyone,
Getting nervous now.
yeah,
I tell you, it's getting twitchy, man.
it is a bit annoying, isn't it? I mean, we might just get a sprint race, might we?
Do you know what though? I do want to see the safety car bin it, but I want I want the race to go on. No, like I want the race to go ahead.
Look at how much water was on the inside of the pit straight as well.
Yeah, because it drains a little.
That's a lot of water coming off that car as well.
For real.
Yeah, that's not even traveling that quick, and the spray is kind of mad.
You don't think that's quick, yeah?
No,
Compared to a F1 car.
compared to an F1
No,
car.
I'm genuinely asking because I was sitting there thinking, man, he's going, but then I'm like, maybe he's not actually going. I don't know.
He's going as like relatively as fast as he can, but it's obviously not the same as a Formula 1 car. Like, the F1 car will push up so much spray,
Yeah.
you know, because of the
Man, this would be so sad for Seb as well.
Last race.
Last race, it's his favourite track.
I'm still livid he's retiring.
Yeah, what do you make of that?
I'm livid. What are you retiring for? A serious question. No,
Wait, you're
serious
livid at him?
Yes. Man, just packing it in. Like, wait, what? That's not the plan. You joined Aston Martin to develop this team and, and whatnot. And, yeah, to me, it's just too early.
Do you reckon
It's
he's
just way too early.
not got faith in the long-term ambition, or that he's just
Maybe
his
just
life
tired.
priorities have changed?
It's just woke Seb, and I don't like it. I'm not going to lie. Like, this woke Seb, I'm not here for it.
No, but you know
I am
what?
here for that dog, that nasty man that he was when he was at Red Bull, and then the guy that we kind of liked at Ferrari. Like, I want that guy. I don't want this Aston Martin long hair headbands. Is he Totti? Who does this guy think he is? Who does this guy think he is? No, honestly, I'm not happy.
I think
not impressed.
I think it's a good look.
It's a good look.
I do like
I think it's a
the
great look.
I'm not having it.
I like it.
It could be more opposite to your hairstyle, to be fair.
Well,
Maybe.
outrageous.
when he had that mad fade, though, I remember when he had that just like that box.
Yeah.
But he was serious in that Ferrari. I was all for it.
That was a sick fade.
No, but he's growing his hair for a reason. But anyways,
I do wonder
Another
though with Aston
sustainability. He's
Martin,
like, looking like Daniel Bryan. I mean, I don't need this.
if the team was delivering better results, like, do you think he would have stayed?
I think so. I think he's mentioned it quite a lot in the interviews earlier in the year as well. That listen, I need to be up in the front racing for wins.
Yeah.
And obviously he's been doing that for quite a long time. When he was at Red Bull, when he was at Ferrari,
Yeah.
he's not been in the midfield or towards the back.
Yeah, he's not used to that. Yeah.
So he's not really used to that situation. So if he doesn't get that feeling from the sport anymore, because he's not up there anymore, if there was an opportunity where one of those top seats became available again, he would come back in. I guarantee it. If it became like available to him, but right now he's just wasting time. Aston Martin.
In fairness to him, when you look at that racing point where they were, what they're like as a team,
You can see why.
you can see why he
that
goes
was the
there
third best. That was the third quickest car in 2020.
comfortably as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, and so he's gone in there thinking, "Oh, this is we're our own team, Aston Martin." Yeah. And then they've got the new thing coming up as well, is that they're sort of their own factory thing. So when he got there, he probably thought, "Man, I'm really disappointed that this is how it's turning out." 2 years on as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have some sympathy for him, but I'm like, Seb, it is not time, and you know it's not. I need that trim and get back on the track. Simple as that. I don't need him to care about the world or nothing.
I think you should be his manager.
I should be his manager. Oh, I'd love that. I'd love that. I'd absolutely love that.
You there with the scissors?
Like,
I've had enough.
well,
of this
you
hair,
know what I
Seb.
mean, like,
It's hard. I
save
think
the world after kind of thing. Like, I just want you to race, my friends. Yeah,
the
just
problem
do
is it's
it.
hard for him if he's fallen out of love with F1. Of course, that's when it's hard. Like if he's genuinely
sports
just
change
Do you think he has? Yeah, do you genuinely think he's fallen out of love with it?
I don't know if he has totally, but he doesn't strike me as the kind of person that would be that involved after F1. I think he's very wise and he understands how the world obviously and F1 works like to a T. But I could see him retiring and being like, yeah,
We're done.
I was in it and now I'm not. Sort of.
I
I
agree
don't know.
with you.
When I saw him,
Or owning the whole thing and running all of F1.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
he's running the FIA.
Yeah,
or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
But when I saw him on Question Time, I knew it was over. I was like, this guy's got other priorities going on now. He's debating people.
hear
He's
that.
got
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
going
yeah,
on.
yeah.
And obviously, clearly, he's got other stuff in life.
He did a
that
good
he's
job on
interested
Question
in.
Time.
He did a good job. He really did a good, because they were sticking it on him
Yeah.
about, look, you're a hypocrite here. You're a Formula 1 driver, about the environment and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he held a good account of it.
Yeah, he did.
But
Definitely.
again, I'm asking, what are you doing on Question Time? I need you winning races.
Yeah, but he's got other things in
That's the thing,
listen,
right?
he's a human
so
being, I
what,
get it.
Seb's career, 15, 16 years, was it? What was his first year Toro Rosso?
8?
Well, no, it was a Sauber,
7?
wasn't it?
Yeah.
He
Oh,
did-
8?
Oh, was
Oh,
he
he
Sauber?
did-
He
Sauber.
did one race. He replaced
07,
him.
07, right?
Indianapolis,
07
wasn't
then.
it?
Yeah, so 07 then.
So a long career, and like you start in your he was 19, 20,
was a kid,
however
yeah,
old he
yeah.
was, right? You're kids, yeah. And now as an adult, like you change so much in that time. And I think, people criticise like Nico Rosberg for retiring when he did at 31. But it's like he won his world title.
Yeah.
That's what he wanted, and he wanted to do other stuff. And there's lots of who was it? I was doing a podcast a couple of weeks, and we had it was Jody Scheckter, who 1979 world champion, and he retired at 30, and then just went and did loads of different businesses, and now he owns loads of businesses, and he does loads of And I guess that's the thing. It's like everyone's differently kind of motivated. You got someone like Fernando or Kimi who just love racing, and they're just pure, like they just want to do racing. That's their life. And like, sure, Fernando's got other things that he's like Tommo, that's like the caps that he's always got on. That's like a brand that he helped set up and all that. But like, I just think I think Seb has clearly changed a lot over that time, right?
Yeah.
You say the same about Lewis. Lewis is like where he's become so much more of an activist, and he's like so much more like aware of the world around him than just being a racing driver, you know. And I suppose like realizing the platform and how big the sport is now. It's interesting to see how these people, these human beings, like develop as well over time, because we never really got that insight to the human level with F1 drivers back in the day. Like now, it's going to be like, imagine looking when Lando comes to retire, how different Lando's going to be.
Yeah.
when
Probably
he's
will
in
be
his
completely
mid-30s,
And I think this is a thing that happens in all sports as well. When you're in a situation where you've been winning quite a lot, and then you get put in a situation when you're not anymore, you kind of lose love for that, whatever you're doing. And it happens quite a lot.
Yeah.
So, like you just said, people that are like Fernando Alonso and so on that just love racing anyway, they don't care. They could be driving a rust bucket. They're gonna drive. Regardless.
Yeah, I think like Max is probably going to be like that. I think I could see
matter
Max
what he's
having a
driving.
really long career.
Yeah.
I could.
And then there's some people that like, listen, I've hit the heights of the sport, I've won titles and so on.
That's fine.
And do you know what? I feel like as well, when you're at that level as well, and you've done all of that, you feel like you have maybe a right to be at a top seat all the time.
Yeah.
So you're a bit confused at how did I end up in a situation at a midfield team or so on? Because I've won so many titles, I've earned that respect already. If there's a top seat available, it should just go straight to me. I should be the first person on the list. So it becomes a bit of a surprise for Formula One drivers when they end up in the midfield after winning for so long.
Yeah. It's a completely different ball game, isn't it?
It's a different sport.
Yeah.
Driving at the front and driving in the midfield.
F1.5.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah, I definitely think Vettel definitely deserved to still be in those top 3-4 teams. You know, every season. And you look at when you look at the top 3 teams now, where would he go? Where do you say I would swap him for him?
Nowhere.
Are you saying none?
No.
See, I think there's something there. I think there's somewhere he could.
What, swap him for Perez?
For example, like I think Perez is vulnerable. I think you know, it's a toss-up with Carlos Sainz.
I don't know.
No, I'm just saying. It's you know, George, you don't have to rush now. Little things like that. I just feel like he could still get into those major teams, which is why I think I'm annoyed that he's retiring. Because he's not a finished driver.
No, not
he's not. He's not. He still has like a lot to offer.
You know what I mean? And I think that's why I'm annoyed with the Ricciardo situation.
The thing is with like particularly with Max and Checo, you've got that distinct like Perez is doing the perfect job that Red Bull want, which is he's there picking up the pieces and having like occasionally like doing a better job than Max, but like he knows what he signed up for.
Yeah,
and I think I guess. I get it from I think when you've had the success that Seb's had, he's had 4 world titles, he's won loads of races, like he was the 3rd most successful Ferrari driver, I think, of all. Is he 3rd or most?
Third of Ferrari?
Yeah, like he's one of the most successful Ferrari. I'm sure someone in chat will know.
Someone in chat.
Like in terms of total wins for Ferrari.
Yeah.
I think at the end of your career, when you're in your kind of twilight where, you know, you might kind of have just gone past your best, maybe. Who knows? Maybe you're still at that best. But when you're in those later years where teams aren't going to invest in you long term, I think going for a project like Aston Martin is probably quite exciting.
Sure.
Because you've had all that, like, you've had the success.
Yeah.
You possibly, you know, with Max, with Charles, with Lewis still in the sport, and George, and all these drivers kind of coming through. Like, I think the idea of building a team up is probably quite exciting. Like in the same way that kind of Lewis helped do with Mercedes and turned them into a, you know, sometimes doing the gamble. I know a lot of Fernando Alonso gambles haven't paid off over his career, but like I can get why I'd do that, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely a gamble.
Oh,
My God, we're getting a restart, ladies and gentlemen.
Unbelievable scenes.
15 local time. That is in 10 minutes from now.
I'm waiting for that formation lap because remember we were given a local time start, and then they suspended it.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna wait for.
We're gonna wait till then, but that is at least an update, ladies and gentlemen, and that's all we've had for the last 45 minutes.
God.
Yeah.
So stay tuned because we might actually get some racing again.
We're begging the FIA for updates.
You know, like
this is where it's come to.
So you see, like with the McLaren seat situation, like if you said to me Vettel could join McLaren, I don't want this Vettel. I don't want woke Vettel. I want the other Vettel to join this McLaren team. I'm all for it. I just don't want this version. I don't know what it is. I don't know what to call it. But
it's because
it's because
he's grown. He's changed as a character.
Listen,
you can't always be a race car. You can't be a race car driver.
But also, he's at Aston Martin.
Listen, he could
like he was, you know, you say like, but he was 2019 was a good season for Vettel. 2020 was a bad season for Vettel.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, the opportunity at Aston Martin came up, but like, I don't know if the two, I think Vettel's been pretty switched on for like a good few years now in terms of like.
There's been a change of character.
It's just, I don't know, too soft, man.
You just want them purebreds.
But he was.
You know, like
Yes.
it's like it's one of them ones like wrestling, yeah. Like I just need you to be the actor on track. You can. Like, listen. He's probably doing all this stuff way before we saw it publicly, right?
Probably.
But guess what? He was winning 4 world titles, and he was doing what he was doing at Ferrari. I'm all for that. No problem. I just find him just a bit too soft now. And I feel like with world champions in Formula One, they're not soft.
Yeah.
It's different goals, though, isn't it? Because, like,
and I guess it depends where you are on the grid, because you can't drive like that if you're in a midfield team, I don't think, because you've got to work as a team. I think there's more emphasis on working as a team.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
To build up when you're in a midfield car.
Very good
you can
point.
be selfish when you're like fighting for titles because only one person can win.
Exactly.
But then, like, you know, like, for example, LeClerc, when he was at Sauber, we saw one ruthless guy in that car. We saw that this guy is destined to be one of the
rookie
top
point
teams.
to prove.
Jumps in.
Bodied Ericsson.
And, you know, like, you know, so, yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry.
He did. It was just funny phrasing.
You know, like, there are drivers, you know, when, like, Alonso was in that Minardi or, like, Vettel in the Toro Rosso, there were people, Verstappen in the Toro Rosso, there are people where I agree, in those areas, you need to be more of a team. I think you made a great point there. But we saw something more with those particular kind of drivers. So,
but they were all like juniors starting their career, right?
They're hungry.
So they're coming in. They're
hungry.
Like,
Vettel
they want to
has
like
achieved everything that he can achieve from this point onwards.
oh, absolutely. Listen,
his career.
Listen, he goes to bed and he's one of the most decorated champions in Formula One history. Let's make no mistake about this.
Yeah.
I want more from him. I want to see more. That's what it is. I want to see it again.
That's
what it is.
Yeah, and I hear that. That's fair.
I fully get that. Oh man, what these percentages with
so
points as
Make
well.
no sense. They
Can't be doing maths right now, man.
Just show us
Is
what the
Max
points
going to
are.
still be able to win the championship?
That's just so controversial. Oh, he won by
Man,
70% points.
Oh, do you know how
even
funny
know.
that would be, though?
At least they don't do half points anymore, as in like 0.5.
Yeah.
I used to see that on the championship standings at the end of the season and just think, this looks so horrible. 374.5 points.
James Brooker seems Ferrari going for the softs.
Yeah, I would honestly.
No surprise there.
I wouldn't even be surprised, I swear, honestly.
That's good. Maybe you should have like different. You should have a soft wet and a medium wet and a hard wet.
No, because if you know, I'm sorry, a hard wet is crazy.
That's a crazy line.
Absolutely
That's a crazy line.
No, that's
I
too
could
funny.
never ever run.
That is too funny.
That was so sick.
No, Ferrari, hilarious. Even with their strategies when they got all these plans and stuff like that. And I'm like,
yeah.
nobody's copying your strategies. You don't need to mask it with
as soon as you're
A, B, C. Nobody's copying you anyway. Who's copying you? You
Just say what your plan is, because
we're going to pit on lap 33 for mediums. There's no copy anyway.
Everyone's going to stay away
Yeah,
from
there's
that. then.
Uno reverse card. You know what I mean? You actually do something different.
Yeah. And once you're getting past plan C, you're finished. There's no way a fourth plan or fifth plan could be good.
And imagine I have to remember all of it as well, the drivers.
Yeah,
Plan E,
exactly.
plan F.
Right, E? What?
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, that. The thing is as well, like we're joking about Ferrari now. Listen, I've been beating this horn for years. When I say from day one, when, you know,
Yeah, man.
when, you
There's
know,
something wrong.
when Murray Walker was running this show, right? Ferrari have been a joke for years. For years. And the fact they even won that title in 2007 was just because, you know, McLaren, obviously, we tried to be a bit naughty. But, like, you know, they've been the most funniest, most unserious team in Formula One for a very long time.
I think there's a degree of like arrogance there. Like if you've seen Rush,
Elitism, isn't it? It's
Like-
almost like we've been here for the longest. We've been
Yeah.
doing this, like, you know.
Even
we
their
almost-
threats when they want to pull out, they're like, well, we'll leave the sport. And it's like, and it's as if Formula One will die because there's no Ferrari. I mean, yeah, Ferrari is a juggernaut, but
I feel for the Ferrari fan base because you've got no drivers' championship since
Have you met them?
2007. All of them.
have you met the Ferrari fan base? You
All
feel
of them.
sorry for them.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while.
I mean, I just think that like the level of success relative to their like resource. Again, like no drivers since 2007, no constructors since 2008, and like no one celebrates constructors. Let's be honest.
No.
So it's like, given the resource, given the scale of the Tifosi, like as a fandom, like it's like nothing else, right? I think the closest other teams when it comes to support, is probably McLaren. With the heritage,
Got Max now, I guess, with, you know,
Max bringing the Red Bull, Red Bull with kind of
still not the same.
But like the Tifosi, that's in your blood.
Yeah.
Like that's you grow up like a Ferrari fan. You know what I mean?
You follow them through the lows and the lows.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's a
Like,
religion.
that's the only team that I think really gets that type of support. You know, on the grid, and I just think that. For them to be so serious, like this year, they've produced a phenomenal car, and you have to give them credit.
Of course, absolutely.
Yeah.
But then to still have the same issues come up time and time again.
But that's the thing. The car has never been their issue, nor the
Not
drivers.
really. Yeah, you're right.
They are
made some
not
stinky cars.
serious. I mean, they've had, and then Alonso's made them give them some integrity, right?
Yeah,
Fair
yeah.
enough. But when they've had the cars, my God, like
Yeah,
they
1,000.
they are still like they are stinking up the joint. They are the Manchester United of Formula One, the Dallas Cowboys of Formula One. You name it. That's what they are. They've got all the resource in the world.
Yeah,
And this is what we're
argue,
getting.
you can't
Continuously
argue
make
with
poor
the results,
decisions.
can you?
Yeah, yeah.
You really can't.
Michael Schumacher was doing miracles.
No,
Yeah.
you know when you watch that Schumacher documentary, you realize, holy smokes, this guy plucked this lot out of the darkness,
This guy was
right?
doing hot laps in dark. In the
got
dark.
a title
with no
20
laps.
21
I was like, Michael
years.
Schumacher, you're a madman. What?
You know,
Scheckter 79
didn't even
was the
think
last
that.
Ferrari title. Nothing in the 80s, nothing in the 90s.
They've got good PR.
Nothing.
Schumacher
Because
went
you'd
there in
think
96,
if you
right?
enter Formula One, you'd think they've like perennial winners. They've
Yeah.
won so much, whatever. There's huge gaps in the winners
Yeah,
winning.
yeah.
When you watch that documentary and then you realize that their last title was not since '79 before Schumacher does it, you're thinking, what have I been like smoking? Thinking this Ferrari team was like the biggest thing ever. It's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. It just
you're not wrong.
blows my mind. It blows my mind with that
You're not
team.
wrong. Yeah. Like you say, it's the heritage of, we've been here since the start, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Formula One heritage.
Right.
Come on.
Should we do a little recap?
2 bloody minutes till race start. Let's have a
2 minutes
recap.
till restart. So, for anyone who's just joined, you haven't missed anything, basically. Apart from the first few laps where we lost Carlos Sainz, big shunt, aquaplaned into the wall, damage, very sketchy. The track wasn't ready, basically, to go live. There was too much water on the track. We are looking at restarting again. This will restart under the safety car, so we'll have at least one lap. I reckon we'll have a good few behind the safety car before they're allowed to restart. But
Yeah, I reckon we'll get like 8 laps maybe behind safety car, something like that. Genuinely, just to clear some water.
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, look, better that and actually have a race than not at all.
Yeah,
So,
I was gonna say, yeah.
and it
Yeah,
will.
I kind of missed the cars on track, to be fair.
Yeah.
Just get me out there.
I reckon it will probably be because they were showing, you don't get full points if it's not the full distance. There's percentage gaps, and I think this will probably be between 25 and 50% full race distance. I reckon.
Yeah, I would say so.
Because by the time we actually get going, there'll probably be 45 minutes
Probably
of actual racing.
Hopefully at some point later on we'll get on the screen the actual like way that's split up
Yeah.
in terms of the percentages, so you guys know how many points are going to be dished out, because it also depends then what positions you get points for. I believe if it's only 25 to 50%, P10 doesn't get any points. Something like that. We'll get it on the screen at some point later for you guys, so you know.
The question is the gap points still the same with this percentage brought down? Because can Max still win the title today?
It's all about his relative points to Leclerc and Perez. So he needs to get 8 points more than Leclerc or 10 points more than Perez.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah, so in a shortened race, if Verstappen was
gonna
to
be
win and
more
Leclerc was
difficult.
to come second, he wouldn't win the championship anymore.
Verstappen's hoping for a Leclerc and Perez crash right now.
The only way he was ever going to be able to win from a 1-2 was if he got fastest lap and it was full points. So that's already out of the
So
window.
in
He
terms
can't
of
do
kicking
that.
the can down the road, in terms of the championship getting wrapped
Yeah.
up, this is gonna mean it doesn't. Probably doesn't get wrapped up.
The reality
today.
is, I think Leclerc would have to probably finish. If we're only getting 50%, I think Leclerc would probably have to finish like 4th
Okay.
for Verstappen to win the championship here.
Okay.
Maybe 3rd. I don't know.
Christian Horner must be in Perez's ear saying, listen, you've got a job to do today.
Yeah.
His name is Charles Leclerc. You both need to get out of here. Right?
We have cars out on the track. Ladies and gentlemen, what a day.
Look at it.
What a day.
You know what though? If imagine Max still wins the title today. Like honestly, I'll be dying of laughter. Like
Yeah,
I'll
that
be
would
like,
be
oh
mad,
my
I'm not
god,
gonna lie.
something bent has happened here.
it's
What
crazy.
again? Like what is going on here?
That's the thing. It could happen.
It could happen.
There's still potential.
I want it to.
There's big
happen,
puddles here. I can see.
Yeah, there are. There's a big river just outside of turn
That's
2.
me. Drive through all the puddles so that you
Yeah.
displace.
That's
all
the thing. That's the thing. Now you've got 21 cars going around. It's not really raining. It's not like Spa where it was literally just monsoon all day.
Yeah.
Like it's actually calmed down. There's drizzle now. So get these guys going around for 10 laps, and you're going to clear a lot of these puddles and some standing water.
Spa was hilarious because Max was like, I'm fine, because he had no spray in his face.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I'm fine. Everybody else couldn't see anything. He's like, I'm fine. I'm good. We should start the race.
Yeah.
That is funny. That's the thing, though. That's the spray effect for you. 'Cause it is. I mean, honestly, like if you haven't seen the images of how little you could see,
Oh mate.
and again, like we're going from the T cam on the top of the car, where you got better visibility from that than the actual behind the visor.
Big up Emma.
Lewis
happening
has said the track's really good.
Lewis said the track's good.
Hello.
Is it better than
That's because he wants to get going. He's not good. He wants to go.
Let's go.
That's obviously in terms of grip as well.
Rolling start.
Visibility might be something totally different.
Yeah, exactly.
But 'cause that's the thing, they're on wet tyres now, which obviously chuck out a lot more water.
Yes.
The visibility was fucking nothing on the first lap on into.
Yes.
So obviously it's gonna be a little bit.
Should have started on wets, maybe.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what they were saying. I think they were interviewing Pirelli during the red flag.
Yeah.
Like the guy who runs the whole thing, and he was like, yeah, obviously Inters can't deal with these conditions. Wets can, but you end up with stupid spray and no one can see anything. So, but hopefully we're all good. We'll see what Ocon's saying as well. Visibility is better already.
Okay.
Stuff. We love that. Come on.
It's all positive.
I take it it's not raining anymore then. Is it not raining at all?
I don't think it's raining anywhere near as heavily as it was earlier.
I mean,
I think it's spitting out.
It looks pretty minimal.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like you say,
Okay, well, I mean, it's still drizzling
No,
a bit,
there's
but that's
still-
still
yeah.
not as heavy as
all
it
these
was.
cars out on track.
If they're saying it's clearer, then
Yeah.
happy days.
Got to be
get
careful,
on.
Good
guys.
start.
Let's get on with it.
Let's go. Yeah, I mean, look, even 5, 6, 7 laps under safety car just to clear the track. Like, do it if that's what needs to be done.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get a race on.
Exactly.
Do what you need to do. What do you reckon Max is thinking in this instance? Because obviously it could still happen. Does he want this race to get going?
Probably does, just to get the points and have that
Get him on the
bit of
board.
cushion. You know what I mean?
I'm worried about his starts. His starts have been appalling.
But it's a rolling start, so it shouldn't be that bad.
It doesn't mean like, okay, so the safety car will pull out, right? And then, Max will kind of control until we actually really go, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Charles seems to have his number at the beginning.
I think safety car
seems to.
restarts, Max, is pretty good.
Yeah,
I agree in terms of like standing starts.
Standing.
Yeah.
But I think safety car restarts, Max he did a lot of iRacing.
I don't know because we've
paying
not,
dividends.
We've
bro.
not we've not spoken about like Charles Too Tough, and even like Sky's not really put much coverage on them. When there's no pressure on Ferrari, they might turn up.
Yeah.
They just might turn up. It's when we've got all the lights on them, is when we see them have an absolute mare.
Thank you again, guy, mate. Appreciate it, man. This is now a 40-minute sprint race in the wet. Bosh.
We've been rewarded.
Bosh
for our
indeed.
waiting.
Bosh indeed. No, cheers.
I'll
guy,
take
man.
a sprint
Appreciate
race
it.
right now for sure.
Thank you for the support. Yeah, I mean, look, we'll get what we can get in these conditions, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you can already see like going through. There was a
drivers-
puddle there coming through like turn 6. or
It's
something,
better than the start of the race. This
Yeah,
visibility
this is
right
definitely
now.
better. This visibility is already better. I know they're not up to full speed or whatever, but you can actually see the car in front of you, which is a good start.
But it's, I know I've mentioned this already, but Gasly does have a different front wing to what he had before. Like a different design.
Confirmed.
Entirely.
He did just knock it off though.
Yeah.
In that ad board, so I don't know if he's still necessarily.
They must have only had one of the wings.
Yeah, one of the-
I've been playing a bit of F1 Manager, you know. And
you only
It's
have one.
expensive.
Man.
yeah, but
Listen, F1 manager is a very touchy subject for me.
Oh, is it? Is there some PTSD there?
I'm fuming.
oh god, what happens?
Okay, should we get into it? Yeah. So obviously, like,
F1 manager story.
so here's the thing in it. Yeah,
He's got something he wants to get off his chest.
I'm a big football manager guy, right?
Okay,
So
okay.
So I was like, when I heard, you know what, Formula One's doing the same thing. Oh, I was knee deep in it. I was ready for it, right? I was drinking in all the content that they were putting out. Great. So it comes out now, and I'm like, yeah. Let me go and put £45. Oh, it's a bit steep, but I'm gonna purchase. We purchased it. 2-2s now. Why can't I play the game? Someone tell me why I can't play the game.
By the way, thank you, Hannah, for the super chat. Appreciate
Big
it.
up Hannah. Why can't we play the game? So I'm scrolling. I'm like, oh, maybe I need to update. You know what it's like with computers. You got to update. You got to make sure everything's ready.
Whatever. Yeah.
All that. I've done everything. Full beans. Now my laptop is actually on the brink of dying because of the fact that I've got so many updates and like, it takes up all this memory, blah, blah.
Fire. Yeah.
All right. We get through it all. I start scrolling down. I'm getting this on Steam.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm using the laptop.
Ah, I know where this is going.
You know where this is going?
Yeah, I know where this is going.
Oh, I think
So
I know where this
I'm on
is going
Steam
as well.
now, and I'm like, yeah, let's update or let's install. So I was losing my mind, yeah. So I uninstalled Football Manager and just reinstalled it just to see what do I do here that I can replicate here.
Yeah.
Football Manager was standard, installed, download,
There,
play
ready.
game.
Yeah.
I'm getting over to football F1 Manager. I'm saying, what is going on? 2-2s now. My operating system is not the correct one. I said, what do you mean? I thought, something's wrong. I got the wrong spec. All right, whatever. I then go on Twitter to find the game is not available on Mac.
Yeah, I knew this was
Oh my days.
I knew that was going to be the one.
They
Yeah.
That's
took
a
your
howler.
money.
That's
That's outrageous. You shouldn't actually be able to buy it.
refund.
It's insane. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
the refund was 1,000 mile an hour. Listen, mate, I was on that refund. I was on pole for that one. I was on it. Because like I was sitting there like, hang on, you've made me buy this thing. You know I'm on a Mac. I've got Steam, and yet I can't even play the damn game. I was fuming.
Oh, here we go. Safety car will enter the pits. Well,
Rolling
it's all right.
See, that's,
We'll get you for it.
I'm surprised that's so early, actually.
That's quite early.
I thought they'd do like at least another 5 laps because Bottas and Daniel Ricciardo have both been on team radio complaining a little bit about the visibility.
Yeah, Daniel was saying that visibility is the bigger issue.
Grip is fine. I think that they're calm in that sense. The wets can deal with this now. There's not much standing water, but if the visibility is quite poor, I'm surprised. You're not doing maybe 3 more laps or something.
I just hope nobody drives like an idiot.
We are getting a race though, so at least there's that. Get some green flag racing. Do you know what I mean?
Slide.
Here we go. But my shot off. So Max is now basically the safety car. Yeah.
Here we go.
He's gone back in. He's run out of petrol.
Here we go.
That's what it is. He's done too many tests too long.
How many laps have I
Fuel
done?
sample. That famous fuel sample.
Safety car
as
fuel
well.
sample.
Can you imagine if the safety car had it? Oh my god. But yeah,
Do you think he's going to get him?
F1 manager, sort it out, man. No. Put it on Mac. Put it on the iOS.
You don't want the stress of F4 manager.
Look, everybody is enjoying. Everyone's living life.
I'm not enjoying.
They're having a great time.
I put Russell and Norris in the same team and they keep crashing.
What do you expect?
I don't know. They keep crashing into each other. Like, this is a nightmare.
Bro, let me have that pain too. I want that pain. You know what I mean? I'm just sitting here like.
All right. Let's see if he gets it for the start.
I think Max is saying that he feels like Inter potentially.
Oh, it's the box already.
40
40 minutes of racing.
Oh dear, here we go.
40 minutes.
Interesting.
We've done well if we get 40 minutes of racing.
for sure.
What could happen here is that drivers could come in for Inters now.
Straight off the bat.
And have that advantage.
Yeah, because obviously Max has to start the lap.
Kind of like, was it Hungary with Lewis?
Yeah,
when he didn't pit and everyone. So will anyone else come into the pits here? Max Verstappen's starting the lap on the wet tyres.
Let's have a look.
Let's see.
Doesn't look like it.
You know he didn't go in.
Okay, off he
Max,
goes.
we have racing.
Yeah, no one
We have racing, people.
Yeah, it's sensational. Back to
at the
green flag
spray.
racing.
Can't see anything.
Yeah, you can't
Jesus
see
Christ, that visibility is low, boy.
it is low. What's the percentage at the moment? What percent is this? Is this 50%?
It's
Scooby.
I don't know what it is.
40 minutes, whatever we can get done in 40 minutes. I reckon it'll be between 25 and
Nobody do anything stupid,
Lewis Hamilton's
guys.
pits.
No, sorry, he was
Latifi.
just saying it separately. So
Seb.
Vettel's in and
Inter's on.
Latifi's in, I believe.
Inters on for Vettel.
Inters.
Could be unsafe release. I think they're all right. Oh, just.
It's a wide pit.
I think they'll be okay.
All right.
They're still going for it.
Yeah, he's not backing out of that.
Race out the pit lane.
Wow.
You can't go across the line either.
please.
Who does the TV think he is?
So Vettel and Latifi have rolled the dice, which fair
They're
enough.
the little guinea pigs now to kind of watch out for in terms of time.
With the intermediates, everyone else is on wets. I thought it said on the comms that Lewis came in, but he's not come in.
No, he's still
Why are you lying
Crofty
to me,
was getting
Crofty?
mixed up again,
Yeah.
as per.
Oh, poor Crofty.
No, no.
Crofty got
Unsafe
Aston
release
Martin
for
and
Vettel.
Mercedes mistaken.
Unsafe release for Vettel is being looked at.
Oh, wow.
But I think he'll be fine.
I think it'll be okay. There's enough space. White
Interesting,
Inters
right.
with the rivers. Yeah, there is a little bit of standing water, but the rest of the track is kind of like you could get away with it.
There's a dry line. That's
And as long as you can get away with it, Inters are always going to be faster than wet.
And look at Schumacher and Magnussen, P10 and 11.
Yeah, good stuff from them.
Good stuff from us. Well done.
I think Magnussen made a jump, I think.
Yeah, Magnussen jumped as well.
He jumped
I mean, there is quite literally nothing on the
I was gonna
screen
say,
there.
what was that?
Down into 130R was
Thank
just
you, cameraman.
white, bro.
You know?
Nothing there.
Can't see anything.
Visibility is mad. Again, it'll get better and better, but at the moment, it's crazily bad.
Here we go. Yeah, it's starting to Perez, LeClerc, Verstappen starting to kind of break away.
Yeah,
well,
you can see
actually,
that.
Verstappen and Leclerc breaking away.
Yeah,
Perez
Perez
is
is
5
not.
seconds off the back of Leclerc.
Ocon's only a second and a half off him.
Oh, 5. No, that's the full delta.
This is like,
He's like
look, the
3.5
mist and then it reveals the driver. Look.
Yeah, I love that. Look at that, man.
Bro, you
Got a
cannot
replay.
see anything.
The Aston Martin potential.
Aston
I
Martin.
think that's
I
fine.
think that'll be okay. But then again, it's just because it's a wide pit lane, isn't it?
Yeah,
That was a narrow.
They got lucky with that.
problem.
Hello.
we got
McLaren, what's going on here?
Here we go,
Lando's
boys.
in.
Lando's in.
The
McLaren fans, let's
boy
go.
is in.
Oh,
this about?
it's not the quickest pit
Yeah,
stop.
it wasn't the greatest pit stop. It was
Bottas
all
is in
right.
as well.
3.5. No, I can do. Who's
Take
that?
those. Bottas is in as well.
Bottas.
The
Lando.
same.
So they're seeing the delts, yeah? They're seeing the
Vettel
delta.
is out ahead of them, by the way. So undercut. So
Yep.
technically, he must have gone quicker because
Yeah.
must have
Vettel
gone
was
quicker.
I mean,
behind them.
Latifi's ahead of Norris.
And Latifi is as well. So guys that are coming in are going to have an advantage over the rest of the people on wets here.
Interesting.
Okay then.
Are we looking at Latifi winning, lads? I'm joking.
Oh, could you imagine?
So Lewis thinks it's still
It's
full wets.
extremes. We've got a purple sector from Charles Leclerc, to be fair,
Okay.
but
Interesting.
No
So,
further investigation
Okay.
for the unsafe release.
yeah, it'd be interesting to see for Lando because obviously, I don't think wet tyres are going to go to the end, are they? So teams are going to
not,
have to
no.
pit. You
Especially-
could go to the end if you wanted to.
got a replay of a lovely move
who's
from
that?
Kevin Magnussen.
wow.
On Strolly boy.
Lance,
a great
Verstappen
take.
is coming into the pits.
No way.
From the lead.
Hello.
Is this allegedly?
Box, box,
I've just
box.
been told.
Or is he tricking?
I'm just lying.
Just
He's
He's
in.
coming in.
Max is
Verstappen's
in.
coming in.
There we go.
oh,
Max
he's
is
in
in.
there.
Which means Leclerc's
Max
definitely
from the lead.
now. Oh no, he's
There
from
he
the
is,
lead.
he's-
Lead as well. Here we go. Right, this could be interesting pits.
Sebastian
This could
Vettel
be
apparently
very
the fastest man on
interesting.
track right now.
Oh, wow.
It's a bit of a tear off, I think, from Max there, chance.
Oh, and Perez as
Red Bull
well.
a double stack.
Ferrari
Double stack Red Bull.
versus Red Bull pits.
There's one team that can do it.
Perez Ocon pit as well.
Alonso stayed
Alonso
out.
staying out.
Stayed out.
Release. Double stack.
Double stack,
Double
lads.
stack from
Ahead
Red Bull.
of the Ferrari, you know, that's pretty good.
Oh, looks like pretty
Double
clean
stack
for
from
pit
Mercedes
stops.
as well. Oh, this is going to get techie in here.
It's going to get techie
messy.
in the
Yeah.
pit.
Oh, the Mercedes double stacks.
Not as good.
It's a bit slow, isn't it?
Alonso's just stack padding.
George was closer to Lewis.
Alonso's stack padding.
He's like,
Fernando.
He's
like, yeah,
stack
yeah.
Mate, look at that top three. Alonso, Ricardo, Schumacher.
That's what you need.
If it starts
End the
tracking
race.
that a little
We
bit,
love
the
to
energy
see
I like.
Lando's
End
ahead
it.
of
Right
George
now.
Russell, by the way.
Go on, Lando.
Latifi's
Mate,
11th.
yes. Oh my God, Lando.
Yeah,
that early inter was
That early intercall was
was a good move, man.
sensational.
very good.
Vettel, Latifi, and Lando have done a really good job there.
Vettel fastest lap.
Oh, this is tough for like Alonso, Ricardo,
Sebastian
Schumacher,
Vettel was
Joe.
5 seconds quicker than Alonso that lap.
Was he?
5.
5.
Oh man,
Oh, it's definitely
I think
enters.
I'm pretty sure that
It's
he just
definitely
said
enters.
that. That's mental.
Alonso is going to be fuming. Oh,
George saying that
Russell's
was
not
the
happy.
worst decision we've made.
Wow.
Is he talking
Interesting.
about the? He must be talking about double stack though, because he's gonna find out pretty quick that he's going
Yeah.
quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's double stacking it because
Yeah.
look
Ocon
how
went
far
into
behind
the
he is
Or
now.
maybe,
Yeah, but
some,
if he's
maybe some
losing-
cars are handling it better than others.
Yeah, maybe.
There's that too, yeah.
But if he's going to lose 2 seconds from a stack, it's better than losing 4 seconds out
Absolutely.
on on the circuit.
Track,
do you know what I mean?
absolutely.
They're telling Mick that he's P3, but they're hoping for the
thing.
safety car. Yeah,
Do you know what? That is fair.
for Alonso,
somebody
Ricardo,
crash,
Schumacher. Yeah, they've just
If
got to
somebody
hope for a
bins,
safety
they've got a
car.
free safety car, haven't they?
Yeah.
A free a pit stop.
Because if they pit now, they're just going to be at the back. So
yeah.
they might as
They've
well
missed
just
the window already at this point.
yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Max is already on the back of Mick Schumacher.
Max
again,
and
having
Mick
been-
again.
Max and Mick. Here we go.
Silverstone Part 2, let's go.
Here we go.
Oh, Alonso's in pit.
I was going to
Oh,
say,
so Mick didn't go in?
And Ricardo's in the pits.
Oh, no,
so they're not.
Mick's leading. There's
So
a
Mick's-
Schumacher leading a race.
Mick's
Come
just
on.
on vibes.
Heritage.
Yeah.
heritage.
Oh,
for
he's
real.
briefly leading.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
That's all we needed. It's all, it's,
Because he's not anymore.
it's all we
Put that
needed.
on his CV right now.
That's all we needed. That's all we needed.
Someone screenshot that.
Led for 2 seconds.
Yep.
This is stinky.
So
from
you
House.
need.
This is stinky from house.
Someone's,
Latifi's in the
someone's going to screenshot that Schumacher front.
Joe's still out on West.
Yeah.
Latifi is PH.
Joe and Schumacher just going for vibes.
That's just stubbornness,
Fastest
isn't
lap,
it?
Lando.
Go on, Lando. Come on.
Come on.
Let's go, Lando. You know that one. He's still behind Latifi. But yeah, like, who was it? Vettel. Vettel's had a cool car.
Really good.
man.
PA.
Yeah.
It's a good strategy move, man.
Yeah,
His
it's a
last
great
Japanese Grand Prix was facing
Considering
backwards
how
in
it
turn
started.
one.
This
Yeah,
race.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What's happened there?
Exactly, right at the back.
Oh, another unsafe release.
A little bit.
Lance.
Close.
Again,
Aston Martin.
it's
The thing
carbon
is,
copy of the
once they've seen the
one.
first one,
They
and they
can't
can get
do
away
that.
with 2, that I think everyone's going to just release at any time.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
As Leclerc goes past Mick Schumacher, who's just falling backwards. Those wet tyres aren't the one to be on anymore.
It's just stubbornness. Get in the pits, mate. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you just got to firm
You've
it
just
now.
got to firm
You
it
actually have to firm it now.
You can still be top 10, but
No, I think he might end up last if he pits.
Latifi radio.
as in finish.
Yeah.
Oh God, Latifi's getting a bit of aquaplaning.
Oh,
Oh,
that is not.
that's not what you want to hear.
That's not what you want to hear. To Latifi either.
not
That's
what-
like,
yeah.
that's all, of all the people.
That's like,
dear.
arsonist has got a light on. It's a bit scary. Like, scary.
Absolutely.
Move there. Valtteri Bottas trying to make a move on Magnussen or vice versa?
K-Mag on Valts. Yeah, I think K-Mag got the job done. Yeah.
K-Mag making moves.
Schumacher and Joe just need a shunt. They need a shunt. That's what they
Fastest
need.
lap max.
They need to make a pact here. One of them just has to have an accident for the other one's getting Joe's in. Never mind.
Tanner Lombard, from the most boring race to the most interesting. I mean, it's been pretty interesting so far. There's a lot going on. Joe's come into the pits.
I couldn't see a thing on that shot though.
Not at all.
At all.
Down the front straight, yeah. As soon as more than 3 cars have gone down there, nothing, impossible. You can't see anything.
Yeah.
It's a madness.
Yeah, Vettel's made up P7 now, Vettel.
P7.
Vettel
He was stone
six.
dead last.
Vettel is going to be P6 when
technically.
Schumacher.
when
You're
Schumacher
right.
pits.
You're right.
Wow.
That's it.
Norris in the
That's a strategy call and a half.
Big-
Whoever made that call, that's sensational.
Big dividends.
That's sensational, man.
Big dividends.
Latifi's in the points.
Yo.
Latifi is in the points.
He didn't even know the track layout 2 days ago, and he's going to be in the points.
Anyone can do it.
Anyone can get it.
Anyone can get it.
Oh, Nicky, come on, mate. I hope he has a good result.
That would be great.
I hope he gets points before the end of the year. That would be a lovely. It's just,
Yeah, absolutely.
Last year in F1,
Send off for Goatsy.
Yeah, that's
I'm
it,
all
man.
for that. I'm all for that.
mate. Mick.
That spray is crazy.
in.
Mick,
why are you still out here, man?
Schumacher.
Oh my god.
He's genuinely
Mick's just out here causing a huge gap.
Ocon's just stuck behind Schumacher here.
He's just looking at his CV right now. That's all that he's thinking about.
Big man thing, you should be able to overtake a car that's on wet.
And Hamilton's trying to capitalise.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Right,
can you do a
Ocon's-
2-for-1 deal here? Not at 130R, mate. Please don't. No. Look at Hamilton thinking about a move there, but he backs
on,
out
man.
of it instead.
So Ocon gets ahead of Schumacher, but Hamilton's still behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mick's going to be dropping like a stone here.
He's not even thinking about pitting, Mick.
Well, look, Joe's come out 6 seconds behind Gasly at the very back.
Nasty.
Mick, just stay out in it, go drive later on.
Firm it. Yeah, he's staying out.
Is there any point Mick coming in?
There actually isn't at this point.
Not
He's
really.
so
Just see
far
where he
off.
lands.
Just enjoy it.
30 minutes, see where he is.
Yeah. When it's dry, I'll be like, I'm going straight on the soft, bro.
Oh, imagine. And then he gets that would be crazy.
Sebastian Vettel now overtaking him as well.
Don't do this to me.
Flipping heck.
Trying to. Oh, don't crash into Seb again, Mick, please.
Yeah, I was going to
Seb,
say.
don't feel sorry for him. Just because you're a mentor.
for
Don't
it.
do it.
Come on.
Just dunk on him.
Dunk him.
Don't matter.
Where's that Red Bull, Seb? Come on.
Just dunk.
This order is so shaken up, by the way.
It's weird.
Latifi 9th, Lando's back up to 10th. George Russell down in 12th position now.
Yeah, man. George.
Outside of the points, net, even if Mick Schumacher comes in.
Goodness
wow.
gracious me. George
A
Russell.
double
yeah.
stack has done him dirty.
Filth. Absolute filth. But yeah, actually, the top kind of 5 are pretty much, as we started, apart from Science being out.
Yeah.
Yuki's on
It's
for points.
interesting. It's all kind of bands. Oh, my
yo,
God. Mick's just
Yuki?
getting swallowed up here.
Yeah, he is. This is a whole world of pain.
That was a bit scary.
Fernando Alonso through.
He's like, let me get rid of this guy.
So he's already officially lost the 25 seconds.
No, here we go,
Obviously, he
another
was
one.
with
Must be
Fernando.
frustrating.
Is that Latifi?
Latifi.
Please
Latifi.
don't.
Please, man. Just be careful, Nick.
is it
We'll
pending?
remember what
Is
happened
it-
last
Just
time.
take-
Schumacher
Oh,
and
wide.
Latifi were
Wide.
scrapping.
That's it. Don't
Abu
touch
Dhabi
Norris.
2021
Norris, be careful.
flashbacks.
Not touch Norris.
The Mick-Nick combination.
Yikes.
And Lando's through now as well. So Mick is already on the
Nick
verge of...
combination. I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
You might as well pit and put softs on now.
Well, should we have a look at our predictions and reflect on how our predictions are holding so far?
Oh, wow.
We've all got man.
I got top 3, all right?
Hey, we're out here, Mo. Come on.
Come on, I'm cooking, man.
Shocker.
I just need Lewis Hamilton and Fernando to get in there.
Expecting stable conditions to the end of the race.
Oh,
Okay, so none of
I
us.
didn't realise I didn't have Sainz in my top 5. Shame.
Yeah, man.
didn't put him in there.
I physically cannot get the top 5 right now.
Yeah, it's
I'm on
tough.
3 now.
You're
but
on 3. That's enough.
That'll do. I'll take that.
Yeah,
I'll
you
take
take that.
When we
I'll
had
take
Blake on, he got a perfect 5, didn't
that
he?
was He's the only person to do all
Yeah.
5. He's the only person.
Will knowledge. Schumacher's
real knowledge.
finally pitted.
That seems like well, he had to, I guess. but-
Yeah. It was bordering on lunacy.
Yeah, he was losing like 7 seconds
Getting
a
a
lap.
bit excited.
Now he's lost. It's a damn shame.
So is he mixing it with what? Joe,
He's not mixing it with it.
Gasly?
He's just by himself out there.
no
He's 12
mixing.
seconds back. Look, he's finished, man.
2 laps makes all the
That's
difference.
amazing. He actually just
13.
lost his race. That's it. It's
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
13,
phenomenal.
Just for not
14
pitting.
seconds off the back of Joe.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah.
That is crazy. In 5 laps. Because if he pits with Vettel and that, he's 6th. Mad.
I'll tactically retire the car to save the engine. I'll be like, I'm 40
Yeah,
seconds
now,
back,
yeah, exactly.
so I'm done.
That's the thing. There's not much more. I know Russell's down in P11 now. There's not, unless they'd have brought him in a lap earlier. Obviously, that would have been in hindsight the thing to do.
The
but
move, I guess.
the double stack was definitely still less time lost than staying out on a whole another lap. You know,
exactly.
so.
He loses 5 seconds if he stays out. He loses 3 if he does a stack.
But I guess look, when you qualify behind your teammate, that is the disadvantage you get in a situation like that. So,
Exactly, yeah.
You know, if it had been if George had qualified Lewis, then it would have been the other way around, and Lewis would have missed out. So.
Considering Alonso pitted after all of these guys, he's in a good position.
Yeah, he's actually done very well. Because I thought Alpine had a howler there, but they've done all right.
Yeah, that's what Ted's just saying on the comms. He's saying that George isn't happy because he lost time in the double stack, but I don't think he realises how much time he would have lost.
Yeah, he's probably not working out that, like, bro, you're like Mick Schumacher is slow. Like, you're not going to gain time from being out on the wets.
Oh, Russell's complaining about his brakes.
Oh, wow.
Same as Singapore quality.
What was the problem there?
Well, wasn't it that it was almost like there was still throttle application when he was trying to go through the corners. The car was understeering.
Yeah.
That's a bit scary.
Which is, especially in dodgy
If
conditions.
you're braking
as well.
and the throttle's still on, then that's not.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
That's the sensation he got anyway. Whether it was actually that, I mean, he's saying it's a brake issue, so maybe it's I don't know, you're putting the brake on and then it's unloading somewhat. I'm not sure.
He's all on the back of Yuki, though.
He is.
He's going to ruin the Japanese day, man. You can't do that.
No, come on.
There should be a rule you can't overtake home driving.
It's just a big wall behind you.
Yeah.
Not allowed.
It needs to be the wall here.
That's it. We'll see. But yeah, the race has kind of settled down a bit now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've kind of settled into a groove.
Yeah.
Leclerc's 7 seconds back.
Russell's close
Wow,
to
yeah.
Yuki.
When did that happen?
7, where did that come from?
Oh my
7
God, yeah.
seconds on
Max is checking
Verstappen
out.
said, I'm out of it.
And he's doing fastest lap.
Jeez. Yeah, because again, these tyres are probably going to be going to the end, aren't they?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not going to
realistically.
dry up enough. It's not, if it was a really
25
sunny
minutes.
day.
How many laps do you reckon that's more?
Suzuka.
25.
Yeah.
25 minutes.
What are we saying? 18?
Yeah, maybe. Well, maybe like 16, I think.
16?
Sorry, the Red Bull is wearing out now. I mean, unidentified. We're not sponsored. We're not sponsored.
Yeah.
So I cannot disclose the company of energy
The
drink.
Send
caffeine.
us Red Bull, please.
Yeah.
You know, I'm having a nap when I go home, bro. I don't care.
We'll definitely get accused of bias then. But yeah, you've got George close to Yuki. Hamilton is also within a second of Ocon. But obviously DRS won't be open because it's still very wet.
Of course.
Yeah.
So we won't get DRS open maybe at all.
That's the thing. It's going to be quite difficult to overtake in these conditions just because you don't have that aid.
Struggling with the fronts apparently.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I was going to say.
Because I guess that's the thing with Suzuka is it isn't the greatest for overtaking. I don't think anyone can doubt that. It's not the greatest. It's not terrible. But it's not the greatest for overtaking. It is the challenge. But yeah, if you don't have DRS, we saw that at Singapore. And fair enough. Like when it's wet, there's an argument that it's too dangerous to turn DRS, and I think they took too long with Singapore. But I mean, this is clearly too wet, I think, for DRS right now.
I think conditions, DRS, you can't.
But also, I mean, when you've got, I think it's more dangerous to have DRS when you've got a dry line, because you can still only, like unless you make a move down the straight, like you have to kind of, you've got more of an opportunity to chuck it down the inside.
Yeah,
that's the thing. You're kind of encouraging people to go off the dry line when you open DRS.
But also, these are professional racing drivers. Like,
Do you know what? But these cars have been designed to be able to overtake anyway. So DRS or not, there should be some sort of overtakes, regardless of it being open or not.
Yeah.
Ferrari expecting some spots, apparently.
A little bit more drizzle. Spice it up.
If Mick just ate that a little bit longer.
Just a bit longer.
Fuming. Imagine it dumps it down there to go back onto wets again.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's Ferrari, so who knows?
That's true. That means it's going to actually get
sun's out.
extremely dry.
It immediately dries.
They've got the same weather app as AlphaTauri.
Oh my God. Yeah, that is the thing with AlphaTauri, isn't it? They don't know what they're you know, on well, you don't know on F1 Manager, but you know on F1 Manager.
That's brutal.
I would not have that.
That right there.
You got the weather center out of 5. Theirs is definitely a 1.
Yeah, it's a 1 weather center. It's iPhone weather app. That's it. That's all they got. They ain't got no radars.
Motorola Razor from back in the day.
Refresh.
BlackBerry. Oh,
Russell would have moved around the outside of Sonoda.
On
Lovely
Yuki.
stuff in Sector 1.
Great move, yeah.
The people of Japan have just weeped.
But that puts Yuki out of the points.
Oh,
Yuki, man.
it's one bin it.
Now, don't
Safely,
worry.
but bin it. please.
Latifi's in the top 10, so that means Yuki will get back in the top 10.
What is that?
Okay?
Well, look,
Hey, Latifi might be a wet weather driver, you know?
He might be a wet weather
Is
specialist.
that what it is, yeah?
You saw him in Silverstone.
He's free at Silverstone. Yeah.
He's doing his
literally,
thing.
George got past Yuki on, that's on like the S's. Like, you don't see moves there. You
That's
just have
a
more.
crazy move.
That's a good
Crazy
move.
move.
On that
That
S's,
round
you
the
know?
outside was nuts, by the way.
That is a crazy.
He
Parting line round the outside.
He wasn't waiting.
He believed in that grip, boy.
Wow.
That's a Gran Turismo move. Right?
George was just that was a nice move. He's so. I'm surprised he didn't say crikey again.
Crikey.
Crikey, mate.
What a move that was.
Brilliant. But yeah, look, Latifi's 8 seconds off the back of Alonso.
Okay.
So that's P7, P8.
But he's dropping Norris, though.
Norris,
fair.
is he?
George is right on the back
Because
of
Norris was
Lando.
1 second behind. Nice.
Really?
Nice.
Do you reckon
Yeah.
Lando must have made a mistake.
For him to be 3 seconds
know what's
behind
going
anyway is just like impressive. So like,
Yeah,
Yeah, because like, Russell's
George
right on the back of
is
Norris now. Yeah,
in
Norris.
fact up the inside
dear.
of Lando. And
Yeah,
that's job
Lando
done.
must have made a mistake.
Oh, dear.
Surely.
George is making moves, bruv.
Yeah.
He's making moves, bro. That's exactly what he's doing.
Hamilton needs to make this move on Ocon.
Yeah, he's kind of been within half a second for a good few laps here. But again, it's where is that opportunity to overtake, you know? Because again, Mercedes did set up for wet weather, seemingly.
Yeah.
So their car should be dialed in for these conditions. Guess it's a...
Wow.
Ooh, Leclerc wants to
That's a
box.
risk.
And also,
I think people are actually struggling with the fronts here in Inters in terms of like actual wear, which is quite interesting. 'Cause you never really see that. I feel with Inters and like any wet tires, like.
So 22 seconds pit time
If
lost.
he's just pitting for fresh
Charles wants to pit.
inters.
Yeah.
He's asking how many positions he'll lose. He'd go behind Alonso. If he
Let's
pit
have a look at
I
this.
think he's got to wait a few laps so that he's not behind Alonso and Vettel. If he ends up behind Alonso and Vettel, he'll get stuck there. And Hamilton and Alonso, he has to clear them in my opinion. As we see a replay of George Russell overtaking Lando.
Some nice late braking there.
Yeah, good overtake. Clean.
Yeah, Vettel's starting to lose a bit of pace now.
Yeah.
It's that balance in it. Came in earlier, so gained loads of track position, but now
it.
his tyres are a lot more worn.
Exactly. It's 5 seconds off Hamilton now. So, yeah, no, these inters won't go to the end, it seems.
Mad.
So you think everybody's
what?
going to have to box again?
Fresh
Yeah.
is.
I guess so, yeah. I mean,
Someone slap some dries on. Let's get cooking.
Put the mediums on. Let's see what's going
they've
on.
only got
see what
20
they're
minutes
saying.
to go. So, yeah, it will definitely be fresh inters if. I see.
I'm seeing a dry line's coming.
And I think as things stand, Verstappen won't win the championship.
Yeah.
Even though there's still an 8-point delta between him and Leclerc, but Leclerc currently has fastest lap. 11 seconds between
What?
Verstappen and Leclerc. now.
What is Verstappen cooking right now?
You wait. He's going to get that 20-second gap
20 seconds.
I'm hit for no reason.
and then pit.
Yeah.
Just for vibes.
Well, no, for
Fastest lap vibes.
Yeah,
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 that
yeah,
would
yeah,
be,
yeah.
actually, that'd be pretty
That'd be
sick.
epic.
Yeah.
Final lap, fastest
You know
lap to
what?
win the championship.
You know
at
what?
Suzuka.
You know what this stinks of, bro?
What?
This stinks of Charles come in, pits, and he comes out in P6 and just doesn't go anywhere and back wins the championship.
That would be so dumb.
That's exactly
That
what's
would
gonna
be
happen.
so
I'm telling you
dumb.
right now. He's gets stuck behind Alonso and Hamilton because he wants to pit.
Let me tell you something. I will be drinking that in. The veins, my veins will be hooked. On
What the
such-
Ferrari tis.
Are you what?
Quite the Ferrari.
All just because of them.
Imagine they box him and then the box is like really slow as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
true.
I need all of that.
I hear it. It's happening. So it's like Zandvoort V2.
Is it true they're like all their sort of the people, the mechanics and whatnot behind the scenes, they're all Italian and you have to be Italian to be part of that team?
Well, you don't have to from like a... Obviously, you've had like technical
You
director,
got
like
technical.
Ross Brawn. Like,
Well, yeah, of course, yeah, of
but
course.
like, in terms of the
The
actual...
majority of their talent pool is
I don't think so.
Oi.
yeah.
Hamilton's trying to get a move on Ocon. 130R as well. Like you say,
bit
no place
edgy.
for it, is it?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Man, like,
Wouldn't recommend personally, but you do you, bro.
Yeah,
you have to set him
these
up
are the
for the back straight.
professionals.
Listen, he's a 7-time champion. Who am I to tell him?
you don't know what.
It's kind of a shame because it'd be interesting to know what Lewis's pace would have been relative to the top three if he wasn't stuck behind.
I think he's with Perez. Like with Perez, if not trying to overtake him, if it's not from.
This is kind of like the scenario of him being stuck behind Sainz last week as well.
Yeah.
If we see Lewis in clear air, or we see in different laps.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Ooh,
what I mean.
at a moment there.
Ooh, a moment.
Fair play to Ocon. He's holding it up, man.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oi.
P4 for Esteban Ocon would be
Ocon's
sensational.
like,
but again,
I am the number one driver now.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. I am the number one driver.
Yeah.
he's texting Pierre Gasly tonight. It's like, don't come here and think you can challenge me.
Yeah, Ocon's going to massively step up.
Again, though, it's like how is like Ocon? To be fair, he did it in qualifying, but it's another situation where Ocon is again beating Alonso for points.
Yeah.
When like it feels like Alonso probably should have more points this season,
yes.
but Ocon has slapped it this season. You know, this weekend.
Oh. Ocon's making noises about pitting, and Hamilton wants to make sure they get the undercut.
Okay.
Interesting.
Interesting.
wonder if that's a
16
bluff.
minutes, 32 seconds to
How
go.
many championships between these two? Yeah.
You know?
Alonso and Vettel.
There's a good question. Like 22 seconds time loss for the pit stop.
Yeah.
So are you going to gain 22 seconds of time?
Yeah.
And then also the track position, which is clearly very important here.
That's the thing. That's the concern. Like, are you going to get back through the people that you lose out to?
Also, is Latifi going to hold on for points here? Because I think with 15 minutes to go, it's looking pretty good.
It's looking very good, to be fair.
It's looking good, Brev. Like, I'll be honest. He's the opposite. It's looking good, bro. It is looking good.
Because
George
Lando's
is
5
there.
seconds off of George.
George will overtake him, but yeah, like he's not taking Lando with him. So
I think actually, yeah, Lando's
Lando's just
that
dropping
early
like a
pit
stone,
stop.
man.
Yeah,
yeah.
that early pit stop's really done him over. But I guess you gain at the start, lose now. So
But then there'll be another crossover when they pit again.
I just and also as it stands, he would go ahead of Nick De Vries, Nicholas Latifi.
Imagine.
That's what.
wow,
Imagine.
redemption.
Oh yeah, he hasn't had any points this season.
No.
Latifi.
Yeah.
No.
Although
Nico
obviously,
Hulkenberg is
if
Harry.
it is 25, 50% race distance, then
caveat.
maybe not.
Oh yeah. That would be,
Caveat.
nah, could you actually finish his 10th? And they're like, yeah, no, sorry, 10th doesn't get any points today.
That would. I'm not sure what the breakdown is, so maybe not.
that's peak.
As Zhou comes into the pit lane, so I guess maybe some of the top teams will sort of look
Let
at
me
his
see what
deltas
tires
and
they put him on.
times for
Yeah, Joe
in
might as well
comparison.
pit.
I'm watching
Because if he's
the
getting in something stupid like 2 seconds a lap, they might go, yeah, I'm
He's on
on
it.
line. We might have to pit here.
Inter.
I love the fact that the back markers always do free experiments for the top teams.
Yeah,
Just watch them.
Yeah.
See how he does.
So if it's 25% race distance, only the top 5 get points. If it is
We're getting more than
50%,
25%.
only the top 9 get points.
Latifi's going to go.
Who's ninth?
When he
Who's
finishes the race, he's
10th?
going to drop to his
Well,
knees.
look, Russell's within a second of Latifi now, but then Norris is falling off the back of both.
He would still need to lose out to Lando and someone else as well. So I think he's okay. even if
Lando's
it's 50%.
Lando's going slow at the minute.
Now, look at this. This is a
130R.
Here we go.
130R in the wet, you know. Lewis, is that what you're on?
Lewis is
Lewis
thinking
is
about it,
madman.
but he's not quite. Oh my God, that's so
me.
Days.
Oh,
And that Alpine's kind of quick, you know.
blimey.
Tell you what.
That was audacious, though.
Defending.
To even try it.
To try it, yeah.
Good defensive work from Esteban Ocon to
That's a
hold on
man
to
who's
P4.
fair play.
Yeah.
my
Hamilton's a
goodness.
man who's
Seeing some racing here,
stressing.
guys. After how many hours?
That bum was squeaking, wasn't it?
I'll tell you what.
Absolutely.
That was scary.
Oh,
He's going for it again towards turn 1 in the slipstream. No DRS, obviously, but backs out in the end.
He just
Flip
can't
it,
get past
me.
him. I can't believe it.
Ocon is defending like a lion.
Like a lion, like a lion. Alonso's like, I'll be there in a second. I'm coming. Hold on, just hold him there. Hold him down.
Well, he kind of is.
Tell you what, like, he
Alonso
had
is
him there,
catching
and it's
up.
just.
So it wasn't overspeed,
What
was there?
happened?
As soon as he ducked out the slipstream, it just disappeared.
Yeah, that Alpine straight line speed.
It's crazy,
Good,
man.
Yeah.
Well, again, we saw from quali yesterday that Mercedes was very draggy in a straight line. So,
Wow,
mate,
that got close.
so
Yeah, you have to remember
close,
Ocon
man.
out-qualified these guys. So
Yeah,
thousand.
that's it. Exactly. And I think Mercedes have, quite consistently had better race pace relative to the rest of the field, like relative to qualifying. So their quali's never been.
We're seeing some more midfield runners pitting, by the way. So Gasly and Stroll have just pitted too. So So it'll be interesting to see whether the top runners decide to as well. Is it worth it?
There's still a lot.
Did Stroll
of
pit after Joe?
Yeah, I think Stroll, Joe, and Gasly have pitted.
Yeah, so Joe pitted first, then Stroll and Gasly have just pitted just now.
And Joe.
Stroll's got Lewis really close to the back of Esteban Ocon there.
Lewis is pushing
Again,
into
into
Ocon down the
130R.
straight.
Here we go.
Jurgen Klopp
Same
press,
again.
boy.
We go again, 130R.
Same defending position.
Yeah, you can eat my sparks, boy.
Yeah, Ocon kicking up.
Ocon, no, Ocon's defended very well.
He's very well.
Ocon's quite literally cooking that ground.
Do you know what? It's tight. The circuit is tighter than I thought.
Yeah, it
I'm
is very
surprised at how
tight in
tight it
some
is.
places.
Bigger, right?
Yeah. And
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, the cars are bigger. That's a good point.
Yeah.
No, you can't make the move. You can't make the move.
Can't do it.
In all of this, by the way, George Russell has overtaken Goat Tiffy.
Oh yeah,
Has he?
Latifi 9.
So, Latifi's ninth, but he's still getting points. even with
It's still
50%
looking good,
race.
bruv.
It's still looking good, bruv. So he's going to mess it up. I know he is. I know for facts he is.
Yeah, well, where's Lewis going to get the move done? You know, because he just doesn't seem to have the straight line speed to get the move done
He has to wait on a mistake.
down
Yeah, that's the
130.
thing. He's only getting the overspeed.
George, is
that
George
plays
doing
the
it
car.
again?
Oh, don't take.
He's doing
Come
it
on,
again.
man.
He's taking the
George,
piss.
mate, just tell Lewis to try it there because clearly that Mercedes has pace
That's
around
it.
those S's. Because again, they've set it up for a high downforce relative
Of course.
wet track. So
Man said I'm doing
Car's
it again.
dry there for Mercedes. Like
Mm.
they've just got dry pace.
yeah,
Oh, Sonoda's
Sonoda's
pitted.
pitting.
One Zhou fastest lap of the race. So there is pace
Okay.
coming in, like serious
Oh.
pace coming
It's,
in.
Hello.
everybody's going to pit now.
Fastest lap. man.
I still...
Or some of them are going to stay out. I think Verstappen could
It's
stay
going
out.
to take someone like Alonso or Vettel to pit before some of the top runners do. Because there's not an immediate threat in it. Or like Perez.
Yeah.
Then you'll start seeing mad dominoes like falling. You'll see everyone coming in. And as long as it's people outside the top 10, no one's going to
Perez
towards the top. Because they're not going to come back and challenge them.
Perez is flying up onto the back of LeClerc as well.
Good.
Leclerc's now
He is actually. Leclerc's dropped off
16 seconds
massively.
behind Verstappen. My God.
Sergio, you know
I
what
think
time
people
it
need to
is.
take note of that because he's flying.
Sergio, you know what time it is. I'll say
Perez radio, are you sleeping?
Checking short Jakin and making sure his race engine is
Like,
still
hey,
alive.
what is my 1-2 coming to fruition?
Hey, look.
Maybe.
We said it.
Two of us.
We said it. That Red Bull
Okay.
pace.
No science. A Red Bull
Pretty
1-2. Come
scary.
on. That's what I'm after.
Oh, I want Hamilton P5 because I put him there as well.
We need
Let's
that.
just stay, Lewis.
Thing is, I want Ocon to keep that place.
Hamilton
as
Yeah,
well.
man, definitely. Big points.
Can't remember where I put Hamilton.
But again, it must be especially having a good result when there's going to be less points given.
Yeah. it's a
Must be
nightmare,
kind of
innit?
frustrating.
Yeah, it must be annoying.
I know
10
it's all
minutes to
relative, but still,
go.
though. There we go. Yeah, so 10 minutes to go, everyone. 10 minutes to go. It's gonna
Lu-
go the
is Lewis gonna
full
make this move?
time. What time is it now? It's 5 to 9
5 to 9.
on a Sunday morning.
Bloody hell. I'm still firmly
We've been
asleep.
in for ages.
Yeah, mate.
You know what I'm saying?
I've been up like 5.5 hours at least.
Comfortable.
So we think that 27 laps should make it 50% race distance.
Okay.
Right.
And we've had 22.
I think we could get 5 more.
I think we can get, yeah. Oh, hello. That's
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
For Lewis Hamilton.
Is he going to close the door again?
Yeah, it's the run down to Spoon. It's still going to be quite hard to overtake here.
This Hamilton Ocon battle is keeping the race interesting.
Keeping it alive, yeah.
It is.
1,000.
No, it is.
But again,
Fair play, Ocon.
if you've not got the straight line speed, it's hard to get. Like, it's all well and good having good lap time with high downforce, but look how much chonkier the rear wing is on that Mercedes compared to the Alpine.
Yeah.
You know?
He's getting out the slipstream and just immediately like going backwards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, still within half a second. Any other? I'm just looking through the field. Bottas is within a second of Magnussen. Mick Schumacher falls behind Lance Stroll, and now Perez is within a second of Charles Leclerc now. So
Sergi, come on.
again, no DRS.
Sergio Perez is
Come
there.
on.
He's on his neck.
He's there.
He's
ready.
on his
He's
neck.
primed.
All right, Hamilton, is he going to do it?
Oh,
He can't. He ain't got the straight line speed. Can't do it.
As soon as that spray hits, bro, he's not on it. Like,
If he had DRS, yeah, that would. He can make that
Alonso
move.
Yeah.
is pitting, and I believe he's pitting for a slick tyre.
It
oh,
literally can't. It surely can't be.
There's no way.
Oh no, it's on
like,
It's in, yeah, I was going to say that's
There's no way.
I mean,
mad.
Of any driver who would, I mean,
would.
To be
Alonso
fair, yeah.
would.
It
give
seems
go.
a bit late to make that decision. I feel like he needed to do that 5 minutes ago.
Maybe there was a gap for him to come out in.
Yeah,
because he's
but
only gone down to P10.
He's in
got to gain
between
20
the McLarens now.
He's going to have to gain 22 seconds in 7.5 minutes. I don't know if he's got the capacity for that.
And I guess it's like once the timer hits 0, then it's,
You've got another lap, I
There's
guess.
You've got
another
one more
lap,
lap,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So he's probably still got like 6 laps or something.
So we're going to be really close to 50% race distance. So it'd been, yeah.
I think we'll hit it. I think we'll hit 50.
He's on the back of him, man.
Here we go. Perez is.
Sergio Perez has arrived on the scene. Verstappen's going to have a free pit stop soon, you know.
I'm telling you.
This time gap is insane.
Because currently Zhou Guanyu has got the fastest lap in P17.
That can't run if you're Max.
Max, you got to pick, man.
That can't run, can
Put
it?
softs on. Do it
That's
for the
what I mean.
vibes.
If Perez can
the
like
vibes.
annoy Leclerc, open that gap up a bit, then free pit stop for Max, pit for
Yeah.
new Inters
Yeah.
to win the
Flat,
championship. Potentially.
But if this is 50%,
I think the gap is the same.
Okay.
therefore, if Max gets fastest lap, we are crowning him
I believe so, yeah.
2-time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy smokes! Come on.
I believe. Someone check that.
Which
That's
would
all right.
which would be pretty vibes. That would be a vibes way of doing it.
Oh,
Red Bull 1-2.
this would
in
be
Japan.
the big. Oh, in Japan.
And then Honda just comes out. We're back. They come out the back. We were never gone. We just waiting for a 1-2.
It was delivery off the AlphaTauri.
It was actually Honda the whole time.
That would be the sickest reveal ever.
was us the
That would
whole
be
time.
great.
It was me all along. Thing is, yeah. What about like? Where's their
No such thing
livery?
as Red Bull Power.
Where's that? Yeah, like, first of all, power trains. What name is that? I don't, I'm not-
Power trains.
I don't, yeah,
This is
but where's that special livery? You know what I mean? I want that Japanese flag.
yeah,
or something.
that's
where,
fire,
where
man.
was that? Like,
Yeah, the
Yeah,
version
yeah.
of the white livery that they had.
Oh, lovely.
They were meant to have for Japan last year, weren't they? But
Yeah,
What did they use it in?
Turkey, wasn't it? I think.
Turks. Okay.
Yeah, just to clarify, so if Sergio overtakes Charles here, then Max would need fastest lap to win the championship.
Okay.
Oh, in
So,
my veins.
Sergio has it in his hands here.
Alonso's got past Latifi.
Alonso got past Latifi and Norris quick.
Quick.
Real quick.
But he has now got 11 seconds back up to George Russell. That's a lot.
It's a lot, but big tyre advantage. So
He has gained 2 positions already, though, because he was behind Lando as well when he came out.
Yeah.
So the Inters are brilliant, fresh out. Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting pace. It's just that I feel like it's too late.
Running out of time,
You had to make the decision like 10 minutes ago. if you
Too
wanted
late
to.
for what? What position are we saying? What was realistic?
He's
for him?
aiming for P6. Right?
Well, he was aiming to overtake Vettel with some faster, like some fresher rubber, but he's not getting back up to the. He's got 15 seconds still to get
I
Vettel.
guess it
I don't
depends
know.
how many laps you get that performance for as well. If you only get that performance for like 6 laps, then
Yeah. I have a
By the time
feeling
you're
though.
right. You're in the same situation again.
Was it Vettel was the first one to switch, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
his
have, a
tires
feeling,
drop
I
off.
have a feeling those tires are going to drop.
To be fair, they are going to be
You know,
cooked
okay, we've got
by
5
the end of
minutes.
the race.
I think literally minute to go. Them tires are going to drop.
Yeah.
And Alonso
Fairness,
might be
that is
onto
true.
something.
Perez.
It's already
again,
down to 9 and a half.
He cut that by 2 seconds in one lap.
Whilst we were talking about that,
Alonso's
second
crazy.
and a half. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that timing delta between Hamilton and Ocon just got really short.
Yeah.
It's like 0.1 at.
Perez has to get this down the straight, man.
Come on, Perez. Get him.
Come
Get this horse.
on, get this up.
Get this
Get
the
horse.
prancing horse. I mean,
prancing-
you know,
it's
you
not
know what I mean.
prancing, is it?
I mean,
It's not
prancing,
It's leisurely strolling.
All the predictions.
you know.
Come on.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
This would be jokes.
This is an incredibly impressive drive from Max Verstappen.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
The fact,
putting it
the
out
fact that he's
there.
absolutely checked out. Is
22
this
seconds.
smooth, he's
ahead
gonna
of
make
Charles
Go,
Leclerc
come on.
now.
Oh,
And clearly there's pace in that Red Bull, don't get me wrong.
He's got to take him on the
Perez
straight.
is-
obviously.
It's close right.
I think he'll do him. There's 4 minutes to go. I think he'll do him, unless Perez's tires clock out. But he's the
Just do the George Russell move.
tire whisperer, right?
What in the?
Yeah, he's done it.
Oh,
he's
look
done
at
it
this.
now. He's done it twice now.
You
That's
never-
clearly-
you never see
that's
overtake.
clearly-
there has to be speed there. So just try it.
Yeah.
But again, there's so much downforce on that Red Bull. That's the thing.
Proper
They can make
intense
the
in
most of
that
it.
Red Bull garage.
You know,
Proper intense.
they're thinking if we get this tire, I'm on a lap.
Notice how little. Notice how little we're talking about porpoising now as well. By the way,
Oh yeah.
we're not really seeing the cars bounce at all now, which is great.
That's all. I think they sorted it out.
Well, I think McLaren were worried about Lando at Singapore. I seem to remember reading an article that they were a bit concerned.
It's weird because McLaren didn't have porpoising for
Look, those are the
a long
points.
time.
Yeah, that's wrong. I don't know why they're showing that because that's the full points.
Yeah, they're
Like,
showing the full points, which is a bit
Okay.
odd.
Don't know what that's.
Does it mean that we're getting 4 points? Is it 51% this race? And we're getting the full points?
It's a giveaway, guys. It's a giveaway. You waited all this time. I'll give fuel points. Yeah.
And yeah, Joe's still got fastest lap as well. So
Hey, why has he still got the fastest lap? Let's move that on.
Other guys have pitted as well. I just think Alonso would get a fastest lap right now.
Yeah,
I'm surprised Alonso hasn't taken. He's that 5 seconds off.
How has he done this?
That tight advantage. I was
That's
wrong.
what I mean.
Fair. I'll allow it. I mean, he's still 10 seconds off Seb. That's still a lot. But
Max is asking about boxing.
Hello.
Sonoda's making moves as well.
He's got 23 seconds on him.
Verstappen knows he's got a
He's
huge
got
gap.
it.
He's got
got
23
free
second
pit
gap.
He's got 23 second. He's got a 23 second gap.
I think he should pit end of this lap. Not even gonna lie. Just.
Well, so Red Bull said not at this moment. So I think maybe they want to
last lap.
They
Come on,
want
Perez.
Perez to like hassle Leclerc,
They want
to
him
like hold him up a bit.
That move ain't working. He's done it like 3 times.
It's just not happening, is it? It's not happening.
Just need to stay on the racing line and close that gap and try to get him on the straight.
McLaren.
I think it's
P10.
worth
Jeez.
the risk of just going for fastest lap.
Yeah,
boxing him.
man.
Like, why not? Like, I don't think.
But he doesn't win it at this stage, though, does he? Because Leclerc's second.
Nah, but
But you have to just hope for Perez, innit?
Fair. I need Perez to be passing. That's what I need. It's all I need.
Hamilton's still behind Ocon.
Alonso 3 seconds.
Yo.
Alonso 3 seconds to Russell. Yeah,
Alonso's going crazy right now.
he is.
He's looking at the clock. He's like
1 minute
1:41.
40.
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
looking down at his watch like, yo, I've got to
And the
move.
thing is, him and Russell will be looking at Vettel, man. That's what they're going to be doing. Oh,
I think he'll get Russell, maybe not.
I think he could get Russell. Obviously, the thing is, the Mercedes is a bit quicker, but like if he's going that much faster, than
Norris within a second of Latifi.
Come on,
no.
get Latifi out of it.
for a Norris point, yeah, get him out of here.
Because again, if it is 50%
Are
distance,
you mad?
No,
I
no
believe
story.
only the top 9 get points.
Only the top 9 gets points.
I think so.
outside.
If it's 50% distance.
Latifi's going to drop to his knees when he ends the race. P10,
He's gonna be on TV radio like P10, baby,
Imagine.
P10. They'll tell him like, yo, I'm
Still
sick of
behind
it.
Nick de Vries, mate.
Sorry,
That's too funny.
God, that would be awful.
You just leave. You just walk away from there.
go there and then.
50 seconds to go.
50 seconds. I like this.
So
That time.
where's Max
That time
on
went
track?
fast, by the way. I did not clock.
Yeah, man.
Alonso 1.8 seconds. behind George.
1.8.
Time flies when you
I
sleep,
just-
deprived. I can't even speak. that was like.
I don't know what day it is. I know it should
Sleep
be a Sunday.
They're literally lost right now.
Come on, Checo, man.
Check
Come
on,
on,
man. Learn from your mistakes. Don't knock that corner, man.
Just launch it, Sergio, mate. Honestly, man.
Late break, this guy, man.
Yeah. Stop whispering the tires. Start shouting, bro.
Yeah.
It's time to burn him out.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So Joe still has fastest lap.
Alonso 1.4.
Max leading. Alonso, yeah.
1.2.
Alonso 1 point.
Fernando is a different guy, man. He's a different guy.
He knows he's only got 1 lap. That's why.
1 lap is all
That's
it
the thing, yeah.
takes.
1 lap is all it takes.
The thing is,
We are.
even if he just finished 7th again, it's like, well, I had fun. I overtook him.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
exactly.
Like he's had a
Round Suzuka in the rain.
I do it for the vibes.
Iconic.
yeah.
So what? 1 lap after this, or
Right.
it's done?
Well, it depends. Did Verstappen cross the line
Yeah.
before it went to
I
zero?
assume so. Yeah, because it's 20.
He's so far ahead.
like 20
I think he
seconds.
crossed the line.
We haven't seen
Oh no, we're on
Verstappen.
the
This is
final
the
lap.
final
This
lap.
is it.
We
Final
haven't
lap.
seen Verstappen this whole race.
No, this is the last lap.
The last lap.
The last lap.
Here we go.
Badum-sh.
Move so they can see the sun. No, the other way. There you go. That.
Hey, yo, no, real talk. We've not seen
just moved
Verstappen this whole race. That's a good shout.
Yeah. That's impressive.
Yeah, I mean,
He was gone clear.
That's 3 Japanese
Unreal
races in
drive.
a row where the guy's just checked out.
Yeah.
The winner is just gone.
Norris
Hamilton.
0.6. Alonso 0.079 to
He's in
Russell.
the process of overtaking him.
He's
Shut up.
overtaking right now.
Can we see it?
Can we use
milliseconds?
there we go.
But cameraman, can we?
you know
get
what
the
I'm
drop, please?
saying?
Yeah,
Alonso gets
cheers for
Russell.
that, director.
Yeah,
Appreciate
because
that.
Perez ain't doing nothing but this guy.
Yeah, why are we still seeing him?
still
man?
sitting there.
Perez
like-
ain't making this move, man.
Unless I launch it.
Could he
Launch
get
it
Vettel?
right now into the hairpin. Boom.
Rocket
Do that.
launcher.
Oh,
Hey, you know what? That's the motive. For instead.
on the inside.
So close to contact.
So close.
Oh
He's gonna have
my
a run now
God.
down into Spoon.
Mate, Alonso's only 1.2 off of Vettel as well.
Oh, he's actually gonna overtake him. This is gonna be genius from
Please,
Alpine.
please.
Perez.
Oh, Sergio Perez.
Man, could you imagine last lap in the championship? Well, actually, I mean, I can. It was last season. But,
I was going to say. I can imagine.
yeah, no,
We've seen that.
yeah. Seen this one before.
He is.
Oh,
He's won
now
it.
we've seen him.
Max Verstappen doesn't realise.
Verstappen.
He doesn't know he's won. He's going into turn one.
He's still
as if-
going.
He's
Can I
still
do fastest lap?
full pelting.
Max is still going.
Yeah, Max doesn't know he's won the Grand
broadcaster
Prix.
hasn't got a Scooby what's
But
going
we-
on.
oh, wait, where's
Whoa,
Charles?
wait, no. Where's Charles?
No, you can't
no,
do
no,
that,
Charles.
Show it straight. He went across the street.
no, you can't do that, Charles.
You can't squeezed him. Oh,
He's losing it. That is a ball.
He has to
That
lose
is a
that.
bit naughty.
That's naughty and it's a
That is a
bottle.
bit
Listen,
naughty.
he has to lose that place.
You got to lose
He
that
has
place.
to lose that place.
No,
Gained
man,
an
not
advantage.
in the steward's room again. I
That's
can't
a bit
bother.
naughty. That from
Steward
Leclerc.
settings. Listen, he needs to lose that place.
So into the final
The finals.
chicane, Charles Leclerc goes straight on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cash money
He
penalty.
squeezed
So then
him.
Perez gets a run going down to the final straight. Perez is on the outside, and Leclerc just moved.
Man, it's fair game in my opinion.
Yeah, no,
you got to play.
In terms of defending, but can he keep that position
Yeah,
for going
that's
off
what
the track?
it is.
He can't.
He's gained an advantage.
He's gained an advantage.
Yeah,
Come
you know
on,
what I mean? That's
a
the
slow
problem.
corner, man.
It's not the block.
Ladies.
It's going across the street.
And also, that ruined mine and Pete's predictions.
yeah.
Well,
Most importantly.
listen, I don't think this is over. This is not over.
You don't have fastest lap.
Well, look, there's no
He's not
fastest
gonna win
lap.
the time.
Listen,
Yeah,
if
so
we,
it doesn't matter.
So
anyway
the
for
championship is not won today,
But maybe
Confirmed.
Leclerc loses second place in the championship.
Yeah.
right now.
but maybe Leclerc.
Unless they are giving out full points, but I don't think they are. They would have said by now. So
How can you do that on the last corner? You've been defending him how long, Leclerc?
Our points do go all the way down to 10th. So Latifi
okay.
got points.
oh, well done, Latifi.
Yes.
Oh, Norris snuck in there as well.
Gave him a
What
hard
a
time.
stellar career by Latifi.
Oh,
Yeah. Norris snuck in. Well done.
Well
boys.
done,
You happy with that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll take that. Oh, bite your hand.
I'm leaving with something.
yeah. I believe it was something.
I'm leaving with something.
Ocon P4. Great job from Esteban.
Good day for
Holding off
Alpine.
Lewis.
Fantastic.
Great day for Alpine.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the gap between McLaren and Alpine in the championship? It was quite big though. Wasn't
4
it?
points.
It was 4
Was
points.
it 4?
Yeah, it was
We
4.
were,
Oh, so Alpine,
McLaren winning by
we
4.
were ahead by
Right.
4 from last week.
Yeah.
But now
But
they've
now
gone
this
back.
is back in Alpine's favour.
It is
Now we
indeed.
wait for engines to blow up
That's it.
and penalties.
All we
you
could do is
hope
wait for their
for.
engines to blow,
Yeah.
Oh,
which isn't out of the
Max
question.
Verstappen.
I'm exhausted. Right, shall we have a look at our predictions then?
Yeah.
Reflect on who did what, because I mean, look, whether or not Leclerc holds on. Do we think Leclerc will hold on to?
No.
I don't think so.
Listen, 2 Ferrari drivers flopping their own races. I am here for it. Because science, technically, he flopped his own race, right?
It's technically
Yeah.
true.
And Charles, what? He wants to bin it on the last corner after you've been holding it down.
I think you gain an advantage if you cut corner like that. If it was the
That's
other way
the
around,
thing,
everybody
yeah.
would be saying, "No, Perez, you got to get a, you got to
It's
lose that
tough to win
position."
it because like you
Cut the
know,
corner and hold on to the position. If there's a gravel
Last
trap,
corner as
if
well.
there's a gravel trap there,
He's sitting.
Leclerc's race is over.
Exactly.
it's tough. What do we think?
That
Chat?
would be punishment for Britain.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get a poll
We'll
up.
get a poll up. Do you think Leclerc's keeping P2?
Should Leclerc exactly. Should Leclerc lose that position? I don't think it.
There we go.
Here we go.
Leaving the track gaining an advantage. Yeah, so it's not so much for the squeeze.
No.
It's more for the fact that he.
Gain an advantage.
Yeah, the squeeze is fair game.
Squeeze is
because
fair
he's
game.
fully ahead. Like,
Yeah, as long as he's fully ahead.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
there's a little bit of like Perez that's alongside him.
Because you
calm,
can
but, like,
invite someone somewhere and then close
the
it.
door.
Yeah, that's-
You're
that's
entitled
calm.
to do that.
You
yeah.
can do that. That's
The problem is that's the slowest corner on the track.
Well,
You gain an advantage.
I think the winner is.
Ooh, we've got a tie.
It's
Me
a
and Mo.
joint.
draw.
Come on,
Let's go, brother. Let's go.
Hang on, guys. Yeah,
Peter.
because
It does depend.
You
though.
had a stinker.
listen, it looks like a stinker right now, but if we get this situation changed, Sergio
True.
could be P2
And you've got
and
three.
Charles.
And then
I'm
you
down
got
to
three.
one. I'm down
Yeah,
to
man.
one again.
Look, if they swap that around, then
they swap it around-
I'll win.
That's what I'm saying. Retrospect.
Yeah, you do win. Yeah, you have 4.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
get 4 if they swap it around.
I'll have a.
You'll be
Come on, the stewards, come down after, all right? All right? It's not fair game, all right?
Yeah,
He knows.
that's
You need the dub.
He knows it.
I don't.
Disgusting.
I mean, look, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. What do we think of that then? I mean, we've been here a long time.
It's been a long time. We got some racing, man.
We've
At
got
the
some
end of
racing,
the day,
which
like,
we thought at one stage we wouldn't get anything.
I was adamant that it wasn't going to happen.
The fact that we've got 40 minutes of actual green flag racing was, I think, impressive.
Plus,
sure.
plus
Given
a
what we
crazy,
were at
plus a
one
crazy first lap as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's have a look at the poll results. Should Leclerc lose P2?
Wow.
76%
Wow.
say yes.
You guys are harsh.
Flipping
Yeah,
there.
it's McLaren fans in the building. That's what that is. That's what that is. I'm telling you.
It's officially under investigation,
You
by
know?
the way, from the FIA. So
Yeah.
let's see how that develops. But
It is
Loving
being
it, loving it.
they're having a butcher's at it, but,
Investigator.
Oh,
I wonder what the championship table looks like right now.
Yeah, we'll get the graphics ready when they are ready.
I wonder what the points are. What the points are for next week's race.
Yeah, what we thinking out of 10? Chat as well. Let us know in the live chat what you think of this race out of 10 in terms of, because it's quite a difficult one to analyse, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is. I'm struggling.
I don't think this one will be live long in the memory. I think that's one way.
Had Max won the title, yes, it would have been like something.
Fair.
But 5 second.
5 second time penalty for Leclerc leaving the track and gaining an advantage.
Wow, wrapped up
So-
pretty quick.
Where was it?
Fair enough.
There you go.
I mean, good for them. Pete.
Done for you. And your
Done for
predictions.
you then. There you go.
We'll get those updated predictions up in a little bit.
Suey.
That's that Carlos Sainz post-race podium, yeah?
2 out of 10 for wasting my time at 3 a.m. I actually hear that. I hear that.
I hear that.
You know what? It's a 4. No, it's a 5, honestly, if it's normal daytime. Well, I had to get a 4.
Yeah.
So it's a 3 max.
Yeah, I was gonna give it like a 3.5, 4.
Yeah.
It won't live long in the memory. Well, I wonder if Leclerc knows he's got a 5 second penalty.
Do you know what? I'll go. I'm like a 5.5 because, like, at the end of the day, we did get some like tricky moments in the when we actually had racing. It was actually good.
There was a few scraps.
There was nothing wrong with the actual racing itself.
Yeah, I mean,
It
like,
was
Oscar
just-
Hamilton was like exciting.
we did sit for 45 minutes having nothing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go with a 5.
But yeah, that's confirmed. So Leclerc will lose that P2 again. Does he know?
So it's
gonna
an
tell
check
him?
a second. Yeah.
So
What, they've already confirmed it already.
oh, Johnny Herbert on the comms.
Sergio.
Johnny Herbert's like, your P2. Sergio's like, huh? Pardon?
I hope he knows. I hope they all know. Surely, but it did just
The podium has to be the right way, at least.
Yeah.
it did just pop up at the top, like midway through the match. I
Yeah.
wonder if that's just someone like just gone AWOL on the graphics.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 second penalty. Send it.
go on,
You
look
get
at
a fast everybody. You get everybody. Everybody gets
There you
it.
go. There's the updated predictions.
Oh my
First to last, bro. It's a hard life. It's tough out here, man. What's going on?
Apparently, I had a stinker. Wait
How
a
the
minute. Wait just a damn
turntables.
minute.
Yo.
Yeah.
How the turntables,
You know what, yo?
boys.
If only Max got fastest lap, this would be it.
That's the thing. Yeah, a couple of people say in the chat that Max is now champion.
They've just been told on the interviews about the penalty.
Okay.
So what does that mean? Why is he smiling so much? What's going on?
You are the world
Wait.
champion.
So has he won the championship?
Oh, he is.
What?
Oh,
No way!
that's it.
Yo.
That's crazy!
Oh my days.
Max is champion.
Oh my god! Look,
There's too much to talk about.
they cut the interview. Go to the
Yeah, run off, bro. Run off.
There's
Do your
too
thing.
much
Do your thing.
to
They're
discuss.
they're midway through, Johnny Herbert doing the interviews with the drivers, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, hang on, 5 second penalty Leclerc, Max wins the championship.
And now they're interviewing Charles. That's harsh.
That is harsh.
so big, man.
With Max's like celebratory graphics
even I will
behind
agree.
him.
That is harsh.
That's
pain
harsh,
in the
man.
ass,
At least
man.
go back to Sergio. Do you know what I mean?
But hang on. Did Ferrari hand the title to Max Verstappen? Can I just ask that question?
Oh, that happened a long time ago.
Did we? No. Today. We're talking about Sainz going out. We're talking about what Charles just did.
Yeah,
Have
but-
they both single-handedly handed this thing over?
I mean, they've
Perez
done that
started-
all season. They've done that all
no,
season.
I guess you could say that technically.
Perez
It's the running theme. I'll say.
Leclerc made
Perez started P4.
Leclerc could have just driven comfortably in that final corner. I don't know if he locked the brake or
Yeah.
we couldn't see.
What I would say is that is probably the most characteristic and perfect way that Ferrari could have lost the championship.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
On the last
On the last corner, a completely unforced error.
The Keystone
Wait, he's
Cops.
not world champion. They miscalculated. These are the guys. Need to
No,
calm
this
down.
is a howler.
They need to calm
This
down.
is a stinker.
You can't say they put the graphic up.
No, Max is champion.
And then chat, don't do that.
But the truth is, though,
I thought he needed fastest lap, but it depends how many points they're giving out. It's the shit
what's
show.
the, what's
If he
the
got- if he
graph?
got-
I'm
25.
confused, man.
If he got 25, that's a bit controversial.
Did they give 25 points for this race?
If they did, that's
I didn't think it was because at the start of the race they were like, yeah, if you get 50% in, 50% between 50 and 75%, when you win you get 19 points.
Okay.
Rather than 25.
50% winner gets 13 points.
I don't know what's
Second
happening
gets-
here.
Nobody knows what's going on.
delirious.
I'll tell you.
Lack of sleep.
FIA don't get Michael Massey back.
don't
Look, she's
know.
ringing Michael Massey right now.
Listen, Massey needs to.
If
get
you
back in this
came
game.
here,
I'm not gonna lie.
if you came to the last lap live for knowledge,
Yeah.
quality insight, facts, you're at the wrong place.
You
right?
came wrong. You came to the wrong place
Breaking
anyway.
news.
If you're here for vibes,
Breaking news.
We are your guys.
Breaking news.
Now,
What? Breaking news.
But somehow the maths has checked out and Max has won the 2022 F1 World Championship. The only thing that needs to happen now is for tomorrow to come and they'll take away his first one, which would actually be jokes.
Oh my God.
That'd be hilarious. Okay, no, so explain it to me. Wait there.
I'm joking, of course.
The maths is not mathing. If before this race we said Max has to win the race and get fastest lap, he's champion. He's won the race and hasn't got fastest lap. How is he champion?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah,
the maths is not mathing. Unless it's because
I think it's because Leclerc's P3.
Okay.
We need an abacus, guys.
Because Max needed more points relative to Leclerc than he needed relative to Perez. Because Perez was 2 points ahead of Leclerc before this race, I think.
Yeah, because you're right.
Okay.
Yeah, fair
No,
enough.
sorry, Leclerc was 2 points ahead of Perez. Yeah. I don't even know.
What a weird way to win a championship.
I don't know. It is a very once again, it's another weird way to win a championship.
another weird
way.
Both of his championships have been in very unusual circumstances, but he is now officially a two-time F1 world champion, Max Verstappen. And I mean, certainly, we're talking about this year in isolation. As much as Ferrari have made a lot of mistakes along the way, I think even without them, I think Max is still has shown him and that Red Bull combination have just been insane this year. Not untouchable, but insane.
When you think about Australia and where they were, they look like he was dead in the
40
water.
points.
It was
40 points behind.
And the fact that he's winning early now, the championship, you could see how much has changed over time.
Yeah.
And he's putting some stellar drives over the season.
Yeah.
And
just by the way, people on Twitter,
Big up
all the
Generous Dave,
journalists
by the way.
are still saying they're a bit baffed. Like journalists at the track are like, what do you mean? Like mathematically, he shouldn't have actually. We're not actually sure whether it's like legit or not.
Matt saying
This is honestly.
The thing is, he's going to win the championship. I don't care.
This is banter sometimes.
But is Red Bull in charge of these
stupid.
graphics right now?
Say again?
Is Christian Horner in charge of these graphics right now? Is he just saying
Tell you
Helmut
what.
Marko's just
Helmut
in
Marko's
there.
just a packed sky?
And to be
just
fair,
put it
have
up.
they ever done it like this where they've got that sort of Sky Sports banner? I've never seen that before.
Yeah, man, they brought that out.
Have they?
They've got Jim White coming out.
No, as in on Sky F1 though. Like
So-
we're on F1 channel. So
Yeah,
what-
sorry. Yeah, so the confusion isn't
are
to do
here.
with the fact that Charles Leclerc. We're not talking. We know Charles Leclerc came third. That's fine. It's the fact that they don't know whether they're giving out 50% or 75% points.
Our production team has put together graphics for what should be the Drivers' Championship.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
Check them out,
we
Max.
think.
We think he has a 113
this is
point
what-
lead and there's 112 points left to go. That's allegedly what it's meant to be.
But even then, look, Sergio's only 111 points behind Max.
Listen, just sack it all off,
111
lads.
points. How many
Just-
races left? 5?
No, let's just null and void the championship.
This is
Four
what we
races.
think the championship is.
I mean,
The last lap maths. Official.
can we just take a minute right
honestly,
there?
man.
You see our boy Lando, right?
Lando.
Above both Alpines. My guy, 100 points. 101 points, right?
101.
101.
And Latifi
Is he
got
sitting
a
like
point.
in the front? Is Max
bro,
sitting in the front right
he's
now?
sitting-
What kind of seat is this?
and he's sitting on fur.
Crofty's just explained it because it was red flagged and got going again. 100% points are dished out. They only minimize it. They only do like 50% points if you get 50% of the way in and then never get going again.
Oh, and they
So
just
the
end
fact
the
that
race.
we got going again means that they give out 100% points.
Okay.
That makes sense. That's calm then. I mean, it doesn't make sense, but
Yeah,
that's
I mean, it's-
why they're giving out 100% points.
Because
That means that Verstappen's on the
Spa
championship.
didn't finish.
Yeah,
Hey,
so they get out.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's getting dark in Japan, boy. I tell you what.
Surely
It
it
is
would make
getting dark.
more sense for it to just be how many laps do you actually get done?
Why
Whether
were they
you
putting up
finish it or
percentage
not.
graphs then?
Yeah, I don't know. I
It's
think
confusing
they
us.
did that for
Okay.
if
The race
the
stops
race
again.
never got started again.
So now we've got an updated Drivers' Championship graphic.
The update-
The first
the
one
update.
was wrong. This one is now right.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
Yeah, okay. So Max wins the championship with it because he's got a 113 point lead.
Look at Georgie boy.
George.
above Carlos.
207 above Carlos now. Big points lost for Carlos Sainz. And any other big movers, Seb?
Latifi.
Seb, good points on the board.
The biggest mover is going
Latifi.
Latifi, mate.
2-point
Latifi.
Latifi.
Albon, watch your back.
I wasn't paying attention. So on that graphic, we had De Vries there, before, innit? In 20th.
Yeah, so because
Mad.
there's 22 drivers, isn't there? Because you got Hulkenberg and De Vries as well.
Man,
But they're-
if Latifi had finished 21st in a 20-driver championship, that would have been
Williams, you need to reconsider.
Yeah. Williams, don't do it just yet.
Should we look at constructors as well? See where McLaren are sitting. Oh, boys, 13 points behind Alpine now.
Yeah, that's
13.
struggle
Listen,
town, but it's not impossible. With what? How many races left? Four.
Four
races
races
left to
All
go.
Three races.
All we need is just that
Is it? No,
Alpine to
we've
blow.
got two. We've got Mexico,
Austin,
Austin,
yeah.
Interlagos.
Yeah, 2 pairs.
And Abu Dhabi.
Two pairs, yeah.
We all knew from the jump we needed the Alpine to blow up in order for us to finish 4th. So service is normal.
It could still happen.
Yeah, business as
We
usual.
have to wait. That's
Got to wait out.
Oh, there you go. Max Verstappen.
Maximum. There he is.
Champion of the world.
Maximum Max.
maximum Verstappen, maximum points.
Maximum Verstappen.
Wins the 2022 F1
believe
World
it.
Championship.
I
It's going to
can't
be...
Oh man, I'd still be like, can we do it again? Like, it just wasn't a good announcement. Like, no hate.
Yeah,
like,
no, you're right.
Not
Yeah,
even
to
like,
find
on a
out
max
in that
level.
way, there wasn't...
If I was him, I'd just be like, can we just? Do you mind if we just redo
Yeah,
the whole
yeah,
lap?
yeah,
like,
yeah.
just-
It's because they never really said, like, oh, if Charles doesn't finish second and Max wins, he wins the title. We didn't really get that clear.
You would
All we
think-
got was the maximum and fastest lap.
You would think they would do the maths when Perez was chasing Leclerc.
They should have showed it.
They should have known.
They should have
like,
showed
okay,
it. They should have done live standings.
If he goes in
Oh,
front
yeah.
of Leclerc, he's the champion.
I'm interested to look at Twitter later and see if the conspiracy theories are rife, because of course...
Oh, they will be right.
Where is the foil?
They will be
Make
all
it
over
happen.
it. You know?
We should get some last lap, like, tinfoil hats
Conspiracy
made,
theory.
you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
With the logo and everything.
That would be great merch.
That would be sick,
Great
actually.
match.
That would be great merch. But yeah, Max Verstappen, 2-time world champion.
times.
Done.
Till tomorrow, then maybe
He might be one again. Yeah.
Maybe
Oh,
one.
that's a whole nother
I'm
conversation.
kidding. I'm kidding.
We ain't finding out no news tomorrow. You know
no,
for sure.
They're kicking that
no,
can
we
down
ain't
the
finding
road
Some
again,
guy in
aren't they?
FA is like, I forgot to send an email, guys. I was
We laps with Red Bull last night. Yeah,
Got
exactly.
my password locked out the laptop. All right, should we wrap it there, boys?
Yeah, I think
We've been streaming for a long time. And I hope everyone who's joined us has enjoyed.
Thank you,
It's-
guys.
we do more
been
of
a
a
long
cool
one.
down. We do more of a cool down of like getting a wrap up, but fam.
Yeah, we got a podcast to shoot as well.
Yeah,
man.
exactly, boys.
Famished.
Exactly. So
Which will be out on Tuesday.
don't go anywhere.
So keep your eyes open.
We'll be filming that, and you'll see that on Tuesday.
Yeah, but
on Tuesday.
Pete Mahad, thank you so much for coming, boys.
Lads,
so
thank you for having us. Thank you for bringing the
let
McLaren gang to the table. McLaren Fan TV people, make sure you go and check that out on YouTube. And we've got content coming out like literally every week, and even off season as well. McLaren Fan business. So
Run that
yeah,
up.
man.
McLaren Fan TV. We're here every Tuesday, 7 p.m. after a race. We'll be there this Tuesday live.
And check out Pit Stop Fracas. as
Check
well.
out Pit Stop Fracker at Pit Stop Fracker on Twitter. New episodes drop every Monday. Subscribe, like, the lot.
Do it.
Sensational. Well, that is
wrap it, man.
it for the Japanese Grand Prix. Thank you to everyone for tuning in and getting up early or wherever you are in the world. We all really appreciate you tuning in at some ungodly hours.
We do.
For this one, some really good viewership as well. So, shouts to everybody. Max Verstappen is your 2-time world champion. A bit of a dramatic Grand Prix, not gonna lie, and we all need some sleep.
Yes.
So we will see you again for the podcast on Tuesday. Don't forget to like and subscribe here on YouTube so you don't miss the next show, which is, of course, at Austin in Kota in 2 weeks, I do believe.
Yep.
So yeah,
off.
stick in. No, I'm so tired, man. Stick around. tune in for that in 2 weeks for the live show. Obviously, check us out on Spotify for the podcast or all streaming platforms, in fact,
it.
and give us a good rating over there. Until next time, we'll see you later. In a bit, boys.
Peace.